Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of. Let me clear that throat a little bit, dude.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. Welcome to another episode of Bussin with the Boys, episode 228. Got a big week. Big week for Bussin with the Boys. We talked about it last week. Got the podcast guys. We're absolutely trying to hammer fuck us, but no. We have an absolute hitter for you today. Jelly Roll and his beautiful wife, Bunnie, have come on the podcast. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to everything in between, dude. You're going to hit it all. Also this week, Tight End U Week. George Kittle and the boys are coming into Nashville, Tennessee. All the heavy hitters in the tight end category of the NFL are going to be in Nashville.
Maybe the boy, Taylor Lewan.
Maybe the boy, Taylor Lewan. I am
starts to happen this week.
I am starting to look like a tight end, dude. So I get my routes up a little bit and see how that thing's all that's going. Also, not sure why my throat's doing this. The Barstool Bar, grand opening this Friday. And guess what? The boys will be there. It's going to be electric. Going to be an amazing time. We're going to sit there. We're going to take pictures. You guys bring something. We'll sign it. I'm sure there's going to be a guy that pops up with one of Will's jerseys back from Pop Warner. He's going to say, hey, you want this? If you want this, I need $30,000 and 6 of your jerseys. So that'll be a fun thing for Will to get back and forth.
Probably the biggest news with the Barstool Bar opening for us, for Bussin anyways, the bus is wrapped. Everybody's going to get to see the big change, the big makeover.
I know. And there is a little thing going on right now. I think there was an ad put in here of that big makeover. Do we do it today? Do we not do it today? We're waiting for Barstool to say something. Maybe we put it out right now. Maybe we don't. But I think this Friday,
you're going to want to be there.
See it. And it's different, dude. I'll let you know.
We'll be there from like 4 o'clock on too. I think.
Yeah, we'll be out there. We'll be out in those streets for sure. That'll be Friday. And that's
I'm joining the boys.
Amazing, dude. Also, speaking of amazing, you see this shirt I'm wearing right here? Me and Will Compton, go ahead and zoom in on that.
Two shirts that absolutely fuck, dude. I mean, look at it. I know you love the tie-dye.
Yeah, you can see all that weight in my face right there. That's a bit of an older photo, but we're still going to rock it. We're still going to rock it.
I love how you're like giving...
Gotta let everybody know. Do I look like this?
Like, I know you guys are watching me right now on YouTube, but this is an older photo if you guys can't tell.
Yeah, you can see me. Also, I started rummaging through. Obviously, 4th of July is coming up, and I saw that shirt on you today, and I was like, I love to match the boy.
I mean...
You look
the
incredible.
You've had with merch. You rock that tie-dye shirt. One of your favorites that you've. What is it? Like the black and purple.
Oh yeah, it's
one tie-dye. And you're like, yeah, we need to get a tie-dye shirt.
What is that brand? I got it in Canada.
No free shoutouts.
Yep. So you don't know
about let's get a tie-dye shirt in the mix. Gary back there, Gary Buckets, Gary Merchandise. He said, "Say less. I'm about this life."
Gary Buckets, Gary Merchandise. I will say, I did. Garrett, do you want to talk about this merch real quick and how you came up with that idea?
Yeah, it was a long night. You're just grinding. Taylor texted me, sent me a picture, and it was like, hey, 4th of July merch, ? Done.
That's all I need to hear.
Have you noticed
he just
the percentage of alcohol on there, though?
No, what's it say?
That's what Gary Merch said, man. He said the biggest
69% alcohol.
Shirt, 6.9%.
It's the details of Gary Merch, dude.
9% alcohol.
It's Gary Merch now. 69 would murder you, dude. Set it on fire. It's a 6.9. But I did say the reason why I brought that up, I didn't know if you're going to pigeonhole yourself a little bit because I saw Jack McPherson put out a tweet earlier in the week last week saying
I get a lot of love
doesn't
for
miss.
Some things that
Garrett doesn't miss out here.
You had the
Oh, that mic wasn't good enough?
Mic.
Got you.
That concept, I'm aware now that you had the idea.
All I need to hear.
But Garrett put the work in.
Dude, I'm an ideas guy. I don't get the train moving. I just say, hey, it'd be cool if the train moved like this. Right? And then we got with Gary Merch.
Yeah, Gary Merch. Gary whatever. Merch. You throw anything after the word Gary.
Yeah.
But it's funny that this is coming full circle. I know Taylor and I were sitting last week back behind the bus and said, who came up with this? Yeah, this idea, right? Like, no, who? He's like, me. I was
just somehow trying to get validation.
Yeah, like looking at Taylor, I was like, yeah, sick, man.
Yeah. Will didn't give me what I want. In classic true Will fashion, no enthusiasm, no love in it. He just fucking let me live, bro. I need to live, dude. NASCAR.
Hey, by the way, we've sold like a fuckload of these shirts.
Have we really?
Yeah, these are hitters. Hitters.
Well, look at them. They look fantastic.
Yeah.
And it looks like it just sits well on you, too.
Yeah. And I got a lot of compliments on it at Bonnaroo.
Did you?
Definitely a place to get compliments at Bonnaroo.
You looked phenomenal in those photos. I can't wait to recap that during this intro. I will say, though, the boy, it might be the shirt or it might be that Willie's been putting work in because you look great, brother. You look good. Do you want to talk about your 80-20 or do you want to leave that alone?
We'll leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
I just want the work to speak for itself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You could do a blog on it in 2 years. This is how I got to where I'm at now.
I'll do hey, these are the 10 steps. Read this thread.
Yeah. That's going to be beautiful. NASCAR. Is that this weekend or that's in July?
Oh, it's this Sunday.
A lot.
Sunday?
Yeah. Dude, our next 2 weeks are fucking.
Woo wee!
This Sunday we will be at the Ally 400 out in
Nashville,
Lebanon.
Speedway.
Yeah, Nashville Super Speedway out in Lebanon. The boys will be there. I think we're doing. We're way.
Whoa. Remember, we don't want to tell people. We know.
We don't get to tell them that we get to be the.
Yeah.
All right.
We don't get to let
If
them
you're
know
there, you
about
get to
that.
see. But that's
Yeah.
gonna be a great time.
That's going to be electric. Have you been in NASCAR before in your life?
Yeah, a few times.
Oh yeah.
If you-
Missouri. Yeah, I forgot.
And also,
In
Bussin, we
Nashville.
were out there
Oh,
last year.
that's right, dude. What an idiot.
In literally last week's episode, I was talking to you about
Yeah.
about the boy Paul Swan, the embracing the energy, the pit,
Man,
being in the pit.
I'm a big dumb idiot.
Yeah, you ever been in NASCAR?
Yeah.
I'll never forget when I shaved to the mustache. You're like, man, mustache guy now. I never seen you rock the mustache.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like literally that black and white profile pic that I have is a mustache with the painted eye black.
It seems like you're kind of getting away from the mustache now, getting the beard going again.
It fades, and then once it gets too long, I'll put it back down.
With the
Trust me.
mustache,
I like the mustache scruff look,
Yeah.
especially during the summertime. when
And
the
you got
sun's
that McPherson mustache too. You guys have similar mustaches.
out. Do we?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just
I
different,
think Jack
different
has-
color, but same.
I think Jack has a strong. I think you and Jack have strong mustache looks. Like me, I wish I had a fuller look.
Yeah, I
We're
feel
getting
like-
away. We're getting away from
you're right.
that. We're going
You're
to hit those things. We're gonna hit
we're
those
gonna
things.
we're gonna hit all those things. Also, the Netflix quarterback show.
We're gonna dive into it.
We're gonna dive into that as well. And I have a couple announcements. Our executive producer, first day on the job, Steven Bondo. I believe his nickname was Beavis Sperm back in college.
Yeah.
Let's give this man a round of applause. Welcome to the bus.
We found our executive producer.
Welcome.
We were
the
parting
boss.
ways. We were parting ways with our only diversity in Blas Hernandez,
Yeah.
with our only Hispanic, and we were adding a
Yeah.
Caucasian, a white guy, as
Yeah.
white as it gets.
That was something that Will was very strong about when we started going through the whole thing. He's like, as long as he's white. That was Will's only thing. So, Bondo, why don't you give us a couple words, brother? Tell us, let's see, let's get your age, where you're from,
Okay.
and the year you lost your virginity.
Oh boy, I got to think about that actually.
The year you lost your virginity?
Yeah, I got to think about what year that was. All right, so I'm older than I look, 36.
Okay.
Originally from Syracuse, New York.
All right.
Small town, Lafayette. No one's ever heard of it. Apples and lacrosse. That's all we did. So that's it. And then year.
How? No, you don't have to give me like
All right.
2000. Just how old were you?
16.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Strong year. That's a good
It was.
time.
I had a good year that year.
Yeah.
It was a good year.
Anytime, whenever you lose your virginity,
Yeah,
that is.
made varsity. It was like, yeah, this is a good year.
And that's
So
what got it home.
Yeah,
The
oh,
girls-
100%.
The girls weren't talking.
100%. Before that, they didn't know me.
And then you hit varsity, and everyone
And then it was like, okay, this guy's
Yeah.
a player. So
I love it, buddy. Well, we're electrostatic to have you
Yeah,
on.
you guys
have
thrilled to
on,
be here,
dude.
boys.
You
We're
guys can
thrilled.
tell in his voice we have found our Moneyball guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
With more
He's a
leadership,
numbers guy.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
more
numbers
leadership
guy,
He's a
yeah.
numbers
than
guy.
Jonah Hill. Yeah.
It's a massive year, 2023, the year of the boys, dude. It's
the
going to be
year of the
amazing.
boys.
Also, our Black Friday winner, and you're probably thinking, brother, it's the end of June. Listen, Patrick Ryan is with us on this bus. Let's give this man a round of applause. It's been a long time coming. Also sneaked him in on, but you didn't hear this. I sneaked him in with a little invite to Beer Olympics next Tuesday. Hey, and Pat, as you're seeing there, buddy,
That's what happens on the bus.
that's what happens.
Yeah.
We deal with adversity. What's the quote about adversity you gave me earlier this morning?
About adversity?
Yeah,
What was it?
it was a Vrabalism.
Oh, you don't eliminate distractions, you handle them.
Right. Right. Pat, let me get give me one word. How you feel about being on this bus right now?
Excited.
That's good.
Nice.
That's a good strong
Nice,
word,
nice.
brother.
What else is exciting is
Dude, the Chevy Silverado. You know we're truck guys through and through, and the Chevy Silverado has been a partner with unstoppable grit and determination. It has been our most valuable truck. And now the first ever all-electric Silverado joins the franchise. We get to see these things and experience it. I'll tell you something, boys. Absolute game changer. Available 400-mile range GM estimated on a full charge. Over 10 feet of length in the bed with the multi-flex tailgate combined
say
with
that
the
again. That's always the sleeper to me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Over
Tell these
10
people about this
feet
tailgate.
of length in the bed with a multi-flex tailgate combined with a multi-flex midgate. You don't know what that is? Google it, boys. It's crazy. You can go in and out. You can go inside and outside
Yeah.
while you're driving. It's
Just
wild.
know that no other brand's doing it like the boys at Chevy.
Yeah, they're doing it all. Large 17-inch diagonal display screen. It can tow up to 10,000 pounds of max towing. 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds.
My 40 time.
With the wow mode, working title. Up to an impressive 785 foot-pounds of torque. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more.
Question for you.
Go ahead.
10,000 pounds of towing.
Yeah.
How many Taylor Lewans would that be? Oh wow! Hang on, guess. Don't do that. Just try and do a
10,000
guess.
pounds of towing. $400 Taylor Lewans. How
Let's
many?
see. 10,000 divided by. Are you going to disclose your weight on
No,
this?
I'm not going to disclose my weight. People out there talking crazy.
Just know it's tied in.
Oh, minus a 0, be 40. Be 40 Taylor. 40. Be 40. Be 40 Taylor Lewans. And I rounded my weight down when you guys are doing the math right there. I put in 250. I'm not 250. I just didn't want to do 260. Yeah.
It's a change.
And some change.
A lot of change.
Yeah. Didn't want to do that. How many wheels would that be? 38? What do you weigh right now? 225?
Hang on, brother. Let me fucking dial this thing in.
Dial that thing in, brother. My man's working right now. His mouth flipping.
That's something.
Brother, it ain't that serious.
Oh. 53?
You weigh more than me? Well, I just gave you part of the answer. I was 40 of them.
Let me see here.
What?
45.4.
So did I fuck up my math?
It would be like 38 and a half. You're too.
Then why is Will? Will doesn't weigh more than me.
You said 35, right?
No, he said 45.4.
Yeah, it's me. You need more. You need more of me.
And that's why you're here. Michigan man.
Michigan man.
That's right.
Are y'all with? Have y'all done the dozen with Jeff Dulo?
Dozen trivia?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You don't know about the boost ponies?
Oh,
You
I
must
didn't-
not be
okay.
a dozen fan.
Well, I watched some of it. Brandon Walker kind of makes it insufferable at times, and you get Minahan.
That man, dude. He, yeah.
Like, they
Minahan
need-
is a
I'm gonna
machine.
fight
He's
Brandon
machine,
Walker
but,
before
like,
it's
also-
over.
Yeah, he takes some of these. They take it a little too seriously. You know, it's
Check
like,
out the booze ponies.
Okay,
And
all
that'll
right.
be your new favorite team.
They'll be my team now. Who
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
on it? Who are you with?
Oh, on the booze ponies? Dana Beers and Feidelberg fights.
Oh, okay. That's
Just
a,
an
that's a
electric
good group.
factory of
You
a
handle
team.
the sports stuff,
Yeah.
and then fights is pop culture.
I handle maybe a couple questions a game.
Anything with Rocky.
Yeah.
Got
It's
it.
usually Will's.
Yeah. Rocky, Lion King, Jurassic Park. Those are all my niches.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I would say
Which
that
is just a wild couple of categories, by the way. You got a weird arsenal.
you guys deserve a lot of credit for doing like fan participation for a contest, because I think the dozen could absolutely do something.
Dude, the
For,
dozen's a sleeper.
It's
Jeff D. Lowe.
It is pretty big. And then also the snake draft.
Visionary.
And I'll tell the story about how I found y'all was through the snake draft. They could do like charity things. I would pay money to get on the snake draft. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you pay money to get on the bus.
you guys were creative. You guys were groundbreaking, you know?
Yeah.
First
Well,
time.
thank you.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank
You
you.
bought, I'm not going to say the exact number, but you spent a lot.
Somewhere over
It was
$6,000
like
in merch.
$700
Okay,
worth
we
of
can
merch.
say the number.
But here's the
We
thing.
put it on Bussin because you had to let everybody know who won that.
It's wild how I don't
All right,
even know
so-
what goes on in the company.
So with Golden Auctions, I won a meet and greet with Cal Ripken for like 20 grand.
Yeah.
I did a meet and greet, or I'm doing a tour of the WWE warehouse with Triple H. That was like 25 grand. Y'all was a steal at $6,700.
Well,
And I got all the merch. So, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, I would have squeezed it up a little bit, but
would you have?
probably I would have gone to 10. But
Get them, boys.
yeah.
Get them, boys. Get those
Y'all can run the MX. I'll take some stuff out of here. I'm not the jersey guy that Will was talking. I'm a big memorabilia collector, but I'm not hawking Will's jerseys.
If
You also stepped down from the first overall prize because that
Right.
was like the suite, and you're like, oh, give that to
Has
somebody
to be.
else. Like I'm just trying to get on Bussin. Yeah, he does. My man Patrick, remember he was
I invited y'all to the suite Saturday.
dude,
Yeah, but
he tried
Derek
taking
couldn't
his
make it.
court.
Yeah, we
Courtside,
courtside. We
yeah,
could do
courtside.
feet out. So
Courtside to a Memphis Grizzlies
yes,
game.
we'll do that next year. We'll still
Yeah.
make that happen.
how do you feel with the Memphis Grizzlies right now with Morant?
You
Putting
know,
a gun on
it's
Instagram.
just tough. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, like it's a great lesson for anybody who's ever in the public eye. Like you're not getting away from it, right?
Mm.
Everything's recorded. You know, I graduated college 03. That was like the first time I started seeing digital cameras, and like that was a wake up call. Then Facebook a couple years. Guys, if you're somewhat famous and you have any money, you need to protect your personal brand. You know, and like I think it was a Titans cornerback came out and said, like, have one of your guys get a concealed carry. Like, why are you the one with the gun?
Right.
You know, but anyway, the Grizzlies a great organization, business side. They'll get it all figured out. They know how to take care of the fans. They're doing a massive renovation of FedEx Forum. It'll be a great place to watch basketball.
Some got to look at how they handle their brand. Conor McGregor seems like he's doing a good job after this past week, huh?
Yeah, it's been an interesting run for Conor. He's always in it.
Yeah, he's always in it. But this one, tough.
Yes.
It's a tough headline to have, but
Well, you see the video? Did you see the video?
I saw the video.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. You know.
It's unfortunate from a family aspect, but it seems like he didn't do what was alleged
Well,
happening.
his legal team's pushed back saying this is nothing more than a shakedown. The story has changed a couple different times from the gal and her side of it. Because I want to say they tried to get money out based on just seeing Twitter,
Right.
and seeing
That's where we
headlines.
get all our
Yeah,
information. We're not out here. Listen, boys, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Right.
Insurance policy. Allegedly.
Just literally reading online.
Yeah.
It seems like her side tried getting money out of him at first, and since they didn't move on that or balk on that, they started to go public about it. Ultimately, like it's definitely a tough headline to have. But the thing too is, if it comes out and he's like nothing happened, like he's innocent, none of that happened, it's almost like women need to be held responsible.
Easy, brother.
But I'm just saying, you're coming out and having these allegations and saying like these, Conor, or I was raped, violently raped, and all that, sexually assaulted and stuff like that, and it comes out to be like that's not true. Like there should be some repercussions there, because that can fucking tear people down. I wanted to say there was that punter, right? That kicker for which team now?
Bills, Matariza.
He was on the Bills, right?
He got drafted by the Bills, and then like 2 or 3 weeks after he got drafted, story came out about him, got immediately cut, and now he's like on his way back. And do you remember?
Because ultimately, it wasn't true
He wasn't even at the party.
It was like he
was like
saying that I got raped at a party or gang raped or whatever.
And he wasn't even at the party.
Right. Yeah. Come to find out, he wasn't even at the party. So it's
brother.
Now he's getting who's he with now?
I no idea.
I thought he signed something recently now.
He's definitely on a team now.
What?
He's on. I think he's on like.
I think he's on a team
too, getting drafted as a punter.
Yeah.
But you're talking, exactly. Like you're talking about, the dude's career was in jeopardy. And fortunately, he's now signed with the New York Jets and back on a squad. But stuff like that, man.
You remember Sean Oakman on Baylor?
That dude was fucking.
Same thing happened to him. He was gonna be like a top 10 pick. He had like these alleged like rape,
sexual assault
cases, allegations, and everything. Ended up not being true. Never made any money in the NFL. Never got drafted. Anything like that.
God.
Yeah,
he spent time in jail, didn't he?
I think it was like a really long process in like the court and everything, but like nothing. It all ended up coming out that it was false.
Man, you got to be sitting there too after all that stuff comes out, being headlines, going like, you just go to Target or something like that. Go somewhere random and people see you and they're like, that's the guy.
Especially if you know you're innocent.
Dude.
No, like it's completely the other way if that's a issue. Like every guy, like they fucking deserve what they get what they deserve type of thing.
Right.
But yeah, if it's not true and it's just, dude, that really puts a blemish on everything you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Especially for that dude at Baylor. Like if he was going to be a top round pick and have an opportunity, like have a little bit of a career in the NFL, who knows how long. Same with the kicker. Like he could still be, at home right now being like, damn, like fucking, I didn't do any of this. And I ended up getting cut and everything else when something was ultimately not true.
Yeah. Not getting any of that money from getting drafted and then probably signing a real small deal, prove it deal type thing. He's been out of the league for what? It was last year this happened, right? A whole year of probably just sitting there punting things and getting mad.
Yeah.
Just kicking shit.
Just fuck out of the ball.
Stuff, dude, that reminds me of like this thing we used to do at Michigan. We used to put like empty beer boxes on the sidewalk. We put an empty like beer box here, and then about 20 feet farther, we put an empty beer box with a cinder block in it as well. Because you'd see people like walk by and they kind of like, they kick the first box.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about human beings, especially men, when they kick something, it like does something for them emotionally. And they would see that next box. Like they kind of give the first box a tap. Then they see the other box, be like, oh, I'm about to fuck this box up. And these dudes would run and wind up and just get a cinder block to the toe.
God,
dude,
bro.
Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, man. You can't be
nice.
fucking doing that out there.
Yeah. Did you see that? What Netflix is coming out with? They're coming out with that show, the quarterback.
Show. Yeah, we just talked about it a little bit. Stephen Bond before, if you want to give us a little update of what this whole thing's about. The thing that intrigued me the most is you talk about Patrick Mahomes shit talking.
I think this is fascinating because I didn't know that he was this much of a shit talker on the field, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like 4 or 5 clips of him playing. Obviously, they got to try to attract the audience, and he's the guy right now. But he's chirping. I think that's fantastic. So Have you guys ever heard this? Have you ever heard stories about him, anything like that?
Mahomes.
Mahomes, I mean, he's.
I'm him. Like, I seen that video.
Yeah, that's
I'm
so
him.
fucking
Yeah,
funny,
but
dude.
that's-
I'm him.
I'm him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. He doesn't seem like a shit talker. Like I've only been around him like
You know, he's
two or
got
three times.
that confidence. He's got swag.
He's him. He is the best quarterback in the world right now.
Like
He
when they
is-
came back against, who was it? The Colts. When they came back against anybody, the Texans.
Yeah. Was
When he starts getting his fucking flex going.
the
I mean,
flex thing is him.
it's gonna be cool to see like all the inside there. Like who I think is gonna benefit from this is the boy Kirk. You know, big fan of Kirk over here in this seat anyway.
Yeah.
But I think people get an inside look at the way Kirk is. I mean, Kirk's a dad through and through. Like people are gonna get the nerdy Kirk. He's like sitting there reading his like kid a nighttime story, and it seems like he's just reading him the NFL rules.
Just sounds like a baby Gronk situation. Is that a little bit like
we
that?
interviewed Kirk. You know,
Kirk's great. No.
Want his kid
But
to
that's
even.
definitely something
he's
baby
like,
Gronk's
you
dad
know,
would do
He's
for
like
his kid.
Yeah. He's like when we interviewed him on Bussin, that you guys can go listen to. He talks about like he's got that generational wealth. Like he doesn't want his kid playing ball.
Yeah.
I think he's just doing like in his mind playing the game. Like no, to him he's laughing,
Yeah.
he's chuckling. You know, he's texting his dad's in the group chat. It's called probably dad group chat.
Yeah.
The guys
yeah,
know
yeah.
I did this. I read him like I was reading him a bedtime story, and they all
Yeah.
probably chuckled.
They probably had a good time with it. He also, I think he talked about in the podcast, which you guys can listen to, about him using to do increments of 15 minutes for his day. And he kind of like got away from it.
Yeah.
Like he's structured like that.
Yeah, he was doing that. I know peak Washington. He would talk about how every 15 minutes was dialed like on his schedule and everything else.
Man.
But very like buttoned up, very strict. But I think he's going to come out a winner in this show, the quarterback.
You think so?
I think what'll be interesting is the boy Marcus.
I was going to pivot
Because
to that
you
next.
know, obviously they're following him. They're being a Falcon. He's no longer with the Falcons.
Mhm.
And if you saw Coach Smith came out, he had he was
I
getting
love that you said
interviewed
Coach
last.
Smith.
Yeah, Coach Smith. He had an interview last week, and he kind of says like, "Oh, I'm sure Netflix is going to do a good job." I believe, and he also says like with some historical fiction.
Mhm.
So you can kind of see maybe some of the storylines or articles that'll come out from the show, the quarterback.
Yeah, that'll be the most interesting storyline for me to watch, knowing Marcus, kind of hearing a little bit, talking to him in Vegas back in January when we were
Right,
all
which
there.
was after the season. He
Right after
from
the
his story
season.
was a little.
Yeah. And Marcus keeps everything close to the vest. It's going to be interesting to see him in a public eye because even when he was with the Titans, it was like Marcus didn't want to be a part of that
I was
stuff.
surprised he did do the quarterback,
Yeah.
knowing that he was on. I was like, oh man, I'm surprised that they went with him. Big market because you know Hawaii, like that's the golden boy.
Yeah.
Out
Used to be
from Hawaii.
Manti Te'o.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, Manti Te'o's still there.
yeah, but I'm saying like Manti Te'o before Marcus was in college at Oregon.
Yeah,
Like he was
yeah.
the golden boy of Hawaii.
Right.
And then luckily Hawaii had a good pivot around 2012.
Oh, we got Marcus.
January 2012.
Yeah, we got-
You know, they were
yeah,
able to figure that whole thing out.
I think another storyline will be Pat's wife, Brittany.
Yeah.
The public eye that kind of you love to hate, like her, love her, hate her, whatever it is. She's going to be, I would assume, very embedded in this series. So it'll be interesting to see how she comes up.
Yeah, because she's a very controversial individual. And it's hard for me to sit on a microphone and talk about it because I'm a fan of Pat. I like Pat a lot. And then you see kind of like without context, some of the things that she does, you kind of think, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah.
Kind of think, And then last year in the offseason, there's like, you know, Jackson Mahomes is allegedly getting a sit-down conversation. Him, Brittany, and Pat are sitting down, like trying to figure it all. Hey, guys, you got to chill the fuck out.
Mhm.
And you just don't want to, I feel awkward because now we're getting into their personal life.
Right,
You know,
right,
just-
right.
I don't want to soil the boy.
It did seem like they laid low until Jackson's obviously in the headlines now for his sexual assault.
Which must be the theme of the intro of this
Yeah,
podcast
yeah,
is sexual assault. That's a fun thing to kind of get into a little
yeah.
bit. But that'll be really cool to see, man. It'll be cool to see all that go down. It's going to be awesome. Like I think you were saying, Drive to Survive. It's kind
Yeah.
of based off that kind of thing. And that's cool. I still got to watch that. Have you seen that documentary?
I've seen a couple episodes of Drive to Survive, but I watched the tennis one. What's the tennis one called? Breakpoint. That one's fucking good.
Is that a movie?
No,
Point Break.
Point Break. Yeah.
Point Break.
They got Breakpoint. They did it with tennis. They've done it. Yeah, Formula One. They crushed it. Everybody loved that. It kind of grew the sport like big time
Especially
in
in
popularity.
North America.
Yeah, and then they also did one with golf. I watched a few episodes of that with like Brooks Koepka. I saw that episode, but they follow different golfers around. I'm fired up that they're doing it in the NFL because I think you're going to get like that. Netflix crushes it with these little sport docuseries.
They do.
shows.
They do a really good job of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You brought up golf. A couple of the boys came over yesterday and they were playing golf. Is that the most fucking boring sport in the world to watch?
To watch? I think it
Yes.
depends if you got money on watching.
that shit was on for 3 minutes, and I was just like, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I don't fucking understand it one bit.
I would say like I'm kind of similar. I don't have like I guess the persistence to sit there and watch golf, but again, I'm not like ingrained in the golf world. I don't follow it that closely.
I wish I had the passion for it because it seems like as you get older, everybody wants to golf.
Yeah, I will say if there comes to be like a day 3 or the final day in a tournament and somebody's making some run like this last week, what was his name? Wyndham, who ends up winning, beating Rory, right? By like 1 stroke. When you start seeing like people tweeting about like, oh, this comeback's happening, or is Brooks Koepka gonna blow it in the tournament before he ultimately won, another big tournament. I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now. All to say, when people are saying somebody's making a run or it's going to be a great finish, I will tune in to see that stuff because people fucking love it.
Leave it to Twitter. Twitter's going to let me know all the highlights.
Yeah, but it's cool to like see it like unfold and happen.
Yeah, I guess.
The final day, like the championship day, like the final round.
Yeah, and
like when Brooks was blowing it, that was the Masters, right? That was the Masters because that's when we were, I got out there, fucking did about 9 holes and threw my back out for a good 48 hours. I've laid low in that golf course ever since.
Bro, not this weekend, but the weekend before, like I got a pool basketball hoop. I'm hyped up. I like to get physical in the pool, playing some pool basketball. And Will was over trying to get a 4th guy to come in. And Will, like, apparently is sitting by himself being like, please, God, like, don't come in because you're back.
Yeah, I didn't want to fuck my back
problem.
Up. Back's been a little bit of an issue. We're working on it,
yeah,
for sure.
It's a work in progress. Life's a work in progress.
Yeah, but the softball game put me out a couple days.
That softball game.
Yeah, I was nervous about the softball game. But yeah, dude, golf. After I was swinging on the course, like, fuck, man, it's just, the back's just not built the same. I really got to work, like, legitimately have to work on getting this back corrected because it is going to be the downfall of my life.
Garrett, I know you're probably our golf guy.
He is our golf guy.
This past Thursday when this tournament started, 2 guys hit the course record, right? Did you who were they? Was it Rory and?
So Ricky Fowler shot a 62 course record. The group after him, Xander Schauffele, also shot a 62. So Ricky had the record for like. Max has the course record as a 61 in college. And then, so yeah, you're right. It was the open record, the tournament record of a 62. So he had it for 30 minutes. And then,
could you imagine hitting that and being like, oh, dude, I'm legit him. I just shot a course record.
You are.
30 minutes later, the next guy fucking does it again.
You are, but shooting a 62 gets you so much of a head start on everyone else that you're kind of like, all right, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but you would think you'd have a huge head start on everyone. And then the guy right behind you does the same shit.
He set the record. The other guy just tied him. So he still holds
the record.
If you want to play it that way.
I would if I was in his position.
Absolutely.
Who was it, Fowler?
Fowler.
Ricky?
Yeah. Kind of had a tough day yesterday. It's tough to see.
I'll tell you what, when you're getting on the course and you're really trying to figure everything out, the best thing you can probably do is put some of that cool dry under your armpits, and that's Duke Cannon, dude. All right, let me tell you about the Duke Cannon, dude. We like to talk about your shower game for a minute here. Here's the facts. The body wash you're using right now is weak, watered down, and probably smells like a
JV.
Dude.
JV locker room.
Eyes, dude. Probably smells like a JV locker room. Simply put, it's not getting the job done. The boys need a shower of substance after a hard day's work, and that's why we use thick, high viscosity, that's the word, viscosity body wash from Duke Cannon. Thicker is better. Duke Cannon's thick body wash is built to work hard, not spew down the shower drain. All their scents are amazing, but my personal favorite is Midnight Swim. It smells like a cannonball into a moonlit lake, not a dip in the hot tub at the Starlight Motel. Like I said before, I do really enjoy that cool dry. What are you laughing about? Me reading that ad?
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
Nothing. I just think it's funny.
I do like that cool dry, man. In situations like this, when you're getting peppered by the boys internally, you know that you can kind of stay cool during all of that.
Keep your composure.
Keep my composure in this thing. Thank you to Duke Cannon for keeping me grounded in these moments. You have to try Duke Cannon for a limited time. We're hooking the boys up with 20% off your first order at DukeCannon.com with code THEBOYS20. That's 20% off when you use code THEBOYS20 at DukeCannon.com. Duke Cannon. Work harder, smell better. Did Duke Cannon change their little thing? Not for clowns. Now it's work harder, smell better.
They might have both. Maybe you got a couple.
Is it both? I thought they changed it because of us. Because we did look up clown salary.
They might have changed it on our ad read.
What's that?
They might have changed it on the ad read for you.
For this specific situation. It is true though. Clowns, Low key got it.
Rich.
Yeah, that clown money. They do some real shit out there. What was
Got
like
that
85?
clown money?
85,000 a year
At least.
at least. And that's for the dudes that are just doing the day to day. Like the clowns that really put their makeup on and go to work every single day.
High-end
Them
clown.
boys were making they're probably making 6 figures. You want a high end clown?
You know them low end clowns. They're getting hourly. They ain't getting
They're
no.
probably making 55. That's some real. That's decent.
You think?
I mean, if you're working a clown, like you don't work Monday through Friday, you're a Saturday Sunday cat. You know,
Yeah.
ain't no birthday parties going on then. You working Saturday and Sundays and you're making
That's what
55
I'm
a year.
saying. There ain't no way. There ain't no way you're making that kind of money. The average clown is making fucking.
Pull it up, Jack. Pull up the salary. I
saw
bet
the
you
stats,
it's
dude.
55,000 to 85,000 or 75,000.
That's a clown in Beverly Hills.
High-end clown.
That's a
High-end
high-end
clown.
clown. High-end clowns are making that 55 to 85 range.
The median was 63,000. That just kind of flashed over the old thing there. Median. For those of you wondering, that's the middle. That's the middle. $91,000. That's Beverly Hills. But we're talking Nashville, Tennessee. Easy 63,000 a year.
What do you think a Vegas clown makes?
Depends.
Probably
Depends
in
what kind
that
of
range,
things they're
dude.
offering. You know, Vegas is a weird place.
These clown salaries,
Tell 'em
dude.
that.
Look, okay, so firstly, Ringling Brothers is coming back. So clowns are going to be like having a lot of demand. So the Ringling Brothers Circus is coming back. You guys did some stuff with the Supercross. The same company that owns Supercross owns Ringling Brothers. So clowns are going to be making a big comeback. And then also there's clowns that go on tours of various, circus acts. Then there's like the neighborhood clown. So I think Will's talking about like the neighborhood clown does 3 hours, like one party in the morning at $100 an hour, right? So that guy's like living in a basement, probably an alcoholic, living off his parents. But like you're talking about like real deal clowns, like probably like certified, gone through clown college,
Right.
Pro clown.
pro clowns. Will's talking about amateur clowns,
Yeah.
so like a clown.
Brother,
You're
I
talking
just,
about
I
a
just
pro
look at the
clown.
stats. I just look at the stats, and then you pulled up the stats.
I
I
think
got
you're
the stats
both
right,
right,
here.
though. Like
Yeah.
I think Will's got the point about the amateur clowns, and you're
Right.
talking the pro clowns. So, but guess what? Clowns are coming back.
Clowns are coming back.
Come back.
Hey, and that was a nice guess too for Nashville, starting at 125 per event.
That man's working his ass off.
Yeah.
He's working his ass off to make that
Soul
median.
sweating. Just fucking like,
Full
God
sweat.
damn
But,
it.
hey, if Duke Cannon would just let him use the cool dry, bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
Now he's going to stay composed
Right.
like I was during that ad read.
Work harder, smell better.
Work harder, smell.
What else we
better.
got on the docket? I know one thing that we do, it's all hands on deck for this Beer Olympics coming up.
Yeah.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, we
There's
got some
rumors going around that one of the top officials of all time might be joining Beer Olympics to referee the entire event, to help us referee the entire event. There's been a lot of people, and shout out everybody in the comments giving us ideas, because there have been a few people that dropped some good comments. There's been a lot of stuff people be like, I agree that we need a big event there at the end. You guys could run it like the leaderboard at NASCAR where you do a circuit series type way, but the scoring, some people brought up a good idea with like having flags, like yellow flags. The referees have yellow flags, or maybe bows go over the table,
Mhm.
or red flags. You were talking about the red flag challenging earlier. If you could continue to leave comments for ideas to button this Beer Olympics up, because it is all hands on deck from this moment now until next Tuesday.
as you're listening to this podcast, we're literally 1 week away from game day.
Yeah.
And the nerves, I'm starting to feel the butterflies. I literally played some beer pong last night.
Yeah. The official teams are announced too. They'll be dropping out throughout the week.
Yeah. Do you want to give the bad news?
I don't think so. I think we let people be disappointed.
It's on him.
Yeah.
Like, he was like one of our first commits, and then he dropped out. That's tough. But Beer Olympics, dude, it's gonna be electric.
Yeah, it's
It's
gonna
gonna be an
it's gonna be
electric
fucking
factory.
awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I was putting some work in yesterday, and I'm feeling very confident. Feeling very confident about the future of what's our team name? Bussin?
Grit and spit.
Grit and Spit. Way different than what I thought. That's a
I
good deal.
was trying to practice the other day. I looked up a YouTube video on how to chug
Yeah,
faster.
we were talking about that.
It was it's tough.
Gotta open the throat.
Yeah, it's
let it
like you
drain
gotta
in there.
Exhale your lungs or whatever, then open your mouth as wide as you can,
Mhm.
and then try and like take down the liquid with each gulp. And it was hard. There was one time I'm like coughing in my pantry and water's coming out because I'm doing it all with water.
Yeah,
Water's coming out of my nose. I'm just thinking this is,
yeah. Chugging water is one thing, but when you add the carbonation, it's a game changer.
because personally, I just don't want to let you down when we do our little
You're not.
3 beer can chug.
You're not. I think you're gonna do great.
Thanks.
I think you're going to do great. And then one thing that was added by Elliot Shannon, who is going to be a referee at Beer Olympics, when we do the three beers per person chug, we're gonna have a 2-ounce shot glass. And then after the beers are finished, we will pour the foam into the shot glass. If it exceeds the shot glass and spills over, 3-second deduction.
Again, rules, penalties,
Yeah.
anything that can be thought of. Let us know.
Right.
We're leaning on a lot of people to help us put together the rules
Mm.
and boundaries to make sure they're established before every game happens, so we're not sitting there arguing the entire time.
And I think the thing
I'll
that's
be
gonna
arguing.
cause the most controversy is the beer pong, because there's so many different house rules. And what you can do, we'll be at the Lawan establishment. We will absolutely have our own house rules. They'll be basic. They'll be easy to follow. There's not a lot of gimmicky shit in there. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have your classic. You're gonna have your 2 re-racks.
Can we catch fire?
Yeah. Absolutely catch fire. What your boy was on last night.
Babe Ruth,
What's that?
where you call your shot, you call your cup. If you get it, ball back.
No.
And it's 2 cups, right?
Cup of your choice.
Couple different ways to play it.
I think Babe Ruth is out. I think you'll have 1 island call per game individually. So you can call an island. I can call an island. If you make that island shot, it kind of resets. So you'll have an opportunity to hit another island.
So you get Island, but not Babe Ruth.
Yes.
Why?
Um,
Is Bussin hosting? Like, do we get to put the rules together? Or is this just
that's
strictly
what we'll have.
you?
We'll have a talk on Friday. And it seems like there's already going to be some conflict before cooperation. So we'll figure that whole thing out.
There's actually probably a sanctioned committee. I had a buddy doing beer Olympics in college 20 years ago. So like, I bet there's like a governing body that, it's been debated. I bet there's probably some people who can assist.
I think the Bussin committee, we're going to come up with a new.
Oh, yeah, make the rules favorable to you. It's your house,
I
your
tried that.
podcast.
Will wanted to fuck around. He wanted to fuck around 2 episodes ago. Well, we don't have to do this at the end. That's all right.
That
Okay.
I personally think that was the right call. I
Yeah.
do.
I'm glad
'Cause
that.
we came up with some good stuff.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got to the point where it was like there needs to be a finale.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing to me.
Yeah.
Everything else,
So I
will get
think
figured
so.
out.
That, yeah. Ultimately, it is a great idea.
Yeah,
And the two out of 3 in the series of Flip Cup.
that was a phenomenal idea by you.
Gosh, we'll get this thing right.
We're gonna get this thing right.
It's Dean Blandino, the referee that I think we're gonna
The
get
referee. That's gonna be
on site, which is a flex.
also Clump will be in. We'll actually have 6 referees. Clump is flying in.
As well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, already he booked his ticket and hotel like 2 seconds after Taylor confirmed that he could come.
Yeah, was that in Vegas?
I think so.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and text him. Let him know he can come. He literally texted Jack back in 5 minutes. He goes, confirmed, I'm coming.
We'll have enough. Now it's all about putting together all of this execution.
But who was the referee you said's coming?
Dean Blandino,
Having him as a deciding factor during
Yeah.
all the arguments.
the referee who,
Yeah.
like on primetime games, would get called in. His face is on camera explaining that if this challenge is going to stand or get reversed, explaining the NFL rules. We got that guy.
We got that guy.
Yeah.
I'm excited. The thing I'm most excited for Beer Olympics is Confession Corner. I think that is going to be so great to see.
Yeah.
The games, the main storylines you see during the games, and then people talking about it. But the best part is going to be the beginning when people are talking, towards the end when people are slurring and being a little more loud. I think the content's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait, dude. Cannot fucking wait.
Is there an update on weather?
I know yesterday we are looking at 30% rain. I told Will, call the Suicide Squad if I'm fucking hits 50 by midweek.
Put out the Amber Alert.
Yeah. Hup! Looks like we're looking sunny and 88 next Tuesday.
9 days away.
9 days away. Nashville.
But it was
so
30%
fucked with
yesterday.
the weather, though.
It was 30%.
It was 30% yesterday. So, boys, I get to live another day. Put
It's
the
looking-
revolver down.
Yeah, it's looking up.
We do need a quick pivot if we're looking at big rain. Like if we get to the 90, if we get above 50%, we got to start talking about
You got
where
a
we're
big
gonna do it.
house?
In my house, dude?
He's not. He's definitely not lying. I
The
get
guest
it too.
house.
It's like, man, in my house, but and again, your house, because I'll be the one be like, hey, brother, like we put this event on, we gotta make.
We
this.
got to do it. We'll do it, but listen, I don't want, where would we do it in my house? The man cave?
Your garage, right? What about
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
we
I'm
do in
thinking
the
garage.
garage.
Think
That's
you
actually
should
a
fill up the
great,
garage a little bit.
because I was thinking we just go to the warehouse.
One table in each room of the house. You got the main room and the kitchen. You got the fucking man cave, the garage. Dan's like, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Can't we
Yeah.
just put all these tables in one spot?
Dylan hit me up like Thursday and she texted me, she goes, stop inviting people. Because there's like, I think there's 65 people coming to Beer Olympics now. Maybe 66 if Pat
Well,
comes.
so now that you've got the executive producer insurance, like your business insurance, is Dave Portnoy Barstool insurance? Someone's
We're
got
gonna
to
cut that part out because
Yeah. We're on handshake deals with insurance, so everyone's promised not to
what's
sue.
funny is I have a list too now with guests because I just think to myself like, yeah, man, it seems like
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but they're all people you know.
this is a situation with Taylor. For me, it's better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Yeah.
She texted me on the side and said, "Can you please reel Taylor in with some of the Spear Olympic stuff?" I was like, you know.
Also, there's going to be an ice sculpture. That's a perfect pivot. There's going to be a fucking ice sculpture with luges, so people can take shots with the ice sculpture. Fucking let it have it like that. It's going to say
It's
Beer
a
Olympics
deal.
on
A
it.
bit of a
Bussin.
deal.
It is a fucking deal.
It's gonna be a fun time.
I love over the top theatrics, and this is every bit of that.
Yeah.
Every bit of that. And it's good to see a smile on your face about this event.
Dude,
Well,
I've
excitement.
always been fucking excited about the event, man. And as you guys will learn in the episode, we do pet peeves on each other. Taylor, it talks about my lack of enthusiasm. It's something that I feel like I need to intentionally start thinking about and working on.
Yeah.
Because I am excited. Like, I am fucking excited.
After your pet peeves with me on this episode, I like 3 days later, I was like, "Hey Taylor, do I have to talk about everything?"
Oh, God damn it, dude.
I did. I'm such a bitch, dude.
What'd you say?
Yeah. She agreed. You know, gotta cover your bases, you know? Gotta cover.
Oh,
Gotta
man.
keep the anxiety away. Before we go into tier talk, pet peeve, and shout out, no free shout out, I know Patty brought some stuff. We got, hey, pass me one of them proper wilds, buddy. Pass me one of these proper wilds. So, Pat, explain to me what you got going here, because you walked in, you said you have some fun stuff for us, but we don't really know what's going on.
Right. So, firstly, I'm in the ticketing business. I'm also a sports memorabilia collector. I like collecting ticket stubs from big moments. And so I put together for each of you guys, and then I gave one to the bus. So these are sort of like, that's like Bussin' with the boys in ticket history. So like the first time y'all played against each other, then the first time y'all were on a team together, and then the ticket from the Bussin' Bowl this year.
That is fucking cool, dude.
And I would have framed it, but traveling with frames is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But
No, you've done plenty of the work.
Yeah, I mean, you spent a lot of money to
well, not
win
a lot.
the
First time we played against each other.
Black
2011.
Friday deal.
Here's something just kind of funny for your boy Taylor.
Oh, no.
That's a good angle, though. That's a good young
Yeah,
looking
well, it's got
Taylor
the,
one
it's
right
got the
there.
coming down angle, which is
Hey,
nice.
you don't got to explain. That's a good angle. It's a good angle of the boy. He says, got the.
Hey, brother.
Speaking of angle, Shane Gillis is right. This is cold-blooded to put the guest
Yeah.
side profile.
Just wait till you see Jelly pop up in this thing.
Well, I've seen him a couple times. All right,
Jelly makes the couch look like these fucking chairs, dude.
Yeah, let's talk about Turo for a second, guys. Turo is the world's largest car sharing marketplace.
You want me to hit
With
this?
Turo, no. With Turo, you can book any car you want for just about any occasion from a community of local hosts across the US, UK, Canada, and Australia. Book an SUV for a road trip, something easy and affordable for getting around on vacation, or test drive an EV. You can even get vintage cars or something classy for a special event or photo shoot. Every trip is backed by a liability insurance. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Find your drive. Forget boring rental cars at Turo.com.
And what we're about to do with this segment is talk about,
Travel.
a story on the road.
Story on the
A
road.
story on the road. And our boy Patrick
Game
here.
ticket. First ever game.
Yes, he is a memorabilia collector, and he hooked the boys up with our first tickets. And he's like, "Is there a memory that
for that game.
for this game?
You know what you
specifically?"
did in that
I
game.
can't remember exactly, except taking one to the house
That's
on a
it.
screen.
Yeah, so pick
Go
six.
up 6, I believe, against Georgia
All right, Taylor. Do you know what
in the
you-
Capital
what-
One Bowl.
What big did you do in that game?
This is 2016 Titans versus the Colts. Boys, we already know. Touchdown catch.
It's a touchdown.
That is awesome.
Could you feel your legs when you got in the end zone,
I think I got a little wobbly.
dude? Right
Yeah.
when I scored here, slipping a block to take you to the house.
By the way, you look fast.
Thank you, man. Dude, when I'm in the end zone and I'm first of all thinking I have no idea how to celebrate right here. Look, I'm just shaking. Then I kind of just move my hand. Dude, my legs, bro. I was like, I cannot believe this is fucking happening. Like I scored a touchdown.
That's so sick. And a nice little slip on the blocker right there.
Yeah,
that was
I
nice.
could go into the X's and O's of it. You know, the X was nasty. They only ran one play and it was a screen. So once I kind of saw that happening,
Look at
the
you
house.
getting. Look at the boy getting all hyped
And then
up.
Taylor had a called play. So Taylor's touchdown was a called play for you.
Yes.
which is
Call play,
pretty awesome.
Even scarier. To
Take
be
us-
honest, you know it's like coming to you. Like you.
take us to the moment.
All right. It was called 13 Wolverine, boys. I had to report to the referees. Went out there. If it was zone, we were going to have to check it into a run play. Obviously, it was zone on the first time. So I was like, damn, I lost my opportunity, which helped the nerves. So the next time I started to jog off to the sidelines is once you report, you have to go out for a play. And they were waving me, hey, go back in. We're doing it again. All of a sudden, like the nerves were kind of gone. I think Walden was the DN, made him look stupid. He thought he made a nice little move on me, turned around, and Marcus gave it to the boy, slipped it right in there.
And right here, when you turned your head, when you went left, obviously, I know you've talked about outrunning 97 right there,
Yeah,
but when you
fat boy.
slipped your head to the left and you saw green grass,
Yeah.
there's enough green grass to get the end zone. Like, what are you like? Yo, big dog's about to eat.
It's kind of one of the. It's kind of one of those things where fuck, dude. It's just happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just happens, and you kind of look back and like, yo, I scored a touchdown in the NFL.
yeah,
How sick is that?
dude, that's so sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. Throwing up the sevens at the end there. I don't know if you guys saw that right there. 7th Street. That was my gang inside the locker room. We rolled deep.
Inside the locker room.
So, Will, I've
No,
got
that's sick,
I
man.
had to keep it tight. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've got a couple extras, just and then Will. So this was your NFL debut. I can't find Taylor's NFL debut, and then I've got a bunch of these, and maybe I might give some of these away on my Instagram page, get them to sign them, or you guys do giveaways. But this is when they first played together as teammates. So the other thing that was interesting. You guys know what was famous about this game in Miami?
Longest game in NFL
Longest
history.
game in NFL history.
Also got knocked the fuck out in that game. That was cool.
So like it definitely there was something to come, right? Like long-standing game, long-standing relationship.
Yeah.
So not sure if we're still going down memory lane, but I was
long-standing
I can hold it.
relationship.
I was going to tell a couple stories about like my fandom of the show. If you guys wanted to,
We would love
Okay.
to. Oh, that's
Brother,
Good. That's
did-
good. That's good to pop up right there. That's me asleep. And I'm up.
Brother, you're on the bus. Like, this moment is
Okay.
about the boy.
okay. So
Go ahead and make it about us.
First time I found out,
Make sure that mic is right
All
there.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and feel free, you guys edit anything out that's not good because this is
Maybe some of the Longhorn
pro.
talk, but
Right. Okay. So, yeah, the Longhorn talk's fine to get rid of. All right. So, I came across y'all the first time the snake draft when you showed up on the snake draft with the Chicago guys. And by the way, the snake draft, in addition to your podcast, is like one of the few things that's like weekly watching. Like it's just that good of content. But yours is sort of unique. Like you're not in the studio. You're at a pool, and I don't know who you are. No offense at the time. I'm having a hard time putting together this big smiley face, just handsome gentleman.
Oh,
thank you.
Free
I
shout
agree.
out. And and he starts smiling. He's got the shades on. I think I was like, oh, this must be a guy from like the Out and About podcast. but then
Continue.
but then it transitions to where he's like, no, I can't do this out of the pool. Let me go inside. And they're like, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm at a Ritz-Carlton. I was like, oh, he must be part of the Barstool finance crew hanging out at the Ritz-Carlton.
money and gay. You
Yeah,
fucking out there doing it, brother.
But then they started talking about like the upcoming NFL draft. And I was like, oh, this guy's somebody. And then I Google, find out the show. And the first episode I went back and watched was with Vrabel on the bus. And I was like, this is a different type of podcast. Like, this is crazy to have like two active NFL players with as restrictive as all the leagues are around content. And the way that the engagement was like, no, this is like a real deal. Like these guys are like talking about things that really happen. So that was like flagship moment. And then my second favorite early memory as fandom is when you were out and Jelly Roll came on with Ernest.
Yeah.
That was out. I've rewatched that like 3 or 4 times because he talks about the dude wipes. Like, I'm not sure what those were there for. I
Yeah.
think I did the right thing with those.
But he walked out like 7 minutes in the podcast, hung over, had to shit.
Yes. So that was a fantastic moment. Then another early moment was when you were in Nardini's office. Okay. So, like, these CEOs, she's managing how many employees does Barstool have now? A couple thousand, right?
Do they?
I don't think they're
Maybe
1,000.
maybe
I think
400, but it's a
Yeah,
lot, right?
Yeah.
400,
So, like, she's getting fed. Clearly, you're waiting for her to get ready. She's getting like a 5-minute debrief, and she starts just kind of going in on you inadvertently. Sorry, you're kind of getting dragged on this one. But it's
I
like, okay, she's like,
Part of the
Taylor,
brand.
superstar, draft pick, big contract, you never on a team, broke, you need this. And you're like, yes, ma'am. She's like, so Taylor's the stud and you're not really on a team. You're like, yes, ma'am. And it was just like 6 yes, ma'ams back and forth of you just being like sitting there like in the principal's office. But you handled it very well despite her totally talking him up like, oh, $85 million contract.
Yeah.
You're still needing something. 86. Then 2 more funny moments was when a little Sasquatch was on. And what's the name of the town you're from?
Bonterre.
Bonterre. And he's like, oh, you must be like the king of Bonterre, thinking he's being funny. And it's like, you're like, well, yeah, actually, kind of. And it's like, you can tell he's such a young kid. He doesn't understand that like a guy from the Midwest, from a town of 5,000 who makes the NFL, like he is going to be the king of that town, especially if he's then on social media and stuff. So like his reaction of being like so embarrassed of like thinking he was making a joke. And it's like, no, actually I am the king. And then,
I am the king.
but
I don't
like,
think I remember it that way. I did get a hometown hero award.
but you're like, no, Sass, you're the king of New York. And he's like, no, that's a joke that I'm the king of New York. Like, you're really the king of this town. And then obviously you got to have a lot of respect for what Portnoy's built and everything he's done, just the changes in the business. But he was on shortly after you guys did your second deal. And I got the impression that you guys, I don't want to say figure out Dave, because once you think you figure out Dave, I think you don't have him figured out, right? But you got to know him a lot better in that negotiation. And something that like some people like about Dave and some people kind of rub him the wrong way is he's got this really like, not just unbridled enthusiasm, unbridled confidence. And so he's talking about how like he's the one who introduced Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk, and the look in your face of like, you're about to take credit for fucking Pat McAfee. Like, are you serious? And it was just like one of those moments where you got to kind of see like behind the scenes that you guys were in this negotiation. I'm glad you re-signed with Barstool. I'm sure that, you know, they're happy that you guys re-signed or whatever, but it's just one of those moments where you're like, yeah, this isn't just like Dave when he came on for the 100th episode. Like you guys had like earned your stripes and you're like, I figured out something about this guy. So that was good to see you guys kind of hold your own.
Brother, that's a lot to unpack. That's awesome. I love your journey getting into the podcast. That's awesome.
I like the business behind it too. Like I do like the fact that you guys are running a merch business, you're running a content business, and now you guys have done events, right? You guys sell tickets, you sell merch, you sell advertising. And I think people that are like trying to get into the game, they have to understand like you've got to go hard on every business like stream, any revenue stream there is. And this is really any business, but particularly the content business. And so, you know, obviously, you know, kudos to you guys for doing that. You got a great team behind you, because some people don't have the ability to then execute a lot of these ideas, but you guys have been executing a lot of the ideas, which I think is fantastic. And, you know, Will, it sounds like you're kind of dabbling in stand-up. I want to ask you like how that's gone. Are you going to do, because by the way, I've got a list of jokes in my phone. One day I'm going to do it. Like I'm going to go do an open mic or do something, just because I'm such a big fan of all the comedians and stuff, and comedy content's off the chart great right now. But you went up there and did it after you guys did your show, and I don't think that's aired. I don't think your stand-up's aired.
There's a couple clips that came out.
A couple clips, but just in case, you know, I do a special or something.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is it tough? Like,
dude, I was absolutely terrified. And Taylor can talk about how I was leading up to that. Like, I always got to feel like I'm super prepared. If not, like I'm like, you know, I'm antsy, I'm nervous if I don't have everything dialed in. And doing comedy, like I was petrified about to go up there and do stand-up, because if you don't have a joke that hits, like obviously you live in it and it's right. Like going to be like a fart in the wind. No one's really going to care. But also at the same time, it's like, man, you want to make people laugh. Like you want to entertain, you want to do all these things. But that was the only time I've done it. So I know Uncle Laser, he's coming out and doing some stand-up here at the end of this week, actually. And he wanted me to do 10 minutes for him, but I
it's not just about being funny.
Well, no, you got the Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, I'm doing the Dale. I'm going to do a live pod with Dale Earnhardt. But when he asked, I was like, dude, comedy's just a different beast.
Because it's not just about being funny. It's about how to like step out the stories and time the punchlines right and keep the flow going. I mean, it's a lot tougher, but I do like all the comedians you guys have had on. And basically just keep it up, guys. I mean, I'm a big fan. And it's crazy how much you guys have grown in the 6 months since I won the contest. Like, you guys have definitely steamrolled it. So kudos to you.
It's been a fun 6 months.
Thanks
the boys
for all the words,
back
man.
Been grinding.
Yeah, they have.
Been grinding it out. It's been awesome. We're glad to have you on, man. We're sorry it took so long to get this all done.
We're all busy.
Yeah.
So
we're rolling out here, dude. But yeah, the 5 minutes, I love the fact that people keep bringing it up, because Will did one 5-minute thing, but I feel like everyone's like, hey, I know you're doing stand-up now. I know you're doing this. I know you're doing that.
But you talked about...
He was decent. He was good. I sat there and I laughed. I genuinely laughed.
So there's the vulnerability. You were talking about doing the meet and greet for your show after it, and you were like trying to, hey, we got to wrap this up. You know, I've got this thing going.
I'm literally sitting there the whole time thinking, man, I got to escape and go over.
So that's why I think we as fans are so fascinated, because we really don't see you guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys get nervous and stuff. We don't really see it. Like, it was clear that Will was like nervous, and you're dragging out the meet and greet. And Will's like, he's never the one that drags out the meet and greet. Like, now's the day he's the one that's dragging it out.
Dude, the thing that was I was like became so aware of when Will was so nervous is like, that was our first ever live show. So I was nervous about the live show.
Like double work.
Yeah, I was super worried about it. I'm like, hey, Will, can we go over this? And you could just look at Will, and he's like, he's not there, because he's literally thinking about his 5 minutes that he's got to do with Josh Wolf. And I'm like, hey, we have to do this hour-long show. Like, can we talk about it? And he's like, yeah, I guess we. And then he would just get distracted and move on. And then the meet and greet came up, and I'm now, all the worry and stress for me is like, we're good, dude. Let's dive this in. And I've always been a guy like I know someday no one's gonna give a fuck who I am. So while these people want to see me and say what's up, I'm gonna be like, hey, yeah, let's take a picture, take as long as we need. And Will halfway through is like, let's fucking go. And then he's in this damn hallway for how long? An hour by yourself. And we're all hanging out in the green room having a good time. But brother, he was stressed.
It was like giving me a pep, like an inspirational talk, and I'm just like looking at him, just thinking like, he's firing me up. But again, like I always gotta like feel prepared. Always. If not, I'm extremely nervous. But once we got out there, because I wanted to even say I said Bill Cosby's name wrong. I think I said Bill Crosby.
Maybe I wasn't paying that much attention. I was watching you, and I was like, you had a couple of good ones. I was like, that's like I think I was standing right next to you, right, Garrett? I was standing next to Jack. And I literally looked at him and I was like, yo, that was actually funny. Like,
and it was fun, like the high you get from people laughing and everything else, but also like you see the work that these comedians put in and how often they need to be on a mic and do everything else. Because there was like a fleeting second where I'm like, yeah, should I maybe get into doing something like this? But then I was quickly like, oh, no, there's no way. I don't want to take, whether I'm going to try and do open mics or days of the week out on top of the stuff that we're doing to go and try and be a comedian. So it was kind of like a one time, like I'm sure, maybe we'll get out there again.
Well, speaking of nervousness, the blackjack stuff recently. So Dana's been banned, or they don't want his business at some casinos. Is it just because he's very aggressive and he won't stay a long time? Like he'll do quick hits. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah. The all the information I've acquired about these Vegas casinos is when you go in and you bet that high, they want you to stay for a long time.
Right.
They expect you to be there for a certain amount of hours at a certain amount minimum bet, because they know the longer you play, the higher your chances are of losing. And so the Red Rocks, the Fertitta brothers, own the Red Rocks, and they went in with Dana for the UFC, and they let him kind of do whatever. I think Caesar's Palace also lets him, but brother, he just goes in, bets the most he can bet, and then dips as soon as he can. And it's an impressive thing to see. The first time I did that, I was right where Will was before stand-up. I was fucking terrified. Even when I go, like I've been 6 times now, 5 times, whatever it is, every time I go, it's like I don't really talk. I'm nervous.
Right.
I don't know what to do with like myself.
Your
I
hands?
just walk around. Yeah, my hands. I lose all feeling in those.
Well, I applaud you for going out there so much, because I was in Vegas Thursday and I've recently started gambling a little bit more strategically at a higher level. But I was looking at just going straight from Vegas here. It's Spirit and Southwest.
Yeah.
So I thought it was like a joke. These videos of you in the back. I was like, well, how is he not in first forever? And like, oh, it's only
Also, a little bit of
haul.
respect for Southwest.
Yeah,
the Southwest doesn't get enough love out there. It doesn't get enough.
It's a 5-hour flight.
As long as there's not a red-haired guy right in front of me putting his seat back, I'm solid. I'm good. I'll sit there. I'll just zone out and stare at the wall for 3 hours. It doesn't matter to me. I just got to sit there.
Well, soon you'll be winning enough that they'll put the plane out for you and you can.
Man, that'd be a nice little deal.
Yeah, just get a little bit more aggressive.
That would be a nice little deal.
Should we hit shout out, no free shout out?
Yeah. Do you have a shout out? No free shout out?
So I do actually, kind of a dual one, but so I'm like a hotel junkie, just because like for 7 years I was doing 150 nights on the road, growing the business. And so I tend to be a little bit, just judgmental of even nice places. So I'm staying in the Four Seasons here in Nashville, relatively new place. And it's just like not broken in yet. So one thing is like, you got to give a hotel about a year to get its cadence or whatever. But I'm like, man, like this just isn't what I was expecting. Like I like bigger lobbies, like with coffee shops or whatever. And
you like bougie hotels,
more or less. Like that's why we bonded when I first saw that you were in the,
bougie guys.
Yeah, a couple of bougie guys.
But so like I've got this down opinions. But then yesterday I pop up to the rooftop where there's a pool and a restaurant. So I had my lunch yesterday up there. And like, so the shout out, no free shout out, is to Dave Grohl, because he was out there. And like, once you see Dave Grohl, your opinion of establishment instantly changes. I'm like, oh, this is now like the coolest place I've ever been.
Hell yeah.
And that restaurant had a great turkey club sandwich.
Gotta love the turkey club.
So rooftop, pool, Dave Grohl, great turkey club. So shout out, no free shout out to the Four Seasons Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Solid.
Well-rounded in there too. Good explanation as well.
Thank you.
Good explanation. Willie?
Oh shit, I feel like I am.
Like Garrett a few weeks ago.
Yeah. My shout out, no free shout out.
Oh boy.
My shout out, no free shout out goes to naps in the daytime. I got to experience one. I experienced many throughout my lifetime. Usually once a weekend on my daughter's schedule, when she goes down for that afternoon nap, I usually get one in. But at Bonnaroo on Saturday, got back at like 3 a.m. And, Father's Day was Sunday. Woke up, daughter had a gift for me, 7:30 in the morning, you're up. But I got to hit that love sack late morning, early afternoon, and had a nice 90-minute afternoon nap, which felt incredible and was the battery charge I needed to throw on some smash burgers on the grill later that afternoon. So my shout out, no free shout out, goes to a quality afternoon nap.
A little bit of rain in the background too.
Yeah. What's yours, brother?
Calming. My shout out, no free shout out, is new releases on flights. When I got on a Southwest flight last week from Arizona back to Nashville, and we've been on a lot of flights lately. And so I've kind of run through the Rolodex of what I want to watch on my little phone on a flight. And John Wick 4 was just released. And I saw the first one, liked the first one, saw the second one, hated the second one, barely rolled into the third, enjoyed the third, and I was excited to watch the fourth. And I think it's a phenomenal movie. And that took my flight.
Good
It
film.
was like time travel. It was like I wasn't even on a flight. It was nice. Got the exit row too.
Yeah.
That long one.
Yeah.
Just laying out there. It was a nice deal. So my shout out, no free shout out, goes to new releases on longer flights.
Can you get me close to the church? One of his lines.
Yeah. One of his 45 words he said.
Yeah. Guns.
What'd you think?
Pistols.
What'd you think of the ending of that movie?
Dude, honestly, I loved the movie, but I wanted more out of the villain. He's supposed to be the creme de la creme, and he didn't want the smoke for real from John Wick.
No, he didn't. But I expected halfway through that he would be like some badass fighter.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we'd actually get the fucking shooting each other at different distances. Sure. But I wanted to see them fucking actually go after it. He's throwing hands with the majority of villains and enemies he's came across. Like this dude, fucking, the French Joe Burrow leading the top, and he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to throw hands.
Yeah.
I was upset about. That was the only thing I was really upset about, is because he was doing some badass shit. He's like, oh, you don't mess with this motherfucker. He's at the top of the high table. So I wanted more out of that villain.
I was a little fought out. I don't agree. I was a little fought out towards the end. That whole scene with the roundabout, the staircase scene, there's so much fighting. And also the thing that made me laugh during that movie is fucking when they're in that roundabout and these cars are just hitting them over and over, cars just keep driving. Like there's like 40 hit and runs. It's like during that entire fight scene. And so towards the end, I was like, I liked the fact of like how it was like anticipation, not a whole lot of action. And then how he gets his boy out of his situation, and he gets the management job back, and he gets everything done.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was like one of those, finally he gets the rest.
And then the credits, the scene at the end.
I'm glad you saw that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad you saw that, because I waited, and I kind of ripped through the credits, because, shout out them for putting so much hard work in, but I don't even see your name. I'm good.
Yeah.
In the end, I wonder what they're going to do with that.
That was nice.
That was a nice little Easter egg type deal.
And then the entire fighting all the way up those stairs for him to try to make it on time. That's not right.
And then getting knocked all the way down. You're like, but he's not going to make it.
No, I chuckled at that part, but it's like, motherfucker, dude.
What time is it? It's just,
what time is it?
Let's get you up those stairs.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
And then you got the Asian daredevil.
Yeah.
Dude just eating ramen. Just eating ramen right before he goes in on everybody.
With his stick just moving around.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And then the black dude with the dog. No name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
And then he ends up turning, I did like his little, I like the way they wrote his character.
Yeah.
What do they call that? Story arc?
Character
arc?
Development. Yeah, I think they did a great job with that, because you think at any point he's going to turn on him.
Yeah.
Like in that big fight, and he binks the guy with the dog, and you're like,
Yeah.
and then he looks like, hey, it's not worth the money. My dog's worth more than that money.
Right.
And you could just see
I did like that.
Takes a village.
Good movie.
Patriot Pictures. You want to hit this one?
Yeah. God is a Bullet.
Oh.
The late night movie of the summer, God is a Bullet, based on the best-selling novel by Boston Turan. Inspired by true events, an incredible cast of
Go ahead with that one.
Nicolaj Coster-Waldau, Mackay Monroe, and Jamie Foxx. Nicolaj Coster-Waldau is from Game of Thrones, shot caller, and The Last Thing He Told Me. Dip into the deadly world of a cult and its sociopathic, mesmerizing leader. Violence grounded in emotion. How far would you go to save the one you love? Revenge? Rage? Justice? a father doesn't stop to ask where the line is drawn. It's an acclaimed filmmaker, Nick Cassavetes, says it's the movie he's wanted to make for years. Say your prayers. This movie is exclusively in theaters Friday, June 26th. God is a bullet.
This episode this week, obviously, we're hour 13 minutes into this whole thing. Jelly Roll and his wife came on. Literally just an amazing story of a crack dealer and a prostitute finding love. It is
one of the best.
It was one of the best
of our generation.
They were so cute too. Oh no, you tell a story. No, you tell the story. Kind of going back and forth. We obviously did the pet peeve. All of us started talking about pet peeves of each other. It's amazing to see the success that Jelly Roll's had since we've been on. We get into that right in the beginning of the episode. But the way these two found each other, the success, Bailey, Jelly Roll's daughter, them working through that whole entire process, it was an incredible podcast just to be a part of.
Yeah, man. Seeing Jelly too, like he'll be this way forever, but it's kind of like he understands the success that he's having, but his humility through it all and just like understanding like, wow, I'm really in these moments. And it's because of that fan base he's built
from the ground up.
Yeah. Cause he's made incredible music and it's cool too. I forget who I was talking to. My dad yesterday. That's who I was talking to. But he was like, he was with his buddy, Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. And he was bringing up, hey, like, you should listen to Jelly Roll's new album. And he's like, oh, who's Jelly Roll? And shows him a photo of Jelly Roll. And, I'm sure everybody's reaction when they don't know who Jelly Roll is. And you see it, it's like, oh, this is unique. Then he brings up like, not Save Me, but Son of a Sinner.
Yeah.
He starts playing. He's like, oh, I know this song. He's like, this is that guy. So like, it's just cool seeing how big his name is truly getting like through the trenches and through all these different demographics and making its way to old Bonter, Missouri. Shout out Bonter, Missouri as always. But dude, I do love like Jelly's just like a kid experiencing all the success and be like, man, he always reflects on it. And I think that's really cool about it. But this collab, this podcast I was so hyped to sit down with these two because everybody wonders, how this entire relationship works. And we get to get into the nitty gritty of a lot of stuff. So much so that there is some too much information that goes on at times, but it's fucking hilarious.
One last thing about Jelly before we get to Bunnie is Jelly, we've really found out, is a nasty motherfucker. Nasty boy. He
is what you think.
Borderline gross.
Yeah.
It's borderline gross some of the stuff that they talked about he does in that fucking house.
Yeah, God bless her.
Yeah.
God bless her, man. Jesus Christ.
She's built different for sure. But Bunnie, man, she's got her own podcast called, it was Dumb Blonde podcast. And so she's built that from the ground up. I believe she started that in 2017.
She's a businesswoman. She's a little entrepreneur.
She's a street bitch. Her words, not mine. And
awesome words too.
Her story about growing up in Las Vegas, some of the stuff she's seen, some of the interactions she had with some celebrities. It is an incredible story. Her come up is incredible. Like you hear about her childhood being left and all that stuff. It's one of my favorites. I've literally, since we did this episode last week, I've been telling people,
you got to listen.
This is going to be a great one. It's one of my favorites we've done. We bring up Mount Busmore all the time, but this one might be one of those.
Great Eminem story.
Great Eminem
Cuba
story.
Gooding Jr.
Yeah. That thing just...
You guys will fucking love
him. Around,
Did you know we should ask that we didn't ask?
Huh.
If Jelly's ever on top.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not, right? I picture Jelly in the bedroom just hitting the starfish. On his back, arms and legs out, and just goes, do what you want.
Yeah.
I
picture him a big stander. I bet he's a big stander.
Yeah,
you
think so?
Job done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Enjoy this episode. Please subscribe, rate 5 stars, get the merch, boys. It's been a beautiful year so far. Let's keep this thing rolling through the next half of the year. Big hugs, tiny kisses. We love you so much.
Yeah, it looks like we're rolling, brother.
Let's just give a round of applause for Jelly Roll for the last
Let's go. Big
3,
applause.
4, 5, 10 years, whatever it's been. Fucking the last, let's say, 90 days?
Last 90 days.
Have been fucking an ascend of which not many people in this earth get to see.
A complete fucking circus, Taylor. Insanity. From I can't even begin to describe how unreal. This was the second podcast I ever done.
Yeah.
Just true story.
I remember
I did the King and the Sting.
Right.
And that's when I came in and officially met y'all. We had talked before online.
Well, Thanksgiving had happened.
Yep.
And Shaub and them were in town, and there was Thanksgiving to where you were singing in front of all of them.
Yep.
And Shaub was coming over to do a pod, and you're like, yo, can I get over there and get in the bus or go meet him?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
remember when you were in that little shed that we were in,
Yep.
and we met, and then we were talking about like, yeah, bro, it'd be fucking awesome to get you on
And
the
I
bus.
came like less than a month later. I came
Yeah.
right back onto the bus.
Well, I mean, I remember when I was getting my truck done, I think like 3 years ago. This is before we met. Somebody was telling me, I'm not going to say the person, but somebody was telling me, yo, there's this white rapper in Nashville. You should get on your podcast. And I didn't know what to think. I'm like, yo, is it Eminem? Like, what? I don't know who it is. And he like played a couple songs. I've never been a big rap guy, but then meeting you with them, that was when we were both like, yo, we got to get this fucking guy in the podcast. And the thing that fires me up so much, I literally, no joke.
I walked on the
Hell
bus
yeah.
and shot my shot.
Yeah.
By the way.
It was elite, dude. The
Yep.
thing that fires me up, and this is a true story. I put on your documentary, and I was like, "Hey, Tim, I'm gonna go in the other room. I'm gonna watch a documentary." This is like I think 2 weeks ago, and I put it on. And the first you're in Colorado for Red Rocks. No joke. I start crying, and Taylor walks in. She's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Dude, it's one thing to see somebody succeed. It's another thing to be a part of somebody's life, and then watching all this happen and just being truly happy for someone." To the point where I'm sitting by myself in a room in tears, just being happy for you. And it's fucking awesome.
God,
It is fucking awesome to see. And it's crazy how it was literally you that came to us. That was like, hey, we got to get this boy on the
shot my
pod.
shot. I walked on this bus to introduce myself because Brendan was sitting down. And I shook everybody's hand and I said, hey, man, y'all got to get me on the bus, man. I'm a local kid. I give you like my 30-second
Elevator pitch.
And then I got straight off the bus and left. To not be obnoxious, because I even knew that early in my career was a little goes a long ways. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Okay, man, shoot your shot and leave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
But you were giving me some game at the softball game the other day about Rogan. And that's essentially what you did to Rogan too, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, dude, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I just met him, and it was just the most casual thing, and he was like, "We should do the pod." It was cool. It was just so awesome.
So when you walked in there, hey, good to meet you. I don't know if you gave him the 30-second elevator pitch or you're just like trying to be cool. Hey, good to meet you.
I thought he was in the middle of a conversation, so I kind of tried to walk by him, and he tapped me on the back.
Ooh.
That's how good of a dude Joe is. He stopped what he was doing just to acknowledge, like, hey, I know who you are, and I love you. And I turned around like, yo, fuck, I love you, Joe. Good to meet you. Jelly. He's like, I love you too, man. I gave a hug. He was like, good to see you here. He's like, you need anything? I was like, no, we're great, man. I was like, your people have more than accommodated, because he's got this sick VIP balcony that overlooks this club was created for fun, and it was also created for the comics, which by default people like us sneak into that.
Yeah.
So like we got this, like he's got these overriding balconies of the main room that you would never know somebody was sitting up there, and even if you looked up, it's so dark you couldn't see. So like we're sitting there, and he's like, yo, drinks are on me tonight. So they just start sending us drinks, and I didn't say nothing else, Taylor. And I was freaking out because I'm such a Joe Rogan fan. I was like sitting there like, should I go back? Should I do this? Should I try to find him? And I was just like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just chill. And the next day he DM'd me. I was like, yo, by the way, I love your shit. He was like, we should.
You didn't try to offer him up some tequila?
No, I did. Man, I'm telling you, I was
for the boys, Bubba.
I was in a nervous place right then. I was like, you know, Joe Rogan's larger than life in general, right? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's one of the most famous people probably in the world.
100%. Yeah, he's got one of the most influential podcasts in the world, and and I thought he was in the middle of a conversation, but he and then I came back and did the pod, and he was everything I thought he'd be. I mean, times two, dude. Just one of the boys.
How sick is that compound?
Oh, fuck, dude. What did Schultz say? Joe, we just did archery inside. You know what I'm saying? I think you're doing pretty well, or whatever Schultz said, fucking with him. Like, it's you just keep going around corners, and it's just more shit. You're like, oh, look, a pool room. This is cool.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, a gym. Oh, fuck, a polar plunge and a sauna room.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking archery room.
And he's just got
a
it
read and
fucking
chill
all.
room. Yeah, it's like
A read and chill room.
It's like there's like a read and chill room. There's like a little kitchen. It's like, it's crazy. And I think I only seen like a piece of the building. I think they're still building out a piece. So it was fucking so sick.
When it comes to,
Go ahead, baby.
I was going to say, whenever it comes to like listens and the Spotify, because you're more of an independent guy, that's kind of how you cut your teeth in the game. When you go on the spots like Joe Rogan, Good Morning America, American Idol, you're doing all this stuff because you got, Bussin with the Boys. Yeah. You win your 3 awards, not Oscars or Grammys.
Right.
Which I got confused at one point.
Still awards.
Yeah, still awards.
Don't take away from my little awards.
Can you talk about how influential it was to be on a podcast like Joe Rogan compared to going on all the other mainstream stuff?
I can tell you that we've seen like an 80% increase in Spotify streams for the first 3 weeks.
Since being on that podcast,
like a 60 to 80% increase immediately.
Yeah.
It took about a week to saturate because the podcast is such a long listen that if people get into it, it takes. But I mean, I'm still seeing it. Like, it's just insane how much of a difference it made, and just how awesome it was talking to him. And he's a friend forever now. I look at him like a brother forever, and it's fucking. You know, I don't know how to say it without it sounding weird. I think that the next album, I'll text Joe myself and just be like, "Hey, bub, I got an album coming out. Can I come talk about it?" Just like I do with y'all.
Yeah.
Remember when I hit y'all last time I was here with Ernest, I took y'all to South End and said, "Hey, next summer I'm gonna need y'all, man. The album's gonna be a big thing for me." In a week or two after the album, I want to come on the bus and try to bring the album back to the front. We talked about that.
Yeah.
You know what it's like? I think that Joe's the same guy now. I think I'll text Joe, you know, forever. I think me and him will end up hanging out and fucking doing mushrooms together one day. And
That's
he's
awesome.
that kind of dude.
Yeah.
Same way I felt about y'all. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get drunk with these guys. We're gonna party. Like,
Yeah.
there's many a partying in our future.
No
I
doubt.
knew that the moment I hung out with y'all. Exactly how I feel about Joe Rogan.
When
You know what I'm saying?
when you're looking at, you're saying brother for life. Now you spent 3 hours with this man on a podcast, and I'm assuming a few hours before that talking and chilling.
And we went out that night to the
And you went out that night. So you've had, let's say, a day with the man.
Yep.
And he's a brother for life. Like, what qualifies in Jelly Roll's world? A man who's been through so much adversity, gone through so much, came through so much. How are you not jaded? And how are you able to look at somebody after one day and be like, that dude's a brother for life?
It's
Oh,
Joe Rogan.
you feel the love.
Because it's Joe Rogan.
It's one is Joe.
I hung out with Tom Brady for an hour. I see him as a brother for life.
You can tell people that walk in love.
Mm.
Like people that genuinely like want people to win and love people. Like that's not a facade. When you hear all of Joe's comedian homies say that, like, I don't know him nearly as well as Bert and them do, but you feel it on him. You feel like this dude really wants me to win. Like literally, like I'm only on this podcast because he listened to enough of my music and heard enough of my story that he wants me to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a cool fucking dude.
Yeah.
You know, he had no other reason. I'm not changing his numbers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I brought zero value to the Joe Rogan Experience except for nothing. I brought nothing there but myself.
Hang on
That's
now.
all.
Well, yeah, listen, you gotta give yourself some flowers
like,
now.
I'm-
Your following is so cult-like. It's crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure you'll never be able to play Bridgestone Arena again.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's how cult following you are.
I'm blessed.
Your
man.
people, when it came out there, and your people fucked up Broadway.
Oh, yeah. For
Yeah.
the most
that night.
arrest ever after a
Yeah.
Bridgestone show in history.
But that's the kind of fans you want, dude.
yeah.
Ones that you kind of worry about, like, are they going to kill me too? You know, that's
And
the
the
kind of
best part,
shit.
listen,
Yeah.
and the best part was, they were like, it wasn't like violent stuff that they had broke the arrest record.
Yeah.
It was just public intoxications.
Public,
Like,
yeah, a couple
people
of
just-
urination things here and there.
A couple
Yeah.
people pissing on stuff, falling asleep in front of stuff. I tried to make one girl's bail. I read the story. I felt so bad. She got arrested because the police she didn't know where her hotel was.
Mm.
And the cops was like, we will take you to your hotel if you'll just tell us where it was. And she
Man.
was so fucked up. She didn't know where her hotel was. I was like, I like that story. We should bail her out, but she was already out.
She already got out.
Bail
It's
her
about
out.
that counts type of thing.
But I will say, like, obviously, guys that love the Joe Rogan podcast, like, I've listened to him for fucking years. It feels like your episode was a banger for real. Like,
Yeah.
listen to it from start to finish. Like, once you get in it, you don't want to stop listening to it. You guys are fucking crying on a couple different occasions.
Yeah.
And it just felt like two homies just cutting up. Like, I very much enjoyed that podcast. It's not like you didn't bring any value to it. You could tell he was super interested in talking to you. And man, you should, I'm sure you do feel this way, but walking away from doing that podcast, like, you got to feel like, man, that went better than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, there was a dream scenario of how I hoped the podcast would go, and then there's how it went, and it was even better than my dream scenario. Like, straight up, because it was like, I looked at it like when two dudes get together and start passing around an auxiliary cable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've ever been in that moment with somebody where you're like, just had enough weed or enough drinks to be like, what's your favorite song ever? You know what I'm saying? And then you just start passing an auxiliary cable.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you like that? That carried on through the night.
Mm.
That Joe was like, yo, you ever heard this song? And like, Tony Hinchcliffe's like that too. That dude is a music nerd.
Is this the Kill Tony guy?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He is a music nerd, dude. Him and Joe know so much about music. It blew my mind. But I'm learning that about a lot of dudes. Josh Adam Myers that's why I take him on tour. He has a whole podcast about what he think was the top 50 records ever. You know what I
really?
mean? Yeah. Like, you know how bold you got to be like, I'm going to publicize my opinion about the top 50 albums ever on earth. You know what I'm saying? Might even be the top 500. It's like, it's a crazy number. But these dudes super know music, and that's what made it feel like it was two homies, and that's why it was such a up and down podcast in the way of like up and down, like we would cry and then we'd laugh because we were just passing auxiliary cables and just talking about fucking dude. It was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It was like everybody should listen. It's worth the listen for sure.
Dude, there's no question. It is one of those things you put on, you can't take off. When you're like, you seem like an individual. Like Will is this way. He's a golden retriever. Like you put him in a room, he's going to become best friends with everybody. You have that same quality as a human being. As that,
Will's a golden retriever.
yeah, Will is truly a golden retriever, but like a little but it's smarter. You also have that thing too, where it's like you kind of walk in and everybody like Delaney was just sitting out here. I don't know how well you know Delaney, but it seemed like you guys were fucking boys.
Oh yeah, I love
you walk in places and it's like, oh, Jelly Roll, you make people feel like you're just their fucking friend. Like has that always been your mindset, or has that taken some time to get to that place?
No, I think it was just years of being not that guy.
Yeah.
Years of being standoffish, almost like I felt like I had some kind of point to prove with people.
Yeah.
So I was always
A little more rough around the edges.
I was always like, I was so insecure in who I was. It goes back to moving in love. I just didn't move in love. It's not that I moved in hate or anger. I just didn't move in love. And then I learned, man, that people that move in love, they just move different. You know what I mean? Y'all are those dudes. That's why dog. Thank y'all. I know this podcast isn't supposed to be about y'all, but this is for the boys. Like the same way y'all feel about me is exactly how I feel when y'all get a Jeffree Star interview. You know what I mean? Like that's a big deal. No, but that's because to me that was like, oh, y'all are in pop culture now. Like there's a moment where it goes from being this underground, like tier 1, tier 2 thing to like a pop culture moment, like seeing you gamble with Dana White. It's like, oh, my dude's all the way in pop culture now. Like my dude literally, it just like is he's a pop culture star. Like
it's been a weird 2023.
Yeah, for sure. To say the least.
It's been a fucking weird deal.
I watch, and I get to hear, I told Will the other day, I was so proud of him. I seen a podcast where Will did it. What was the name of the guy? I don't want to fuck this up.
Which
the one I sent you where I was like, dog, I learned stuff about you and I feel like I know you.
Next man up, right? Next up.
The one you were spitting game?
Yeah. The one with, next
dog,
up.
He just went in there and spit fucking game. And it was like, I text Will, like, yo, this was like a treat, dog. Like, I watched all 2 hours of that proud because I was like, what a fucking story the bus has been through. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, what a business acumen y'all built. I'm just know that the love is there. Like, I love y'all, and I'm so happy for watching this podcast fucking explode. Like, I'm a smaller guest now on your podcast.
No.
Shut
Maybe
up.
not.
Hey,
We were
brother,
not allowing that to take
you
place,
just
brother.
passed the line and we bit. We were the fish that bit. We'll give you are not a small guest for us.
All right.
You're one of our
The
favorite
biggest guest
recurring.
we've ever had.
Probably at this very moment. At this very moment. So bringing up Jeffree Star, that's so fucking funny.
I thought it was awesome when I seen you on Jeffree Star's something or nothing. You know, my wife's all on that shit, and she's like, dude, Taylor fucking LaWanda's with Jeffree Star right now. I was like, let's go, Taylor.
Dude, where were we driving? We were on our way back. We drove back for one of the spring tour things.
Oh, we were going from Ohio because we thought it'd be
Coming
faster to
from
fly.
Ohio, we thought it'd be faster to drive than fly.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
And we just hit up some random gas station.
Like, we're
I don't
talking
know
about,
where the
like-
fuck we are.
I don't know. You spent a lot of time in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's kind
No.
of, it's hicky out there. You get
for
outside the main
sure.
cities.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Ohio doesn't get enough love for how
No,
toothy it can
We
get.
hit a random gas
country-
station
this country is
to
fucked.
Yeah.
take a stop to get a pit stop to grab some coffee. And I want to say we got a couple cinnamon rolls in there.
Yeah, there's Cinnabon. We got
But
stuck
I
in my
go to the
Cinnabon.
bathroom and I come out and all these gas station workers are like, they come up and like, hey, are you Taylor LaWan? And like, it is him, the one with Jeffree Star.
Right.
Like, hey, can we get a photo?
telling you,
It was
Can we
wild.
get a photo with you? And I'm sitting there taking the photo of all them because Taylor and the Jeffree Star stuff.
That was a weird deal, man. I was with my buddy in Arizona. I go to a Starbucks and some random guy, and he had the vibe where I was like, he's batting for the other team.
Right.
And he just had a vibe. He's like, I think I know you from somewhere. I was like, Jeffree Star? And he's like, yes, Jeffree Star. And he like picked my brain about it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And it's
awesome.
like crazy. Because the thing that was so wild to me about that was like the two completely different worlds absolutely colliding into one.
Right,
And I thought I really liked Jeff. I think he was fun to be around. He said some crazy shit on that podcast where as a straight white man, I kind of just sat back there and let him do his thing because I'm not trying to get canceled.
Yeah.
But like, the dude was fun to be around. He was a good time.
And he boosted the boys.
He boosted the boys, man.
Boosted the boys.
He really did. Now he's on other podcasts. He went on Out and About with Joey Camasta, who for whatever reason wants to fuck me too.
Shout out Out and
Yeah,
About.
shout out Joey Camasta. And they're both talking about me coming too fast and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, this is just the life I've chosen to live now. I'm just in this fucking life.
Good for you, man.
I think it's funny because the world I come from, the football world, such a homophobic world.
Right.
It's like people don't do that. And for me, it was like, I low-key feel like a gatekeeper. I feel like, hey, it's all good. You can live this life or whatever. You know, you can live
It's all good.
however you want.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
feel like you talk
I'm
like
a trendsetter, dude. I'm a fucking trendsetter is what I am.
I feel like you talk like locker rooms hate gays.
It's a homophobia is big in the locker room.
I've been in the locker room.
I know. I've been in a locker room with you.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
Was
Who's
y'all doing
the
gay stuff?
defensive end with the Raiders? Yeah, Carl Nassib. Like there wasn't.
You were in the locker room with him?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, bro. I mean, I don't really feel like we got to digest this whole thing. You've been in the rooms where you act like we do gay stuff around people, and there's
play gay all the
plenty of
time.
guys that are always like, man, I don't play that. I don't play that. Don't do that shit around me.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You know what I'm
you're gonna get
saying?
that from some straight dudes.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying like it's a little bit of a hey, it's all good.
I know. I
you
just
can be
gotta-
straight and
I
play the
gotta-
game.
I gotta help protect. Like, hey, it's not like it's.
Yeah, like you're right. That was
You know
good.
what I
You
mean?
did that because you don't want the whole like, NFL being like it's homophobic. I definitely didn't paint a very broad brush there, as if like the whole everybody in the NFL is like,
You know,
no,
in the
dude,
NFL, like it's
fuck that gay
homophobic.
shit. Yeah. It's not like that. It's not like that. But
Anyway, Jeffree Star is pop culture to me, right? Jeffree Star is pop culture to me, and I said Dana White. Those are those moments like where you watch something cross into a different. It's a level.
Yeah.
like you watch clear level ups. Like Rogan for me was like a level up. Like the amount of people, especially at airports, that just stop by and go, listen to you on Rogan right now and just keep walking. It's crazy.
no shit,
Literally, it's insane.
dude. The way you explain Rogan is how I view Dana White.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
if that dude fucks with you, it's like he'll literally do whatever he can possibly do to make sure you're also successful. The man's got more money than God. Like he has so much money, and you can just see him consistently, like always trying to help everybody else. There's no business for him to be fucking with Bussin' the Boys.
Right.
Like it's a fun podcast, but he's got a reach similar to Rogan in that way.
For sure,
And
exactly.
for him to be like, hey, you guys come do this, we'll do X, Y, and Z, we'll do giveaways. Like he told me one thing that I was blown away by because of the status he has in the bank account category. He's like, I would never choose money over people ever. And he talks about like the Rogan situation with the Spotify and all that.
Wow.
How the lengths he was willing to go to make sure that Rogan was never off UFC or none of that.
Wow.
And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that's inspiring that you like look at and you're like, I want those kind of people in my life.
No,
He
absolutely.
just wants you to
And
win.
the hospitality that they show anytime that the one time we went out there to tour all the UFC stuff before that
Yeah.
first Power Slap event. Yeah, man, very like accommodating.
And like you just,
great.
it's just a
Once
regular
you get
dude.
Dinner. Hey, come
Yeah.
with me here. Come with me there.
Yeah.
We'll make
Yeah.
sure we do this.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
See, that's the shit. I watch y'all and I'm just like, yeah, the bus just leveled completely up.
It sounds like you finally figured out the airport situation because we got
I did.
some airport
I did.
beef.
I figured out the
We got
airport
some
situation. I
airport
got a
beef
new
that
ID.
Uh-oh.
I got a new ID.
Yeah?
We got Jelly and I have some airport beef. He might not know about it as much, but I'm like,
I know. So we
I'm
were
being
going.
left
We
behind.
were
It
going
was
to do
tough
the
when
fighter and
fucking
the
Will
kids.
called me and he's like, bro, Jelly Roll. I'm like, oh, what happened?
Oh, dude, it was. I felt horribly bad about this. We were going to do the fighter. We were going to do the fight companion with Shab,
yeah,
and
Rampage Jackson.
this is the backstory you don't know, and I didn't want to talk about it, but I will. I have been, until recently, we squashed our beef, but I have been beefing with TSA for a while. Me and TSA have never really had a good thing going. And I had showed up without an ID for a flight to Detroit, Michigan to play a radio show. And I'm telling them who I am. They're like, we know who you are. You just got to answer like 3 questions. And they made it sound like they were going to be like, you know, where'd you go to high school?
Yeah.
And they were like, what kind of car did you own in 1997? And I was like, I don't know what I ate for dinner. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
definitely don't know what car. I didn't know I owned a car in 97. Then I thought about it. I was like, dude, I was like 13. They were like, there was a car registered to your name. And like, my mother, when we were young, had put like water and power and bills in my name. And she went defect on them. So I had bad credit from like birth. You know what I'm saying?
Set up.
So
set up
it's,
bad.
right. So it's like, I was like,
She
I
was
don't.
playing a different kind of game.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then because of my attitude, which is where I was wrong,
Mhm.
they ended up just not letting me fly. And I was like, you can Wikipedia, you can Google. Like, I've sold millions of records at this point. Like, I promise, there's fans taking pictures while I'm talking to y'all. Like, I'm clearly just trying to go
Right.
do a show.
You have a very distinct look too.
Yeah,
but you also have a look that would make you get a random screening.
for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
you're a random screening guy, 100%.
So when we go, this happened. Yeah, this happened like a few days before. So then I go to the airport again. Still don't have an ID. I didn't go get one, and I'm like, you know what? I'll figure this out. There's got to be an easier way.
Mm.
They fucked me again. I walk right back in line. I'm like, hey. They were like, yeah, just got to answer a few questions. I was like, and then it was, what was your credit score in 2000? And they wanted to know my credit score in a specific year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what my credit score is today.
Mhm.
I don't have no clue. I would assume whatever the worst credit score I could have in that year was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Can we just guess that? You know, and they ended up not letting me fly, and Will ended up flying. And ended up going and doing this whole fight companion without me.
He was nervous
he
too.
dedicated the 4-hour flight to telling me how much I let him down.
Oh no!
As soon as his
Right,
Wi-Fi,
I'm buying that Wi-Fi.
No, listen,
That $8, well fucking spent.
And you know how Will is. I'm like, and he did it in such the Will Compton way. He spread them out about every 43 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I was very understanding. And then once the 40 minutes goes by, I text him. I'm like, you know what? I'm not all right with this.
But he called me and he's like, man, I was like, I'm Shab. I know Shab pretty well, but like Rampage, I don't know Rampage. I was a big fan of Rampage. I knew I had Jelly Roll to lean on because we have a good relationship, and now I'm kind of going in blind. I'm kind of nervous.
I bought us 2 big waters. Like, oh man, me and Jelly's fine. Like we'll be vibing.
They be vibing out there.
Together.
I was excited. We even strategically had the same flight. I was like, we text about the flight. I was excited to do it.
Yeah, man.
And then when he gave me that voice and talking about Bubba,
Oh no! You get that voice text from Bubba.
I was like, oh my
that tone?
God, no way, bro.
God.
Well, I'm sorry. If we should do it again, what we should do is we should get Shab to come out here and do it with all 3 of us.
That'd be fun.
That should be the play. We should pitch that to Shab and do it in Nashville.
The companion did reach out a few times, and I was not able to do it.
Because it's always the week of.
Yeah, it's
it's
always
the week of, and we've been very
here's
busy.
The other thing too, I tell Shab is like, man, I love you, but it's the flight all the way to LA for an evening.
Right.
And because of the way it's set up, you almost got to fly out the day before or risk it on the day of. You know what I mean? It could be a 3-day thing by accident. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, but if you just came out here and did one with the boys, we could fucking we do it right here on the bus, right? Couldn't we? We get that TV to play.
We might have to bump up the monitor a little bit.
we might
We might have to, get a bigger screen, maybe. But yeah, we could definitely do.
What's funny too is I landed and Jelly Roll security's taking care of me the entire time.
Oh, for
Somebody
real?
there is on behalf of Fight Companion. Somebody's there on behalf of Jelly Roll. Joe's right. I got it all taken care of.
Yeah.
There's a dude that calls me up. I forget his name, and I hate that I forget it because we had a great conversation the entire way. I mean, we're talking over an
Probably
hour.
JB.
Yeah, over an hour drive. We're getting to know each other. We figure out we have a common friend.
Golden Retriever.
Yep.
Yeah, we figure out we got
Right
a
in
common
there.
friend. It
Best
was
friend.
a good conversation, but I'm kind of just sitting in the car. It's just me and him.
And meanwhile, that guy will never forget you, and you're on this podcast right now. Like, what was his name again?
Yeah.
I sound like an asshole for sure. But I'm sitting there just like, man, what kind of situation did I just get into? Because I'm asking about security stories. Like, you know, he's done security for like Cardi B.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd. He's telling me a lot of like high intense situations. It was cool. But the entire ride, I'm just thinking like, man, it's wild. Like Jelly just missed his flight.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
missed it. And you,
Blew not missed it, but like
Yeah,
couldn't
blew
get
the
in
flight.
because of
Blew the
fucking
flight. I went and
paper
got an ID that day. Yeah.
when Will and I, we've flown obviously together a whole bunch, and we were going to Nebraska. I think it was one of the first times we went to Nebraska. I lost my ID. So for flying for me, I literally went up and I was like, hey, my name's Taylor Lewan. I need to get through this flight. I need to go. And they're like, oh yeah, we just got to do an extra screening on you. You're fine.
Wow.
In and out.
Was
So
there
Will,
extra screening, like just like a little like
extra
tap your
screening,
waist?
yeah, they just went a little higher up in the
they
groin
told
and
me
they
an
were
extra
solid.
Screening
Yeah.
with 2 questions, and
There was no question. So Will calls me and we're talking about it. I was like, I don't know if Jelly Roll's telling the truth, Will, because he's
Dog.
seen me.
No. For what it's
There's
worth,
still a small part of me, and here's why. Here's why there's a small part of me that thinks like, for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. Because I'm thinking it's the same flight. Hang on, Jelly, give me a moment now. Give me a moment. You'll have your chance. Because
The first 20 minutes of this podcast is like, we love each other so much. And now it's like, here's why you're wrong, Jelly, and here's how it's all
this is
fucked
where
up.
you fucked me in our freak.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about it for 8 months.
And I'm thinking like, I never saw my man at the airport. I feel like I would have saw Jelly if he was at the airport or having an issue getting through the airport. And then I'm thinking too, like, he could be the ultimate finesser. Like he can freestyle, he can do all this, he can think on his feet and come up with some shit. Like, I don't know.
Right.
but he's got that skill and that ability. So I'm like, who fucking knows?
Which is a tip of the cap.
Right.
It's
thank
the
you.
captain,
No,
and
thank
also that
you.
leaves me that little hole of like, I never saw him at the airport.
Yeah. No, no. We were at the airport
He's
for
saying
sure.
the right words
no,
right now.
no. We were definitely. So
He's
this
like, man,
is-
I've been a
totally right.
convicted felon, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I have know nothing about that. So yeah, maybe he's right.
No,
He's saying all this stuff.
I'm telling you, man, where I fucked myself was I don't like flying. So I have anxiety when I'm in airports. And if there's ever a time you'll see me out of character, it's when I'm nervous. Like you might see me before a show and like there are people that probably think I'm a douchebag. 'Cause
Bro.
if you only see me walk, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm just so weird when I'm in moments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That my reaction is like if I was not really good to TSA. I probably could have approached all of that different both times. You know what I'm saying? But both times I was just kind of like, I'm not going to deal with this, dog. Like, I'm not answering this fucking weird question. Where I should have just been like, hey, y'all, let's be honest. Nobody knows what their credit score was in 2002.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm just like, dude, I'm not answering this shit because I shell up and get weird. But you see me at a show.
Well, I was gonna say Bridgestone. You went up and you had like beer fest. You had the eye of the Jew. Like you ripped up there, and I've never seen you so serious. You went up there, you were on stage, and then there was a portion. You came down, got on a golf cart, and ripped to the other side because you had to like make it. They like your guitarist was like doing a solo, and I'm assuming you had like 20 seconds to make it to the next stage, like kind of pop up in a new place to surprise
for sure.
everybody.
Yeah.
Well, me and Will are like Jelly, like screaming, and you're closer than you are now.
Wow.
And you were just so laser fucking focused. And so when you bring up being like before shows or like during like in this situation during shows, it was a different man we were watching there. Like you were truly like what I'm assuming you see athletes going into games like, you know?
Yeah. No, it gets different, man. It's like and it's a way I deal with the nerves. I just go and especially shows and dude, we're hearing so much shit in here that people don't know we're hearing. Like lights coming down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue pyro, Q1. And I'm trying to hear all these cues and there's people in my shit too at the same time. And you're just like, I don't want to get burnt. And let me tell you something, dude. There's 1,000 ways for me to fuck that show up. I could get burnt, fall, trip, slip, out of key wrong, guitar out of key. And you're hearing this happen in live time because there's a 30-person staff with fucking microphones that are telling each other everything that's not going right. You know what I'm saying? You only got 37 seconds to get to B stage, Jelly. And I'm just like, I don't think I'm going to make this golf cart go any faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
No shit. Is that, how distracting is that? Like, why isn't there like another, like maybe they could turn to channel 2?
Yeah, for
and
sure.
talk about all the
We
issues
do
going
now,
on.
but it's like things
you know, we're gonna go over to channel 2.
Things I need to know. You know what I mean? And it's a lot more than you think, especially in transitional moments or going on stage because everything's so timed down. Plus, I was flat fucking nervous, dude.
I can't.
16,660 something people, dude, just stacked to you couldn't move. There was nowhere to stand anymore. You know what I mean? There were people in there that had a ticket, but not to a seat. You know what I'm saying? It was like just.
I'm hearing that the better half is here.
Oh, yay. Bring the Wi-Fi.
Bunnie, come on in.
Hey, mama.
So nice to
No reason to apologize at all.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yeah, great to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you guys for being so
Do we have room, boys?
Yeah, I think. Can we scoot one more in there?
Yeah, we got room for one.
Yeah, we can come on up. No problem at all.
Oh, you're fine. I think it works out. It works out better this way.
What's up, Memers? Yeah, I loved it. I kind of love the idea of you just strolling in. Yeah, sorry, Mimi.
We got to get their Jelly questions off.
This is where it's going to count.
Where we don't make it feel like you're just listening to us. I'll catch up.
Yeah.
Hey, we're award nominees for Barstool.
Let's
Award
go.
nominees for Barstool.
Yeah, I don't know. They also wants to present an award.
Did you
Grab
see
that microphone.
Did you see
Talk
the
about it,
award
Tom.
I got
What
yesterday?
award did you get?
Top 100 personalities.
Media
College
personalities,
football
number
media
1.
personalities.
You were not top 100, brother. You were number 1.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Not top 100, brother. You were number 1. Nice work.
I think I was 92 last time that thing got posted.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, joining this podcast is the better half of Jelly Roll, Miss Bunnie. Let's get a round of applause for Miss Bunnie. A massive support system to the boy.
And correct this, Jelly. You were saying that you guys have never been on a podcast together,
Ever.
Besides mine, yeah.
Besides the
which
dumb
doesn't
long
necessarily count. This is the first.
You're a hostess
first
in
time
that
you're
whole
a
thing.
one.
Yeah.
First time we are guests on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Really?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us.
Let's take it all the way back, dude. How do we meet?
Second girl on the bus, too. Or third.
Third girl
John
on the bus.
Johnson
Erica Nardini.
from Barstool and Bunnie.
Aw, I love
Do
Oh,
one
that.
there it
girl a
is.
year just to save face.
I love that.
We gotta
yeah.
check a box.
Yeah.
We gotta check a box.
Gotta do it for the bitches.
Gotta do it for the bitches.
Gotta
dude.
do it for the bitches, man. Bitches buy stuff. I try to tell him that all the time. I'm like, you need to cater to the hoes, daddy, all the time.
Sounds like we need to have Bunny on more.
yeah.
No question.
You have to,
Yeah.
man, because they're the ones that buy things. They buy merch. They stream music. They promote you. Like,
Right.
it's all free.
My DMs are riddled with men, and the only time I have women in my DMs is when they're like, "Hey, my boyfriend really loves your merch.
Yeah.
100%,
Would love a
dude.
photo of you or a video saying happy birthday to him over
Yeah,
X,
it's my
Y, and Z."
husband's birthday.
Yeah, it's always something like that. So you're right.
I could only imagine what you guys' DMs are like after you had Jeffree Star on, because didn't one of you guys take a picture with him?
That was
And
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We've-
why it's riddled with men.
Well, there's that too. The amount of dick pics I got in my DMs. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
Some
no,
nice
I
boys
believe
out
it.
there. Some guys are like, "Hey, I wanted to say, hey, congratulations on that," but that's not the way I roll.
You should have graded each one.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
Brother,
hilarious.
I've seen better. Hit him a couple of those.
Dick ratings is the thing. You can get paid for that.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's like I've already dipped the toe. I'm solid, brother. You know,
The lane you go.
if I go any farther into the lane, I got to make a life decision.
Yeah, it might just be a lifestyle switch.
Yeah,
love that.
Jelly was definitely giving us flowers on the whole Jeffree Star thing.
No, we were
It was a
excited.
wild rhyme.
You came in. I told him. See, Buddy said we was excited. We cheered, dude.
Oh
We
yeah, I
were
was
like,
rooting
yeah.
for you. Yeah, Jeffree's coming on my podcast now too.
Dude.
So you guys popped his cherry.
What a world
Yeah.
you're about to dive into. He'll say the craziest shit.
No, I love him. I grew up in Vegas, so Jeffree and I have always been in the same circles. So
So you know him.
I have never met him,
Okay,
but
got you.
like he
But it's
sucked
always
off
you-
one of my exes. Like
Yeah,
it was like
sure,
one
a
of those
couple of
things.
men.
You
Yeah,
know?
we've talked about the Vegas. The Vegas feels like a different world
Yeah.
growing up. When you grew up in Vegas versus growing up to, well, you know, for me, small town Missouri, it just seems like a very different, the way everyone handles their business, what they're exposed to growing up, the way they just feel like, oh, that's not a big deal. That just happens.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a
It
big
just seems like a-
desensitization.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What's
I moved
what's
to
the
the
what's
South
the
and
big
our culture
school?
shock.
The big high school there.
Las Vegas High School. There's a bunch.
There's what's the one that it Bishop
Oh, Bishop
Gorman.
Gorman, yeah,
Bishop
yeah.
Gorman.
I knew
feel
that
like-
one when I first met Bunny. I was like, "What's up with Bishop Gorman?" She's like, "It's like a private preppy public school or something."
Yeah,
We're all
That's
the
what they
sluts
are
and
always
drugs.
like ranked nationally for football and
That's
stuff
how I
like
knew
that.
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they
You
go
guys know
hard.
it for sports. I know it for all the drug addicts and sluts that go there.
Yeah, I'm sure those public schools go crazy out there in Vegas.
Private schools are worse. I went to both, and
Really?
private schools are way worse because you got to think about it. These kids have money, so everything is designer drugs, designer whatever they can get their hands on.
That is a big thing too, because the first high school I went to, they're both public schools, but the first one was like small town, and then I went my senior year down to like in the middle of Scottsdale, Arizona,
Yeah,
and kids are driving around Beamers and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like the H2s when the H2s were cool.
yeah. Like when
And
they
like-
just came out.
And them
They just
Hummers
came
are
out.
so
That
sick.
Hummers
Yeah.
were ripping back then, and they had the oxy, they had the good shit,
Yeah,
and you'd be like, man, you guys rolled this up there where they're smoking dirt weed
Yeah.
up there.
No,
we
for
thought we were
sure.
being bad, and these other kids got like that real shit,
The designer drugs.
the designer drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs.
they are.
Man, so how'd you guys meet? How'd that whole thing go down?
It was a Vegas store.
Yeah.
Did you tell it?
Oh, I
I've
feel
been
like
on the
I'm
bus
always
the best-
telling
Yeah.
it.
This is where Jelly sits back, and we had him for 23.
I'm always
The best
telling the
part,
story.
and it's funny too, kind of is seeing that exchange. Like they're kind of like, you tell it. No, you tell it.
Yeah.
Because they both, when you get them individually, whether they're writing up nice post on Instagram that you wrote about Jelly when he got his awards and everything else.
Oh,
But
baby.
anytime you guys are on and talking about each other, now I'm excited because we get to have you guys here and talk about it in front of each other, like on the
Yeah,
mic.
yeah, for sure.
So tell a lie. No, I'm
Okay,
joking.
well, so we met at church. No, I'm just kidding.
that was a good one.
So he was performing with the Moonshine Bandits. He was opening up for the Moonshine Bandits at Las Vegas Country Club, and I
It's
went.
like a Fremont joint. Just to paint the picture, this isn't like it's old Vegas.
Yeah, like it's that old downtown Vegas. And I went with a friend, this guy I was dating, and he was there, and there was like 30 people in the crowd, maybe like 40. I don't
Maybe
know.
20.
Yeah, it was like
Might be
nobody.
fluffing me up here.
Yeah, no, like there was nobody there. There was so many not people in the crowd that he was at the bar drinking with us. You know, like it was like one of those
Yeah.
things.
Starting out Jelly.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm sleeping in a van.
Yeah. And when I met him, it was just like, I tell everybody it's the most fucking cliche shit, but literally it was like my soul was like, there you are. And like, he's not my type. I'm not his type. He loves Taylor Swift. Like, that's his type.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
All the boys are like,
Hard not
yep,
to love Taylor. You know?
Yeah.
It's just very
The
lovable.
first people that are ever like, yeah, Taylor. Everybody else
Well,
is like, what?
Taylor's, you know, no cheeks on Taylor. No cheeks on Taylor.
Yeah.
I think she's a billionaire with a B.
She's very cute.
Yeah. She's a beast for sure.
She is our Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Our generation's Michael Jackson. She's just
Well-
murdering music.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, when I met him, I was just like, I was like instantly just like who the fuck are you? Like, I have to get to know you. And then he was, doing his own thing. He was, had bitches in different area codes, and I was in a relationship. And
What
so-
year was this?
2015.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I saw him again in October. So that was like August, September,
Yep.
July. I don't know.
Yep. It was August the first time, and then
Yeah.
we came back in October.
Yeah. And then he came back in October, and I was just smitten with him. And then my ex ended up going to prison because I love to date felons. So,
Wait.
yeah.
Hey,
Exactly.
so I kind of am her type.
Yeah.
What did he go to jail for?
Drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, moving weight.
That's right.
So fucking Jay and I had like a mutual friend, and I was like, hey, give Jay my number. And so dude gave Jay my number, and he like started texting me and like calling me and like asking for advice for Bailey and stuff like that, because I think he had already planned on getting custody of Bailey at that time.
Yep.
And he was just like, hey, I need to buy a little girl's bed. So I would like be in bed with like my Cabana boys, and I would like get out of bed to just FaceTime him and stuff like that.
She's laid up with some dude and is walking away like, hold on, let me go outside and talk to you.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So we just started a friendship like that. And then he just hit me up one day and was like, hey, I'm going to come to Vegas to shoot some videos. And I was like, all right, this was like July of 2016. So he pulled up, and I molested him. Am I allowed to say that word? Is that politically
Yeah, you
correct?
say whatever you want here.
And I literally had to rape him though, because fucking he was not trying to give
I
me
need
any
this
dick.
clip in case I ever
There you
foul
go.
it.
Oh, yeah. Just keep talking. We've got you,
Yeah,
Jelly.
for
We've got
It
you.
wasn't consensual.
I'm telling you, he too.
Literally, he was like, we're like shit-faced drunk. I'm trying to like get it up, get it in, get it on, and get it out. And this dude's like, what's your 5-year plan? And I'm just like,
Did Jelly
motherfucker,
ask you that?
yeah.
Oh, Jelly.
For sure.
I'm like, bro, who the fuck is thinking about
You're in a
5-year
van,
plans?
brother. What do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out my 5-year plan.
Fucking in your bed right
Bad
now.
life.
Yeah, so had to fucking sit down for a second, and I was like, okay, well, I want this. I want to build my own brand. I want to buy a house. I want to do this. And he was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And I was like,
For
Let's
sure.
have sex.
and we
All right,
really,
your 5-year plan
but then
checks
we
out.
really-
Got one.
We
Yeah.
were, yeah, but then
Make something up. But
we got married a month later, and fucking we did the 5-year plan. Like literally finished it all the way through the 5th year. Last thing was buying our own house.
it was like true story.
Yeah,
Then we had to put a new 5-year plan together.
Yeah.
we're still
We're
trying to do that. I'm
3
like, what
years
more
into
do you
it.
want to fucking do, bro?
Like,
Like,
take it
It
easy.
is.
over
It
the
is a. It
world.
is a wild predicament you're in right now, because you don't want to say peaking, because hopefully it just keeps on going up. Like
Right.
there's going to be new levels we hit, but like you've accomplished so much in such a short amount of time.
Right.
It's like, where do we go from here?
It's scary.
Stadiums.
Stadiums, God willing, baby, man. We were talking offline about how my dream is to do the last show at Nissan.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my dream.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I could get that last concert, because somebody was like, what one would mean more to you, to play the last show at Nissan or the first show at
The new stadium.
Yeah.
Pinnacle or whatever bank's going to buy it? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
It's
right.
like, what would mean more? And I thought about it. That was a hard decision. I was like, I'd rather do the last show at Nissan,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one I went to with my dad. And that's the one I took my daughter to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like there's that history there, like new memories at the new stadium, but all my core memories are here at Adelphia Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, to me, it'd mean more to play the last show of the old stadium than the first show of the new stadium.
That's going to be, if you can pull that off, which I'm assuming at this point, dude, you can absolutely do that. Absolutely get that done.
You did a few years ago when you first came on the bus. You talked about like the 3-year vision was like whether it's winning an award, performing. I don't know if it was exactly Good Morning America, but basically this level. So we talk about the success in such a short period of time. Like clearly, you know how much
Speaking things
over
into
a
existence.
decade. Yeah.
I want
Over a
to
decade of work to get to this
Nissan
point.
Stadium. I want to play Madison Square Garden. I want to win a CMA, because the Country Music Association to me is the holy grail of being accepted by your peers.
Mhm.
The CMTs will never be taken from me because that's a fan voted thing. But there's also the side of a kid that, it's like the boys. Like, it's one thing for all the fans to cheer for you out there, but it's another when you get back in that locker room and the boys give you love. I
Yeah.
would assume. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
just hits a little different. It's
Yeah.
like, I want the respect of my peers, man. I want, and I believe in my heart that Wits at Chapel, my new album, should be a Grammy nominated album. I'm not saying it should win, but I'm saying it should be nominated for sure.
Hey,
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
go
You
with
feel
that.
me? Like, just let me be
Dude,
a
I
Grammy
popped that thing
nominated.
on the other day. It's fire. And having the priest in the background in between certain songs, bro, it is a well put together album.
Thank you, man.
Very well put together.
I spent so much time that being just like a weird artist about making this like little piece of art.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to tell that story, the preacher coming through, all that shit was like, we spent tens of hours in a room, me and Zach Crowell, putting that shit together.
Man. And when you sat on the bus, not last time with Ernest, but the time before that, you talked about a deal you signed and how the deal was going to reset the market as far as value and all that goes. Did you feel pressure from a commercialization standpoint when it came to this album at all? Knowing that you're diving headfirst into country music, like you're essentially changing genres in a way, because you've always had rock, you've always had rap and a little bit of country, but this is a really big country heavy album.
For sure. Yeah, this is my debut country.
Did you feel the pressures from big media to kind of, do a couple of things that they know would hit more on the radio or do a little extra to make sure it would go farther with fans?
You know what, man? Thank you for asking that.
You're welcome.
Because that is for
I
real.
was like, that was a great question.
That's a great question.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because I've been wanting to talk about this. So when I wrote Wits at Chapel, I had wrote like 60 or 70 songs in 2022 towards the debut country album. And I was listening to them and I liked them. They were all big songs. They were great. I didn't love anything about anything though. And the label had already started picking radio singles from the demos I was sending in. And my daughter started going to this little church, and I went with her one Sunday, and it made me think about the church I went to when I was her age. And I was like, because she goes to this little bitty back road, back ass church. I mean, like 70 members, 20 of them go to her high school. It's like that kind of
It's in a gymnasium.
Yeah, it's in a gymnasium
cool.
of an elementary through 12th grade school. You know? They have to bring in a dunk tank. Yeah, they have to bring in a dunk tank to baptize people once a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Frost
like,
from Tractor Supply Company. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like a thing. And I was like, you won't believe this. I went to a really little country school. A little country church on a back road too. It's called Wits at Chapel Baptist Church. It sits up on a hill. And I started thinking about it. And I don't know why, and this is going to sound really weird, but it was just all over me at that moment to write. I was like, I know why I don't like these songs. They're commercial. I'm not writing from the perspective of Jelly Roll no more. Like, I got to go back to writing about what I like to write about. You know what I mean? And I called the label and I was like, yo, we're not going to use any of those songs. I'll turn my album in 3 months. And I wrote Wits at Chapel as an album and a concept from there.
Mm-hmm. Which is a new concept for you, because I heard you talking on Joe Rogan about how you would just kind of write songs and release songs. And this is just like one of the first times you really put some together as a whole package.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we scrapped 70 songs. I'll send some of them to you to listen to. They're great songs.
Yeah.
And God willing, somebody in town picks them up, makes them a hit one day.
Mm-hmm.
They just wasn't for me to sing. I couldn't sing them with conviction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to write a concept album that I could sing every song of with conviction and storytelling style and tempo. Like, I got tempo on this album, y'all. Man, the boy needed tempo bad. The boy was living in a Dale land for a long
For those
time.
of the people that are listening that don't know what tempo is, I'm asking for a friend here. What's tempo?
So, like, Save Me is a great song.
Yeah.
Drudgingly Slow. Son of a Sinner is an incredible song. Drudgingly So. They're like ballads, right? Like, I love that I only talk to God when I need a favor. And I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. Right? Where it's like, somebody save me from myself.
Man, what a fucking jam.
That was when we were high in the house. High as hell. The video of us we said, dude.
Yes. I'm glad we can talk about it.
Yeah.
No, but it's that to like having songs like Need a Favor, Halfway to Hell, The Lost. These are like, they're the same message, same Jelly Roll, but they fucking rock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they move. Even Dead Man Walking, my first #1 at rock radio, was like still at like 76 beats per minute, which is like slow if you think about like songs we love. You know what I mean? So it was cool to have like a tempo change too.
To pivot away from Spotlight on Jelly Roll,
I'm fine.
I was reading something about you guys, like when you were gaining custody of Bailey and how pivotal Bunnie played in you building a relationship with Bailey. Can you talk about that? Can you guys both share stories?
Yeah.
Or talk about that when that was happening, when you did get custody of Bailey?
I'll start this one because Bunnie doesn't talk about it like this. When we went to get custody of Bailey and we were going into it, Bunnie looked at me. Because remember, keep in mind the story. We're talking on the phone and being friends, and I'm already having to pick out. I know I'm finna have to get custody of Bailey. So when Bunnie comes into my life, I have to sit Bunnie down. And man, this is the first time we've ever talked about this outside of her podcast. I have to sit Bunnie down and go, look, I have a kid that you know about that I'm fixing to have to get full custody of. There's also a woman out there that's pregnant with a kid of mine. And Bunnie's just like, whew, man, that's a lot. She was like, but I got you, whatever. And she looks at me when we're out shopping to go, we're starting. I don't have a house. I'm homeless. So she's like, well, the first thing we have to do is get you somewhere to live in Nashville. I was like, well, I can't put it in my name. I'm a felon. I don't have enough proof of income to get the kind of place we'd need to get her in the right school district. Bunnie's like, let's just go get a condo so you have a bedroom for her. I'm like, all right, cool. So Bunnie comes down there. Well, we're getting a condo. I'll never forget. Bunnie looked at me, and man, it makes me emotional. She said, no matter what happens with us, I'm going to help you get this little girl. And I was like, man, what character? You know what I mean? Like, what character this woman is like, look, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be with you, but I'm going to do everything I can to help you with this little girl. That's who, because, dude, I'm broke. I can't afford the lawyer. I can't afford anything. I'm like, dude, what am I going to do? Put the kid in the van? Dude, I'm living out of like a 96 van. And Bunnie's like, I'll help you. So Bunnie bankrolled the whole shit. And she never talks about that. It's a true story.
If I can, shit. If I can interrupt, Bunnie, can you talk about why? Because you have essentially every reason to not get involved with that. Can you talk about like what made you stand so strong, arm in arm with Jelly?
Well, it spoke to my heart because I'm a product of an addict, and my dad was a musician. My mom was a stripper. I didn't get to really meet my real mother until I was 36 years old because she left me on a doorstep. So when we went over to Bailey's mom's house, and this was like in the midst of all this, and I walked in and Bailey didn't even have a bed. She was sleeping on a chair, and she was there taking care of her two or three little cousins, making them food. And literally all she was doing was making them bread with peanut butter on it. And it broke my heart. And I was just like, I could just feel his heart. And I knew that he wasn't being a malicious dad. He was like, I got to step up to the plate. Like, I need to help my daughter. Her mom's an addict. And like, he was trying to figure it out. And I was like, you don't have to do this alone, dude. Like, I got you. Like, if this little girl has a chance at life of being with you, then I'll help you as much as I can. So it was just like a no-brainer. I've never really had to think about it because I just did what felt right, So it was the best decision I ever made because now I got my little family.
How does it feel now looking back on all that? Because at that time, it had to be like the heaviest thing ever.
Oh,
and
dude.
knowing
Yeah,
that
it was crazy.
you guys have both
Still is.
succeeded in
That's why
your
I don't
5-year
talk about it.
plan.
It's still so fucking, it was such a, it's almost like makes me emotional. One, just thinking about fucking, God, I just can't believe I was down. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I was hanging on by a thread to a dream that just didn't look like it was coming. And you're just like, what the fuck is going wrong here? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I don't need to be custody of a kid. I can't fucking take care of me properly. You know what I mean? And me and Bailey still make the joke that I didn't get custody of her. She got custody of me. You know what I mean? Because she definitely settled us down because we were fucking, and we were also wild. Bunnie was fucking wild back then. And you know what I mean? I was just like, God,
Like
you
old
take
Mother
care.
Hubbard now.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, Bunnie was wild back then. And it was just a lot. And to know that we came through it is just crazy. I joke about crying a lot now because I didn't cry for 35 years of my life. In the last 4, I just can't quit crying. It's like once life
You're so
changed for me, you
appreciative.
finally are just look back and you're just so filled with gratitude. You're just like, holy shit. who would have thought that, you know what I mean? Fuck, because, dude, this is like, we don't make this story up, dude. This is a crack dealer and a prostitute that fucking went on. What, people might have thought I was the prostitute.
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify.
Don't steal my thunder. You know what I'm saying? Golly.
I mean, technically, I was a crack dealer too.
Technically, I was a prostitute.
You got to diversify the portfolio.
Yeah.
For sure.
I charged you a condo for this dick.
There you go, baby. Just take it for free, baby.
Dude, I think it goes back to what you're saying, like walking with love.
Yeah.
Like you said you don't cry for 34, 35 years and you're able to walk through love. You can put yourself in other people's shoes and what they go through. And when you walk through love, you're able to see gratitude. You're able to accept all the things that are coming for you, which is probably making you more emotional.
For sure.
I cried to Will yesterday.
Yeah.
Second day in a row crying.
Do you guys hug whenever you cry?
We hugged yesterday.
Oh, they're boys, man.
I love
Nice.
that.
Talk about that.
I love that. A lot of people would pay to see that.
Yeah, we're actually starting an OnlyFans of just us crying and hugging.
I love it. I'll have you guys.
We'll be rating dicks too and feet. It'll be
Great. I'll teach you guys how to do it.
Okay.
Can we not gloss over Bunnie? I don't want to bring it back up, but when Bunnie says that her mother dropped her off in a basket,
Oh.
Yes,
I just want to paint this because I love the way Bunnie just like, I tell people all the time, y'all thought my documentary was crazy. I can't wait till we shoot this bitch's documentary. It's going to be a fucking circus. She's got the wildest story I've ever heard. Her mother, God rest her soul, her mother, when she came down here to Bunnie was getting her help towards the last part of her life, she told Bunnie met with her sisters finally, right? Her aunts. Bunnie had never met her aunts. And when her aunts meet her, Bunnie goes, we didn't know she had a kid.
No way.
It's fucking
And I
so
hate
weird.
to laugh, but I'm laughing because Bunnie is crying, laughing in the other room. And I come in, I go, what are you laughing about? She said, you won't believe this. I just talked to my aunt. My mother was hiding a whole ass kid from them.
No
Can you
way.
imagine having a kid,
man.
dropping it off, going back home like it never happened? You know what I'm
He
saying?
always says that I laugh about my trauma, but I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Cry about it? You know, like it's just made me who I am. So I never really stopped to think about it and be like, damn, my mom dropped me off on a doorstep, you know?
Was there ever a time though that, I mean, there's got to be those teenage years thinking about that situation, coming to grips with the fact that somebody who gave birth to you put you on a doorstep. Like there had to be some angry times.
I left home at 14 and never went back. So, I mean, I was one of those people who was just like, you know what? I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. This is motivation to be better. And like, ever since I was a little girl, I knew this was going to be my life. Like he manifests literally everything in his life. And I'm the same way. Like we speak, because words are spells. We speak what we want into our life and literally the shit fucking happens. And we speak it and we believe it. Even if it seems super far-fetched. Him speaking Good Morning America and said, you know, I remember he came on my podcast one time and was talking about doing something with Brantley and now they're like best friends and like doing something with Shinedown. Like we've just called everything in our life. So I never really sat down and processed the trauma until the past year is when I was kind of like physically, I had some symptoms come up like high blood pressure, stuff like that, where all the doctors were like, nothing's wrong with you. So everybody was just like, you know, it's time to sit down and start processing some trauma because it starts coming out in other ways. So.
Through therapy?
Therapy, prayer, just a spiritual journey and
She meditates a lot.
meditating. Yeah, like all that stuff.
Bunnie's really anchored down.
So you guys talking about like speaking everything into existence and kind of cultivating that mindset, like what were moments throughout your life to where that kind of cultivated for you, like made you start thinking this way, made you start believing those things, especially when you come from a lot of trauma and a reason to basically not do that. And you could easily have victimized yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, are you able to speak to some things that helped you along the way?
I mean, I just knew that I just knew that I grew up in a house where there was tons of examples of what I didn't want to be like. So I wanted to be the complete opposite of them and wanted to make my own destiny. And I just, ever since a little girl, I just always believed it. My goal, like most little girls, like I said, I grew up in Vegas. Most little girls grow up wanting to be doctors and lawyers and shit. And I was like, I want to be super hot, make a lot of fucking money and be a rock star's wife. That's all. I wanted to be Tawny Katane. Literally. Yeah. Like that was my goal as a child. And here we are. So it's like, you know, like, I mean, I wasn't really shooting for the moon or anything like that, but I just wanted
big ass. Those are still big ass. Yeah. Especially the rock star's wife thing.
When you're buying a Jelly Roll condo at the time and he's looking at the
right.
it's like, well, this
You gotta be looking at your watch going, this ain't this ain't what we're looking for right now.
We're going.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I just always believed that life was going to be better than what it was. And I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself, you know? So I think that's what motivated me. What about you, Dad?
Did that push you to read shit or watch anything? Or you just had this kind of rebellious, like, I don't want to fucking be this way, so I'm for whatever reason, it just naturally happened in your brain?
I'm a straight bitch. I grew up on the streets of Vegas. I literally ran away from home at 14, never looked back, never got $1 from my parents. So, you know, I was just like, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I'm not a victim. Like, shit, this is just part of my journey. And I've just always felt like that. I've always had that mindset of just nothing's going to break me. I just got to get shit done.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I know. That's dope to hear.
It's impressive.
He's a
And it's
gangster, dude.
It's a mindset
I tell
that
people
people
all
can't
the time,
obtain.
like, yo, Bunnie is a fucking gangster.
Yeah.
Usually people have philosophies and things that they lean on that kind of, whether it's inspired them or not. And usually you're able to figure out a practical way of how maybe you got there in a way or certain situations outside of what you just explained. So it's like, it's cool to hear about like all these things essentially just molded you to, you don't want to be a badass street bitch, I guess.
A hooker.
Yeah. Yeah, talk about that. Everybody, there's no question. Even when we've had you on, I'm not even going to say the coach's name, but there'd be times you come up, hey, you got to get, you see his wife, like you got to get his wife on. You see Bunnie, you talk about the crack dealer and the prostitute. You guys are very much aware. You guys are public figures. You're seeing success out in the national spotlight now. You know, everybody that fits more the mold of not knowing and being about those lives. Or like, how does that relationship even fucking work? You guys being married, being a prostitute, being a crack dealer, like how in the fuck do they make that shit work?
She sold crack too.
Yeah,
She
I
sold
did.
crack- she sold crack too. And Jelly was prostitute.
Yeah.
One-stop shop.
Yeah. Sold Pecker.
Yeah.
That's right. We got to get
I'll
flowers.
shoot it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
Go, baby.
Go ahead,
I love
Bunnie.
hearing
You're
you.
a way
I
better
love-
talker than I am.
Oh, from
You have a
woman.
podcast.
What's
It's
good?
so funny because he says that all the time that he's like, bitch, I don't know how you have such an amazing podcast and it's so big because he's like, I can't get you to talk at home. And I'm like, because I save it all for the camera.
Right,
Like,
yeah, right.
literally, you know.
And sometimes it's easy to hear Jelly talk because he says some.
He's so
He says- yeah,
philosophical.
he says-
He's a wordsmith.
Yeah,
He's a fucking wordsmith.
I'm just over here like
Yeah.
shit, fuck, motherfucker,
Yeah.
street bitch, and silent
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
fuck, fuck,
Gang, gang,
motherfucker.
cuz.
Yeah.
It's like when you don't have a big dictionary, you just
Yeah.
fucking cuss. Like just
Yeah.
to make one of
I
those,
do,
you know what the
actually.
fuck I'm talking
No,
about?
but I really do have a really extensive vocabulary. It just doesn't come out as
Yeah.
much as it should.
I think that we had a talk as this thing started going up that we were like, hey, man, we don't never need to hide who we are. Because I don't want to shit on nobody when I tell this story, but I have country music friends that I seen early in my career that were having to live double lives, right? They'd be out partying with the boys. We'd be kicking it, smoking pot, da-da-da-da-da. And then it was like they lived their whole life worried if somebody was filming because publicly, you know what I mean? It's like, and I get that because there is a public thing. But what me and Bunnie were going through, I was like, hey, we're never going to be able to hide who we were. Like ever. This
People-
is going to come up 1,000 ways to Sunday.
It probably wouldn't have worked
Yeah.
if you guys tried to hide the past.
I was like, let's just wear this shit. Let's just fucking open up and go.
Just a note though, he said that because people were already like, we weren't even who we are now, and people were trying to like shame us back then. Like they would like put my ads up and like, this is what Jelly Roll's dating. This is Jelly Roll's wife, like trying to shame us.
As you're climbing a little bit more, as you're starting to catch some
Yeah,
traction.
as we're like, but we're still, we're selling 300 tickets. Like,
Yeah.
but it's still, even early, we could see the way people were coming for us and was like, man, we're not like, I'm not embarrassed of that. I'm not embarrassed. Like when she talks about having a cabana boy in the bed when we first start talking, like we're not weird like that. We're
Yeah.
not
What is a
that
cabana
weird
boy?
couple.
Just like a little boy toy,
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
like a little
Oh,
young
what is it? A cabanable?
Cabana boy.
cabana boy.
Cabana boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
A dick
Yeah.
with a pulse.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
dick
right.
with a
Yeah.
pulse.
Baby arm.
Yeah, that's what it is for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had one that had a dick on him, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, she showed it
see
to
it?
me.
How
It
does
was
that make
fucking
you-
wild.
Are you just like, hey,
It was
How would you rate that dick?
Because we were friends.
I was
you know?
like, yo, fucking
Terrible. The
shit.
bigger they are, the
This hurts
more
worse than I
blood
thought
it
it
takes
would.
to make them work, and they don't work.
Oh, okay, I thought you were
So
going to say
it was
something
like
different.
it was a fucking negative zero.
So you'd rather have a smaller dick than a big
Yeah,
dick.
that gets fucking hard and just
Flip it.
like ready to go, baby.
You're ready to rock.
say smaller dicks are way better than big dicks.
Smaller dicks are way better than big dicks.
That's all we needed. To the moon.
boys.
To the moon, boys.
He was over there
Way.
sounding like Baby Gronk's dad, telling her what to say.
Oh, man.
Fucking.
Now tell him, you seen the Instagram?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm him.
Ask the question like this. They say this one.
Damn. Yeah, not hiding from who you are is
Yeah.
that's such a tough way to live. Like you see it a lot with people that are in the spotlight trying to act and be a certain way when they're just not that. And it'd be
Yeah.
so much easier
exhausting.
It's got to be
Trying to
exhausting.
keep a
Got to be
facade.
exhausting.
Was
That's
there
why I
ever lows
started the-
from that? Even when? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. I was just saying that's why I started my podcast too, was because people kept trying to come for us, and Jay's just like, you know what, just tell your story.
Yeah.
So I started my podcast in Mimi, I always get it wrong. 2019, before anybody
Hold
had
on.
fucking podcasts.
Let's give more credit than that. You started your blog in 16.
I did. It was called
And-
Confessions of a White Trash Wife.
2018, we started doing.
That's a fire name. That's a fire name.
2018, we started doing the confession videos.
Yeah.
2017,
Yeah, I started growing my YouTube.
started growing the YouTube channel. She immediately started grinding and figuring it out.
Well, I had to be another example for Bailey too. You know, like I got sober in 2017, stopped taking pills in 2017 and blow, and then got off alcohol in 2018. So I got sober, and I was just like, you know, I can't, you know, keep doing this, especially if we have full custody of this little girl. Like, I need to be a better role model. Even though I'm half naked on the internet, it's an ongoing joke in our house, as everybody's like, online Bunnie is not at home Bunnie.
Right.
You know, because I literally look like a vagabond and I'm homeless when I'm at home.
But I want her to be
You were
proud
talking
of
about
her
makeup.
body
You
anyway.
were saying makeup takes a minute now.
Oh yeah, my makeup artist is out there. Shout out Makeup by Haley.
Shout out makeup by Haley.
By Haley, man.
I was just saying, like, we're night people anyways, and
Oh,
Bunny's
clearly.
got to have an hour and a half cushion of hair and makeup.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we're already like, we were joking on the way here. I was like, Mama, you got to remember, these are really professional athletes. Like, these motherfuckers have already worked out today.
I was like, who
Like,
the
the
fuck
chances
is
that
this
one of
early?
them, maybe two, have already really put in some real work this morning, like sweating and shit. And like, I haven't ate breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to go to breakfast when I leave.
Yeah, I
You know
got
what
my
I'm
food in
saying?
the car.
Yeah,
Like,
I knew I had to be here at 1. I set my alarm for 11:50. She woke me up at 11:15, so I woke up early. But you
Woke
know
up
what I'm
early.
saying? It's like, yeah.
What time do you guys get to bed?
Oh fuck, dude! Sunrise for me. She goes to bed earlier than
I
me.
go to bed at like 2 or 3. That's when I
Yeah.
start shutting down.
Hey, that's wild.
Something
Yeah.
about hearing them birds chirping to put
Something
that
about
put you
the
to sleep.
birds
Yeah.
chirping.
Yeah, that, I
Start
feel
seeing
like
that
I'm on
sun
crack.
crack through the horizon.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? I am kind of tired right now.
It's like, yeah, she go to bed actually.
Yeah.
I've been here too long.
Yeah. I bet summer's got to be hell for you.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Long days.
Oh fuck. I'm the worst, dude. I'm a fucking horrible human with a sleep schedule. I live on tour schedule.
Mhm.
And I learned early in my life that it didn't make sense to me that you wanted me to be my most optimal self at 9 o'clock every night, but you want me to wake up at 9 in the morning.
Mm.
Like, what job on earth requires you to wake up 12 hours before you go to work?
Respect.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's like most people are most optimal in the morning. They eat breakfast and they go do the hard shit.
Mhm.
I think that's how the show should be.
Mm.
Like, I want to do my show right before lunch.
Right
In
before
my
lunch.
mind, when I go on stage at 9 o'clock, I would like it to. I want to breakfast had just settled on me.
You want eggs and bacon at 6
I want
p.m.
eggs and bacon for sure, and hash browns and shit at fucking 5:36.
Mhm.
Go on stage at 9, come off hungry at 11, and grab lunch. You know what I mean?
Grab
You work the
lunch.
night shift.
Start the day.
You work the night shift.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel better that way. I would go on stage and be I'm already big, and I'd feel so lethargic. I'd be like, of course I feel fucking weird. I woke up at 10, and I'm just walking on stage at 9:30. You know what I'm saying? I was like, there's no job on earth that requires that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck that. Once I figured that shit out, I was like, I'm changing my schedule.
Mhm.
And then poor Mama Bear just has to conform
Yeah.
to whatever.
Every
Would you,
time.
do you want to go to sleep earlier?
I've always gone to sleep at 2 a.m. That's just always been me. I grew up in Vegas, so it's a nightlife town, you know, so. But there are some times where he's like, I'm on my rapper schedule. And I'm like, oh, great. That means we're not going to bed till
Getting the
6 or
chirping coming out
7
now.
a.m.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm
on my
not doing
rapper
that with you, dude. Like, no.
When me and Stoner cut the early shit, y'all, me and Stoner were working on the early albums in like 16, 17. We didn't start studio sessions till 10 at night.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like we'd show up at 8:30 and grab like, lunch and fucking hang out for a minute.
8:30 p.m. for everybody out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Grabbing some
And then
lunch.
we'd come out of there, it'd be 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, I'd be heading home.
No shit.
I still prefer that schedule for recording.
Really? Man, it seems like you guys have a very loving life. Let's hear some pet peeves.
Ooh.
Yeah, there we go. There we
Let
go.
me hear something. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Three. I want to hear three from me.
You even
I wanna hear
crossed your
three from
arms.
each.
I'd
Your
like to
body
hear, too.
language told us you were finna do something dickheadish. You sat up and crossed your arms.
That's
It's
a
like,
good point.
We give you 3. I want you guys, both of you, to give us 3 each, also of each other.
Oh no! All right, yeah.
oh,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Daddy, you pop this off.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to hear.
I get to be the first 3 of my pet peeves
Yeah,
in
let's
general
go.
life
Ah,
or with my
thanks.
wife.
With your wife. It's
Okay.
gotta get personal.
Okay. 3 pet peeves with my wife. This is good.
Was her crack better than your crack?
My
Better
wife,
crack.
Crack is always better.
when
Yeah.
my wife got
Hey,
sober,
nice.
when my wife got sober, she has ever since then hated the smell of marijuana. And I am a smoker.
Yeah.
So by default, that's a pet peeve. Where I bet one of hers is I smoke weed now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've always smoked weed in my defense. So it's like, that's one of my pet peeves is like, when she comes upstairs to see me and she won't come give me a hug because the room's too smoky. And I'm like, fuck. It just-
First of all, this dude sits in a cave that has 0 ventilation, like has never seen an open
Perfect for the
window.
lungs. A way
It's
to
like
smoke.
fermented smoke.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad. Like you literally can smell your lungs frying in there. Like it's so bad.
But I
I'm like,
feel
open a
so
fucking
great.
window.
I crack a window every now and then. That's pet peeve.
Winder.
Yeah, window every now and then.
You got that winder.
Window every now and then. Pet peeve number 2.
Do you want to go one at a time?
Oh yeah, one at a time. I like
One at
that.
a time. Maybe you
better.
think about it a little more.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it might
no,
pop
that's
up
great.
on you.
That's good. Yeah, what do you?
And then we'll go Bunnie to Will to. Oh, I'll go if you want me to go first. I know what my
You go
first one
first,
is.
you go
Yeah, okay. all right.
Oh, he's ready.
Yeah, I'm
He's like,
fucking-
It's like I got all 3.
I would say he farts the wettest farts right after he gets out of the shower. So even if I wanted to give him a, so
Hey,
even if I wanted
I
to
told
give
you
him
that in confidence.
So even if I wanted to give him a blowjob, I can't because I can't get the sound out of my. I mean, in his.
You know, my guy's got some leak. He's still got some stuff caught up in that crack. It comes out. It's got to travel
His-
far.
I am
Are
too
tight.
comfortable with
Yeah.
my wife.
So,
I will hike my leg up on the bed, one leg
no
up,
filter.
spread one cheek, and let it fly.
No filter. No
Right.
boxers on. Just
He said
nothing.
no filter.
Yeah.
It's almost like my stomach relaxes as soon as I come to the bedroom.
Yeah.
It just goes.
Yeah.
Dude.
Ready to
Did you
rip.
smell the one I had here a minute ago?
No.
Okay, did it make it
he
over
do
there?
That to you
I don't know if
guys?
it's
Dog,
made, I don't know if
listen.
it's made its way out
No,
here
it's
yet.
over. It's over.
Disgusting.
But I had, there was a
I think
3-minute
the
part of
pants,
this
you're gonna
podcast.
stand up, it's just gonna get
No,
rough.
Listen, it
You just
sat
gotta
right
move a little bit,
here.
let the air
It
out.
sat right here for 3 minutes. And I was just like, there's no way this isn't
You
spread
are
around the
suffocating
room
that
right
fart as
now.
we talk right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
bitch is
Casper,
trying to get
the
out.
Friendly ghost.
Yeah.
All right. What's your biggest pet peeve?
I don't know if it's number 1, and I think you're gonna know it. It's the lack of enthusiasm that Will has when I bring an exciting idea to him. Will is very extremely logical human being. Like if I'm not like, if the plan isn't set, everything's in motion and it's 100% go,
Ugh.
and that all those things haven't been checked off, Will's like, all right, man, we'll see. Yeah, we'll
That's
definitely
how I
see.
am. When's your birthday?
September 19th.
So you're a Virgo Libra. So it's that air
Virgo,
part.
yeah.
You're right on the cusp.
Mm.
So it's that air part. I'm an air sign too. We have to always have, like, he'll come to me with like the coolest stuff, be so excited. And I'll just be like, he'll be like, you're not excited, are you? And I'll be like, I'm so excited. Like, can't you tell? So I'm the same way.
And I'm like, brother, like I need to see some umph out of you out of that. I need to see a little bit of umph. But that's probably my one.
One of my pet peeves of Taylor, probably he's like, the best analogy for it is he's like a bull in a china shop when he does have ideas. He's somebody that'll come in, have all the ideas, think like, oh, this is what I need to be doing right now. Throw a lot of stuff, whether it's energy, ideas, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? And then he'll leave. And then ultimately the expectation is set
Mhm.
if I don't give a yes or a no.
Mm.
He's
So
a
that-
fire starter. That's what I call Jay. He's a fire starter and I have to put him out.
Yeah.
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 This is the deal. I go start a bunch of fires, and she picks which ones to blow on or which ones to put out.
Right.
Mhm.
But I just run
It's a
and
good
start fires.
partnership you guys have.
I will say this: what y'all don't know just happened that I seen, and you can roll back the beautiful bean footage. Is
Roll that
Will
beautiful bean.
Compton thought he was going to have to talk about his pet peeves with his wife. And when Taylor said his pet peeve with Will, I seen Will have relief on his face.
No,
Where
no,
he
no.
was
I
like-
was thinking,
No,
the
it was
whole
clear.
thing when you were talking, I
Okay.
had to get connected because I was already trying to think like, what pet peeve am I gonna?
Yeah.
How am I gonna explain this pet peeve of Taylor?
I don't know if I got to think about other ones. That's
what about
probably
you,
like,
Daddy? You number 2.
yeah.
Number 2 pet peeve.
Hey, but that is 100% right.
Yeah.
Like when Willis, I was actually kind of worried what he was going to say. And when he said, it, I was like, oh, no, that's spot on. That's exactly what I am.
When Bunnie is done loving on her dog at the end of the night, she sets him on me. And it is a pet peeve of mine. I know that sounds small, but it's like she will just love him until she's personally done loving him. And instead of stopping, she rolls them on me.
Yeah.
This is a 65-pound bully,
That is
right?
He's
That
like,
just
will lay
lays on
you.
my chest now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
Probably where the
fuck,
farts come
don't
from, all that
send him
pressure.
here. Yeah. I was like, don't send the dog fucking my way. I've already loved on him and sent him your way. And that's a little pet peeve of mine, because I'm like, get the fucking dog off me.
It's a solid one.
It's so hard because we really do not have, like, we're not that couple. Like, we just accept each other for who we are. So,
There's gotta be things that just piss you off.
Yeah.
I don't really, I
Could
never
be
get
small.
mad at him.
It might not be
Like,
consistent, like this pissed me off, but just
Talk about the obvious.
what are we talking
talk
about?
about the obvious.
Throw me a bone here.
I am fucking the messiest human
Okay.
on earth.
No, I got one. He did this the first time I ever met him. He walked into my fucking condo and dropped his fucking pants in the middle of the living room. And he still to this day does that, except now to be like pants, boxers, shoes. And there's literally like a trail in the middle of our living room, like skid marks just everywhere.
It's worse in the living room. It starts from the door to the bedroom. By the time I get to the bedroom, I'm normally naked.
Yeah.
So it's normally
Yeah.
pants, shoes,
And he'll walk
socks,
around the house
boxers,
naked like we
shirts.
don't have a house full of people. I'm like, he was sitting playing video games naked one time, and our nephew that fucking lives with us came in the room and he's like, dude, what is it? Can I go in there? Like, what's happening? And I'm like, he's feeling himself right now.
He's feeling himself right
You gotta
now.
give him some
Imagine.
room. Yeah.
Just being in that house, and then Jelly's just all of a sudden he's just naked walking through there. Oh, what's up,
Drunk,
Baba?
get him really drunk. He'll get naked. He loves to like get naked.
Perfect
when
beer
he's
Olympics
drunk.
coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up.
I'll do it.
Are you
Yeah.
coming?
Maybe.
What do you
More
mean?
than
There's
welcome.
a party
Thank
coming.
you.
There's gonna be a
Bringing
party
my
on
own
the side.
cheerleader.
I
She's
appreciate
gonna be
that.
Bunnie. Bring Bunnie and her team. She's got 3 or 4 girls that work with her that are always with her. It's like a little team of women.
Yeah.
Entourage.
Well, entourage.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're just a unit. We move. We're just fluid.
So being naked in the house and then leaving his clothes everywhere.
Yeah. That's my second one.
One of the
I know
best
if
thought
my
of.
wife was on here, she'd say like me just leaving the lights. Like I never essentially clean up or turn the lights off. Like whenever I'm in a room, she can walk home and be like, I know where you've been throughout the
Yeah.
entire day because you leave a trail everywhere you go.
Mhm. It must be a man thing.
I don't know,
Guess it
dude.
is.
Yeah.
I just think
I
like I'm
get
living.
pissed off when I come home late and all the lights in the house are on.
Really?
Me too.
I get pissed off.
Me too. I'm doing a fucking TikTok to fucking every light in the house is on and just turning off lights. That
Yeah.
I literally
Yo.
said it last
My
night.
Hey,
wife just DM that
This
to
shit
me.
costs money.
Me, I think to myself, like, I'm going to be back in here later. Like, if it's a pantry, I'm going to be back in here later. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to leave the light on so I don't have to, make the extra energy to make the extra effort to flip it on. You know what I'm saying?
I feel safer with the lights on, for the record.
Yeah, no, literally every
You know what
fucking
I'm
light.
saying? Like, I'm going to be back in here.
Second pet peeves, you guys aren't getting out of it.
You want me to go again first?
Yeah. Let's
He's ready.
It's not really a pet peeve, but it can get frustrating at times. Anytime I get in the vehicle with Will, we could have gone somewhere 100 times, but Will has to use navigation to get somewhere. He has zero internal compass. He has zero awareness of anywhere he's at in this world. Like you could literally pop him up in his neighborhood, a block away from his house, and I'm sure if he didn't have his phone, he couldn't fucking get home.
We got to make sure we're getting there.
Dude, he drove me home yesterday, and I'm like, he's trying to go to North Nashville, and I'm like, bro, you've been doing.
We're having conversation. Like, I'm just driving until you let me know when to turn.
But you've been to my house how many times? Over 100
You
times.
made me go left out of here. I'm used to going right using the highway.
No, but I'm saying, brother,
I get on the highway and get off exit 3 and go through Gainer Hills. I know how
I
to
can get
get
you to your house right now.
Take me through the
I
back
can get you
roads.
to your house right now, and I've
I
been to your
love
house
that
a
he
fraction of the amount of times you've been to my house. A
I
fraction.
love that he treated you like GPS. He
Yeah.
was like, I'm just
He's
waiting
just
on you
driving.
to tell me, turn left at the next light.
Yeah, but
Like,
it really goes
Taylor
back to
did.
being a golden retriever. Like he's just fucking happy to be there. We're getting in a car ride. He's like, yeah, all right. I had to turn here. Okay, all right. Where are we going next?
Yeah.
That's fucking. I more think that shit's funny, but that it could be turned into a pet peeve quickly.
Mine would probably be that I always feel like I need to be cautious with everything I say because ultimately we have to unpack everything that gets said. If I'm sitting there trying to
That's a good
if I'm sitting there trying to be like, oh
A
man,
little too
I'm not-
personal, Will. That one was a little too personal for the show. And we're gonna have to unpack that shit when we're done with this show. That's what's gonna have to happen after this.
But yeah, thinking like, okay, this could be a lengthy conversation.
Mhm.
Like, let's just
It's
nod.
like having a wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely say, no, I don't know.
What?
You might be the female in the relationship.
Absolutely not.
I don't know. The Virgo
definitely
thing,
the
I don't
bunny.
know. You got the.
He's definitely got more bunny tendencies.
Yeah, we
than
are
he
definitely
does.
a lot alike. You're a street bitch, Will.
Yeah, I'm a fucking street bitch, dude. I'm a hustler out
There
here.
you go, baby.
Yeah. I think I found my third pet peeve. Go ahead, Jelly
I
Roll.
thought it would be.
Yeah.
Last, and make it a good one, baby.
Hey, why don't you go first
Come
this
on,
time?
hit me with a stanger.
I deserve a first. I
I
deserve you to go
don't,
first.
baby, you really don't do anything that annoys me. I just am so used to you. Let me think about it, and you go.
I can tell you all your pet peeves for me.
Okay, tell me.
Jelly's like, this would you go. Like,
When I piss on the floor a lot.
Oh, bathtub. He pisses in the bathtub.
Oh, we had a conversation about this 2 days ago.
I
Jelly.
pissed on the floor a lot. I pissed in the bathtub one time.
Why?
And my
Listen,
hair
no.
extensions were in there.
Hold on. It
Naked
gets-
skid
hold on.
marks,
No. It gets
wet
worse.
ass farts, suffocating the motherfucker on
Brother, what are we
the.
doing?
I'm nasty. Okay.
You nasty, Jason D. Ford.
Yeah, you nasty twin. I don't care. Right here, they call me Big Pun. Hit you with the big gun. Big tongue, known to make a bitch come. But
I'm not just to fit in.
Yeah, same. I was over here. Yeah. Make a
you
bitch.
know it if you heard it, I swear.
Hell
Big
yeah.
pun.
Here's my defense. When I
This
was
is gonna be a tough.
There's
This is
no
gonna be a tough
way,
battle.
this is way TMI. But when I was a baby, my pecker hole wasn't big enough. So they had to go in and surgically slit my dick. This is a true story. And back then, they kind of overshot it. So I've got an abnormally sized slit on my pecker that sometimes it sprays, right? It's not all, sometimes it's
swallowing
like
that.
literally like a spray bottle. Oh, yeah, no, I shoot ropers, cuz.
That's what he calls them because never mind.
Little ropers.
This is the platform. This is the platform. You can definitely talk about it.
So sometimes I'll piss and it'll spray and I'm tired. I've gotten better. I'll grab a towel now and put it down.
Yeah, and piss on the towel. So when I go to use the
grab the towel
bathroom,
and put it down.
yeah. So when I go
Are
to
you
use
a
the
dog?
bathroom, the towel is wet. So
Yeah.
I'm stepping on wet piss in the middle of the night.
Listen, it's,
Watch, pick
Yeah,
the towel
that's
up.
definitely my third.
I'm
pet peeve with it.
asleep. Okay.
He pisses off balconies. He pisses in bathtubs. He pisses in
I
sinks.
sleepwalk and piss. I piss where I can piss. Okay. I get
He's
drunk
just
and I
has-
piss in things. I got drunk one night and I pissed in our bathtub. And I don't remember being drunk and pissing in our bathtub. So the next
The bathtub
day,
was clogged.
we leave for a couple nights. The bathtub was clogged. We didn't know. We come back. The house smells like ammonia. It smells like the cat
And his-
has fucking died or
His
something.
piss is so potent because he gets like IVs all the time. So he has like vitamins and everything.
It's
Yeah.
just whatever. So
And I drink,
smells-
obviously. It's just
Yeah.
whatever.
it smelled really, really
Slide over
bad.
that real
Yeah.
quick.
Bunny comes in and goes, she never does this. She goes, Jason D. Ford. And I was like, oh, shit. She's maybe said that twice in our whole relationship. She goes, did you piss in the bathtub? And I was like, I don't remember pissing in the bathtub. She's like, you definitely pissed in the bathtub. And it was like, yeah, we couldn't figure out how to get the nozzle up. And we
Hair
had to bleach
extensions were
it.
in there. It was fucking. And Mimi, were you there for that when the hair extensions were in there? Yeah.
Oh, Mimi.
Yeah, they washed them off and put them in her hair.
Mimi,
I'm wearing
Mimi,
them.
side note, I'm loving the Cruella DeVille haircut. It's very cool. That's a very cool deal.
Shout out manager Mimi.
Shout out the word she said.
Manager Mimi.
Oh, manager Mimi. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
so my pet peeve
Sounds
is my
like a
wife
Korean
not
thing
letting
or
me
like an
piss
Indian-
where I want.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
pet
piss where you
peeve.
want.
Yeah, let me piss where I choose to pee.
God, a third
Hey,
one.
you dirty as hell.
No, he's
Dirty
literally a
guy.
pound puppy. That's
Yo,
what I call him.
I
He's my
look, I
pound puppy.
shower, I
Picture a
clean
pound
myself.
puppy walk into a bar.
Goes,
Right?
listen,
Yeah.
it goes
It's
hand
like,
in
I
hand.
I'm just fucking, I get drunk and piss. I can't help it.
That's
I got
so
caught
funny.
pissing in the sink one time. That's how it all
I
started.
put it on TikTok. It
And
got,
I was
like,
so
millions
drunk,
of
I didn't
views.
think I was going to make it to the bathroom in my defense. Sometimes it just hits me,
completely
dude.
naked, pissing in the front in the
Well,
living room.
because of the
in
peckerhead
kitchen.
thing I got, sometimes I'll dribble. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like if it gets too backed up, that thing will just start to dribble, dude.
Well, now you're starting to.
Any ladies
You
that are
guys are starting to
interested
look
in
more
having a
similar.
threesome with us,
I've been a
just, you
dribbler.
know, come back to this clip, ladies and gentlemen. Not gentlemen, just ladies. Sorry.
Oh,
I think Jelly just told yours.
Oh,
Jelly, what is?
Oh,
hers?
my pet peeve with
Yeah.
her. Good point.
My third pet peeve with you, I think we covered them all. Like it's just little stuff like that.
little stuff like piss.
I mean, he's
First
very
off, come on
he's
now.
passive
That's
aggressive.
a big boy.
I think his passive aggression is fucking drives me crazy. He's gotten better because
That's a big one for me.
yeah, because I'm like, let's face this shit head on. Let's go. And he's just like, nah. You know, and I'm just like, how do you not give a fuck? Like,
Oh, I don't think that's passive aggressive.
Well, no, he has passive aggressive tendencies too.
Like passive aggressive would be like walking in the house and be like, "Oh, I see the dishes didn't get done today."
Yeah, well,
that's
but
passive
he's
aggressive.
never said that. But no, he's passive aggressive also.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm way more not giving a fuck than Pat, but I am
Yeah.
passive aggressive at times, that's for sure. But I also don't care about a lot.
Yeah, maybe that is what it is then. Maybe it's just because he's like shit that would like get me riled up. He's just like, meh, whatever. And I'm
It's
just like,
also-
I'm literally getting canceled right now. Like, how can you even not fucking care? And he's like, it doesn't matter. It'll blow over. You're not canceled, bitch.
Yeah.
You're not-
Yeah,
It's real.
literally, that's
I'll
what
be
he
right
says.
too.
That's our fucking conversation.
I'll be right. I think a lot of it too is I don't know, like Bunnie is willing to talk about stuff when it happens, and I'm a real like let that sit with me for a second kind of guy. And Bunnie's thing is like,
Get it over with.
let's just deal with this right now. And I'm like, no. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Not dealing with tomorrow.
Literally, no, and it's not tomorrow. It'll be a month later. And then
Well,
like
you've already processed.
yeah, and
But
I'm
I'll
just,
have a case by then, and I'll be prepared
Yeah.
to present it. You know what I'm saying?
Stack of papers. You're ready to go. You got
At
a
that
suit
point,
and
I
tie
thought
on.
about what I was gonna say, but I will say this: not that this is fucked up, but it's just real. I don't say very many things I don't mean,
Mhm.
so I'm very meticulous about being like, I think I'll say something I don't mean right now. Let me really chew on that. I want to know what I really think about it than like knee-jerk reaction to something serious. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just my thing.
I dig it.
Internalizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, let me figure it out. Let me try to sort through it.
All right, so his was really personal last time. What's your last one for him?
No, Will's overall like a good dude. There's not a like from a personal standpoint, he's the best friend a best friend can have.
Yeah.
But when I
That
try
was
to call this motherfucker or text him about something, perfect example is this past weekend, pool day. Hey, you still fixing to come to the pool around 1 o'clock today? No response for about 2 hours. I jump on the bird, I jump on Twitter, and Will's already popped off 3 tweets.
Oh,
in those 2 hour that 2 hour time frame.
I was in the middle of a baby Gronk situation.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, you're on. I know you're on your phone. You can just text me back. So that is probably my third pet peeve.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Yeah.
I do that with Mimi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I understand, but let's not act like you've always been a text.
No, yeah. But it's also like we're talking about you right now, not me. Like I could have some of the same issues.
fight.
However,
Yeah, I feel you. Mine would be you saying no.
no.
That shit is so gay, bro. No. I'm just like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Keanu Reeves.
Hey, of all the things he said, that one hurt the most. that one fucking hurt the most. What about throwing Y's at the end of things?
Nosy?
He says,
Willie Sando.
He says, you know, let's get
Sando.
some brekkie before pracky.
Let's get some brekkie before pracky.
Let's get some brekkie before bracky. He tries to put a Y. He tries to cut off the word and put a Y on everything.
You're like a valley girl.
Yeah, I guess so. That hurt the most. That's now the most painful thing that's said on this podcast.
I'm a valley girl. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with being a valley girl.
I don't even know what a valley girl really is. I'm just taking offense now.
Yeah.
Hey, but Jelly, I'm with you on the internalizing because my wife will be the same way. She wants to fucking talk about the thing right now. And I'm not like that. Like, I'd rather separate, like, let me go on a drive.
yeah. Yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
trying to, again, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like festering inside, trying
Yeah.
not to say nothing.
Yeah, let me sort through it because Bunnie will just pop off.
I'm ready.
Yeah, she's
Joe
a
will too.
fucking pit bull. I tell people all the time I married a tiger,
Yeah.
and it's all cool until the tiger starts tigering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tiger gets hungry.
Then you're like, oh
Right.
shit, it's tigering. You know what I'm saying? And
Growling.
I'm like,
The
let
bitch is
me.
growling again.
I was like, let me just sort through this and figure. I got to come to you different. You know?
I gotta come to you different.
Yeah, I guess that's a positive thing. Charles not like vicious at coming after. It's like, hey, how can we make this a better situation?
Right.
How can I get you, or what would make this easiest on you? And it's like, I don't want to fucking answer that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is,
Right.
but I'm kind of that way.
Sometimes just asking the questions what you needed though, right? Because then
Yeah.
you go find the answer. Like, because sometimes Bunnie will ask me something and I'll be like, I'm embarrassed to admit I hadn't thought of that. I need to think of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a little caught off guard here that I had. That was the most obvious thought, and I fucking blew it. So let me go chew on
I
that
get me
now.
internally mad, and then like as I'm figuring it out, it's like, I mean, she wasn't, she was not coming at me like viciously. It's just like I'm like in my head, like, why are we fucking talking about this right now?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
We were talking the other day, and I'll share this. It's really personal, but my mother and I've been going to therapy, right? And we were talking about my mother and growing up with my mother and dealing with her mental health and her addiction. I've talked about this, but I've been very open about it over the years. And my mother would shell up, right? And when she would shell up, the instinct in me was like, what can I do to make her feel better? And I would instantly inject myself into her shit. And I would start to feel responsibility for why she felt that way. And then I'd start to feel like it was a thing. And when Bunnie has something she's really going through, Bunnie by default kind of shells up. You know what I mean? When she's going through something really personal. And I would always start a fight in those moments by accident of just being what's wrong? You okay? What's up? We straight? Am I straight?
Yeah.
And she's going through, my poor wife's having a full-blown panic attack. And here I am. I don't know that though. I don't realize that's what I'm doing. And then I realize that's what I'm doing and a trigger, and we don't argue hardly at all now. You know what I mean? Because now it's like, it took years for me to figure out like, damn, I was just triggered. And then I was triggering you because I was triggered. And we both got triggered. And then we ended up doing the fucking dance. You know what I mean? The fucking looking like a UFC postal pick for fucking no reason. You know what I'm saying? And it's because I really fucked up because I hadn't dealt with my shit. You know what I'm saying?
I always say the biggest key to a great relationship is communication is key, comprehension is vital. You know, like you can talk all you want to your partner, but if you guys don't understand each other, it's never going to work. Right. You know? So you guys got to figure that out.
That's a gem.
What a
That
quote,
is
dude.
Gem right there.
What a quote, dude. Communication.
That was just conversation, but sometimes you got to break it down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Work through it.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you got to break it down.
Sometimes you got to unpack it, Will.
Good recall.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
But Will doesn't like dealing with the heavy shit. We found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will does a good job. He does a good job dealing with heavy shit. I think that like what I do is because Will and I are friends first, and Will from this business standpoint shoulders a lot. A lot of times, I might be like, man, maybe I'm not doing enough, and then I have to go and like, is Will feeling a certain way about this? And then he might say something like, we got to unpack that. And maybe Will's just saying something, but because I'm saying it through a lens, it's like, oh, we got to unpack that and make sure.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you want to do in a business is ruin a friendship.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But going back to the whole, hey, is everything good? I do this with my wife all the time. Still to this day.
Aw.
She'll be like quiet. I'm like, hey, are we good? Is everything good? Did I fuck up? Is there anything like that? And I'm
check in like stuff like that. You know,
All
even
the
if
time.
it feels like it's like not needed, it's like, yeah. Well,
You just have to go back to how her childhood was. You know, was she allowed to express herself? Because probably if she wasn't, she probably internalizes a lot of stuff.
she does a good job of like not reacting emotionally to things right away. Like when shit hits the fan, she's like, all right, let's she's gonna handle it. She's gonna internalize it. She's gonna figure it out because her emotional maturity is off the fucking charts. Mine was like yours with my family. I was like, when someone was upset in my family, I was like, I fucking did something. I did something wrong. How do I right this wrong? Even they could have nothing to do with me at all.
Yeah.
So that's the stuff. Like she's worked through the stuff. I'm like still working through stuff.
Yeah. It's a journey.
It's a journey.
It really is.
It's one of those things though, and you said it on your in your documentary, it's like, when can you put away the sins of your past and move forward? It's like there are so many times, like I try to live transparently as well, of like all the things, like joking about like my nose being a vacuum in college and me doing bad things and like kind of like getting in front of it. That way no one can get me if I already told you all the bad things. It's like, all right, we're good now. The 8 Mile situation.
Sure.
Like I just said all the bad things about me. There's nothing you can do. But it's like, if you don't consistently do work, it's like you kind of want to know like, when's the work got to be done? When is the self-workout I finish? But it's never done.
Never done.
And that kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks to feel that, be like, man, I wish I could just be a complete product.
Sucks that we're having to heal trauma that we didn't cause, you know, and that's literally a life journey, but that's your soul picked that before you came here. So every lesson that you guys are trying to learn and that you are learning and that you have learned, you signed up for this shit. So just always remember that every time you learn a lesson, be like, got you, you know, like I signed up for this.
Right. That's good advice too.
Yeah.
I know what helped me because a lot of the deep stuff like that was hard to either confront or whatever. I learned about when we would do couples therapy before, like premarital counseling and everything like that. Towards like you said it earlier, it was like you said communicate and comprehend.
Yeah, communication is key, comprehension is vital.
Yes, it was a lot of the comprehension stuff too, like seeing it from a different perspective and not like being so, whether it's on the surface or thinking about my own selfish way of seeing it, and understanding like what that person next to me is saying and understand like what the actual need is versus me responding in a way, whether I shut down or it's not like I don't want to get too deep about this or get too emotional about it. Yeah, man.
Growing together is the biggest flex. And that's what I preach all the time is like when you're in a relationship, if you guys can heal each other's childhood traumas and past traumas and grow together, like that is the biggest flex that you can do as a couple.
Yeah. And accept.
That's what we've done. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
accept. And it's amazing coming from you too. Like all the stuff you guys went through. Like you guys aren't supposed to make it. You guys aren't supposed to be in a happy relationship. You're not supposed to have all the things you guys are having, but you guys are doing it, which is a big reason why probably so many people are motivated by you individually and as a couple as well.
We really love each other, man.
Yeah.
That's like probably the biggest thing that I think sometimes gets lost on the internet is that like we love I love my wife. Like this is
We
my
like
this
each
is
other.
my part. We like
You
each
gotta
other.
like people.
Like yeah, like
Yeah.
we tell each other all the time. We used to have this thing where it means more to us to want each other than to need each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Need just feels feels toxic a little bit. Right? You know what I need? Like it just like it
Like an
feels
obsession.
it just feels like a little toxic where it's like
Codependence.
exactly.
Right,
Like where
exactly.
our thought is like, I want you. Like I want you to be the person I do
I
life
choose
with.
you.
Yeah. And I
Every
get that
day.
people say need in like an endearing way when they're like, I need you, baby.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it's like to me, it's way cooler to be like, man, I want you. You're who I want to do this shit with. Like that's who I want to go through life with. I wouldn't want to sit on this bus and tell these fucking uncomfortable fart shit stained stories with anybody but
My sweet
my
little skid mark.
We do have to talk about that a little bit more. Like we gotta figure that out. Hiking that leg up and just no protection.
See, okay.
Yeah.
The weirdest.
Probably.
Wet boy. That one it goes up the crack before it releases.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like a question. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll walk by the dog and give him one right in
And
the
he
mouth.
gets mad. The dog gets pissed. And if you've
He'll
ever
be on
seen
the
my
bed.
dog Chachi, his
He'll be on
resting
the
bitch face is hilarious.
He'll be on the bed, which is just like face level with butt, and I'll walk by and just hand him one right quick.
No
And I'm just
shit.
witnessing this, and I'm like, why? Like, what are we doing this for?
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, dude, I got him on cue almost. I can almost poon on command.
Really? I feel like Willie could do that too. He's got all the fart videos in the world. I think every fart Will's had in the last 3 years is on the internet.
Listen,
market
man,
for that,
it's
too.
better out.
Is there a market for that?
There is.
Bunny's starting an OnlyFans for y'all today. Y'all are gonna cry.
I'm trying to pimp you
fart.
guys out.
Yeah, no doubt.
Build this business.
From
Let's
prostitute
do
to
it.
pimp.
There you
I'm
go.
getting that thing done,
There's
man.
a fine line.
There is a fine line.
Here's a question I'd like to ask. You talked about your sobriety
Mhm.
in 16, 17.
Mhm.
What were you doing again? Can you recap that?
In 2017, I stopped taking Lortabs and Xanax and cocaine, stopped snorting cocaine, 8 balls of cocaine, and then drinking was 2018.
And so you haven't drank since 2018?
I mean, I think I had a couple drinks when we had our anniversary like 2 or 3 years ago, but I'm like raw dog in life.
Yeah.
Just white knuckling it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
When Bunnie goes through a lot of this sobriety and everything else, do you ever think about doing it? Not in a way of your, not saying like you're a bad person for not doing it, but does it ever make you think I should go down this route? Seeing the example Bunnie's been.
100%. When Bunny got off of pills and coke, I got off of pills and lean because I drank a lot of codeine. When I first met Bunny, I drank a lot of codeine. I was in a constant state of almost drooling myself.
Mhm.
And because I knew that was just liquid heroin. It was the hardest thing ever was coming off of it. And then I came off cocaine a few years later. I've more recently come off cocaine than her, but I still drink and smoke. But I was certain that pills and codeine was going to kill me. So that was like the decision where she was certain that the cocaine and the pills were going to kill her. So we got rid of the things we thought were going to kill us first.
Mhm.
And then she was just like, I don't know if we've ever talked about this even together privately. I think she didn't realize how much she didn't appreciate alcohol without cocaine.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I think is what happened because the first few times she went out and got drunk after that, she'd get so drunk she'd puke and get sick and like she just took it too far.
Coke is a PED for alcohol.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate equalizer.
Yeah.
It's like, so she's like, I can't believe I let myself drink so much I puked on our couch. That was the last time she drank. And I was talking to myself, I was like,
I
Bunny,
was puking in our bed naked on all fours. Like, let's be
I
real.
had her though. Took her to the couch.
Yeah.
She puked there. I'm cleaning
No,
up
it was
behind her.
bad.
I'm
I
lit
was just
drunk.
like-
I got her. Fuck
There's
yeah.
Yeah.
nothing
I'm
attractive
farting all
about
the way
that, you
through.
know. And I love my husband. I don't want him to see me like that,
Right.
you know. So I was like, I think that was the first time I've ever allowed myself to be embarrassed of something I did, and I was just like, fuck that. And I'm the type of person if something makes me feel weird about it, I'm just like, that's it. I'm done.
God, the feeling of embarrassment is such
Yeah,
a
just
crippling
shame.
feeling. Yes.
Yeah, you're just
Oh,
like,
Reese,
ugh.
oh,
God, you
bro,
sit
it is
there and
so
you're like,
fucking.
fuck.
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's a game. But I think I would watch, I think she went out that night and drank, and it's the first time she didn't put blow in her nose while she was drinking.
Mm.
So, of course, you actually had to feel the effects of the alcohol.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I think she woke up and more so was just like, fuck, I'm not doing that shit again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so, and I have a journey with mental health. We're both very open about our mental health. I have severe anxiety, OCD, like all that stuff. So it's like drinking just made that worse. The next day, it would take me like a week of depression to like recover, you know. And I was just like, I don't want to live like this. And I have a little girl watching me, you know, like
Yeah.
I just can't do this anymore. I'm not gonna be like my dad,
Right.
who's an alcoholic, you know.
It seemed like Bailey is like the number one like factor
Mhm.
for all this change.
Yeah,
She's in every decision we make.
a little ungrateful shit.
Yeah. A little fucking
It's
fucker.
the most thankless job
Yeah, I
ever.
know, right?
God, no, we love her though. We joke around all the time.
No, she was definitely the changer for everything.
Yeah.
It's 100. But for what it's worth, boys, I've only drank, what do you say, Mama, 10 times
Yeah.
between the Bridgestone and
Quit.
today.
When his dad passed, he went completely sober. Like I think that was the first time you dealt with anxiety on the level that I do. And I think smoking weed and drinking, all that just kind of like,
My new rule is I only drink to like real celebrations or
Mhm.
like
for a reason.
I'm looking forward to the Beer Olympics because I have scheduled that day to drink and I have scheduled the next day to recover.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I have 2 days in my calendar,
You
but
know the start time is.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up.
We won't be there till 3.
No, we
Yeah,
need you
yeah.
there now.
We need you there. Kickoff is at noon.
Oh God, who drinks
God,
that
boy, what a-
early?
Well, it's a day drink. It's a day drink.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking time now.
It's gonna be
which
an
is kind of
absolute
why I'm
time.
into it because it'll give me enough time to try because I play the Grand Ole Opry the next night. So I'm hoping I'll have enough IVs. They asked me to play that night, the night of the Beer Olympics, and I
Yeah.
was like, the condition in which I'd show up in
Yeah.
I'd blow it.
Yeah.
I'd ruin that relationship forever.
Yeah.
I was like,
do
I'm
that.
going to try it the next night. I'm still nervous about that.
We gotta be at his house
Yeah.
at like 11:30. Like, gotta get up, brother.
You
We'll
guys
mop
do
up the
that,
piss
please.
and
I'll
get his
wait
ass.
for
Helmet,
TikTok.
send somebody. It'll
Yeah.
be the best vlog.
We'll send the
Yeah.
two boys over there.
Bunnie in a group chat with us so we can just
Yeah.
continue to stay on her.
Y'all need Bunnie in a
Yeah.
group chat anyways. The rule in life is if you can't get a hold, all my friends know, call Bunnie.
Yeah, if you need
If,
shit
like,
done,
if Brantley
You're in a
needs
group
me-
chat with Ernest right now, and I've asked you guys 3 times what you want your
Dude,
team
I
name to
haven't
be,
even
and
seen
Ernest
it.
responded.
That's him and Ernest.
Yeah.
I'm the worst, dude. In my
Because if I'm in the group text, I can look at him and say, "Hey, baby, da 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 da," and then he'll tell me, and then I can answer. You know,
Yeah.
like he's
here's my problem.
so bad.
Part of my anxiety and mental health is that if I look at that phone and there's more than 30, 40 messages, which is every time I look at it, I get so overwhelmed that I just set it back down.
Yeah.
She'll tell you, like, I throw the song, Dead Man Walking, I threw my phone out of the I throw a phone away a year.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Where I just
Yeah.
am so fucking like, I just can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He literally
Nothing
has a-
hurts me more than not being able to help people. And I just have a phone full of people where you're just like,
He has a phone sitting on the counter that has over probably 5,000 messages in it. That is a different number that he just doesn't even pick up anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I turn it on and stare at it and go, whoa, where do I even?
Yeah, that's a
Where do I
lot.
start?
Yeah,
First
it's
off,
just
40, 50 messages every single time.
every
Look
time.
at your phone. You might need to trim some fat.
Dude, I did
Tell
the
him
last
that all
time.
the
It's
time.
Especially you're
bad.
close. It's not 5,000. It's
Yeah.
40 or
His-
50.
Yeah.
He's
it
he is
trims.
giving to a fault, and that's one thing that I've always told him, like, baby, you've got to protect your energy. You know, like this, you can't.
So how I do it is not great. The way I protect my energy now is I
Just
look
cuts everybody off.
and I'm just like, looks like a lot happening. Check it later.
I'm lucky if I
Yeah.
get
like
back,
fucking
so.
No,
hit
there-
the wife.
I mean, you've been fucking rolling though, dude. You've been moving. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a lot of people coming out of the woodwork.
Well,
Hey, Jelly, you remember this?
I'm not
4 years
Oh
ago.
my god, dude! I owe
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Here's my story. The last 6-7 weeks of my life, BMI Songwriter Festival, ACMs, Joe Rogan,
American Idol.
American Idol, Billboard cover,
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, Willie Nelson, Good Morning America,
Bussin with the boy.
Bussin' with the Boys,
Mm-hmm.
CMA Week,
Dumb Blonde podcast.
album release week, Dumb Blonde Podcast, album release week, CMA. I played the stadium at CMA Fest
Documentary.
Friday. The documentary, which ended up being the biggest thing of all of it. So it's just,
Crazy.
that was the last 7 weeks. It was a blur.
And then anywhere you go in Nashville, because everyone is celebrating your success because you built such a fan base that everyone feels
Out
like
of
they're
Nashville
winning.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone feels like they're winning now that you're,
Dude,
you're
that was
winning.
the most Nashville documentary ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so Nashville. It was, yeah. You seen it too? Oh, yeah. How many of the boys got to watch it? Y'all checked it out. Jack, you took the time to check it out?
That's awesome.
Jack,
Yeah, we all
baby.
support the boy out here.
I love
This
it.
is a pro Jelly
You
podcast.
guys have been
y'all,
so
man.
sweet. I don't know if you guys remember, I was the one who originally DM'd you guys like in 2018
Yeah.
to bring Jelly on the podcast.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
not.
lie here.
Yeah.
I think you even were in the comments too of posts.
Yeah.
No, we were early fans. We were we were early because we're Titan people.
Mhm.
So like I'm a
He is.
Titan person.
Yeah.
So she's a Vegas person. But
Raiders.
which is why I've been
Let's fucking go.
harassing you about that jersey. I need one of your Raider Will Compton jerseys. bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
wanted it for her.
Had one.
No, I don't harass you a lot, but I've asked for it once. No big deal.
There's
I don't feel like I remember
there's
twice.
the passive
This is
aggressiveness.
officially twice. This is officially twice. But because she's a Vegas person. But so I was in on the pod early, dude. I knew this shit was gonna work.
You came on talking about being a Titans fan the first time you came on. I thought that was wild.
Yeah. No,
It's just-
we grew up here, so it's when I got to play it the other day, we were talking about. Oh, look at it.
Oh yeah, pull it up.
November 29th, 2019.
Oh, 19. Okay.
I love what you
Was a
guys
year
have
off.
here. Wanted to see if maybe having my husband Jelly Roll would be something you are interested in. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the fucking bag. Cat's out of the fucking
Cat's
bag.
out.
We are partnering with Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted this summer with the boys at Hey, we're going to be the Kings of Tea. The Kings
of
of
Tea.
Twisted. Twisted
Yeah.
Kings.
Twisted Kings.
That's what
I
do.
like
Yeah,
that, dude.
Twisted
I
Kings,
see you
dude.
working through that too. I really
Trying to,
enjoyed
yeah,
watching
yeah.
that.
It tastes like real iced tea because it's made with real brewed tea, meaning it's really delicious. Real brewed tea with a kick, 5% ABV, full of flavor, very refreshing. Twisted Tea turns up the heat on any occasion, making it the perfect product for any summer occasion. Daytime, nighttime, outdoors, or poolside, doesn't matter where you are, it goes down smoothly. There is no carbonation, which makes it easy to drink all day long. Not to mention football season,
Yeah.
the best product to sip on while watching your favorite team or watching the boys on Bussin with the boys. Twisted Tea fuels fun and celebrates extreme fandom on game day. Twisted Tea is the perfect alcohol beverage for game day, whether tailgating in the parking lot, watching at a bar, or watching with friends at home. Twisted Tea is there to turn up your game day. Keep it fucking twisted, boys. Grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today, literally anywhere. Literally anywhere.
Literally anywhere.
Yeah.
Literally anywhere.
Back to the episode.
No, you guys have been so sweet to him.
I'm
though.
telling
Like,
you,
I
man.
can't thank
We've
you
been
enough.
on this shit.
There's
All the
a
love for him.
the Jelly just. I feel like once a month I'll pick up my phone and do a voice message. Just be like, "Hey, brother, you're fucking out there doing it. You just
Oh,
keep
I love
fucking
that.
doing it, man."
Y'all
loves you
post
guys so
every
much.
success I've had the last 7 weeks. That meant so much to me, dude.
He brags
Yeah,
about how good
yeah.
you are on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Will is.
Appreciate
I'm always telling my wife, I'm like, yo, like, she's like, because she's always like, Twitter is toxic. I was like,
It
you got to
is
follow
so
Will.
bad.
Yeah.
I was like, Will
Twitter's
is a
like
different
my
kind
lowest
of Twitter.
platform. I have millions of followers
Yeah.
everywhere else, and Twitter, I'm just
I was
cannot
like,
fucking
Twitter's
figure it
actually
out.
the spot. You just got to find the right groove. And once I found Will Compton on there, I was like, fucking, this is it.
Yeah.
Twitter's my favorite.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
too.
Twi-
He
I need to
loves
pick
it
Twitter's
too.
my
my favorite.
favorite.
Stuff.
Yeah, I
Twitter's
got
my
you.
fucking favorite.
Yeah, we can swap. You know.
And as far as posting, shout out to boy Jack. I know guys, find stuff. Hey, Joe's gonna be doing this, but Jack is always on top of posting the boys and making sure we stay up with like you, Mike Chandler, anything going on with somebody who's like a
Some of
mainstay
the,
on
some
the
of the
podcast.
mainstays, yeah.
Yeah.
Ernest,
Yeah.
yeah, 100%, man.
He, I tell you what, Jack comes out and supports the boy in the randomest places, man. He was down at Songwriter Festival. The last place I thought I would see
It
Jack
was,
McPherson.
Down to get down.
Yeah,
The
Jack's
last place I
there
thought I
for
would
the party.
see Jack McPherson. And he texts me and he's like, yo, I'm in Key West. I'm coming by the show. And I was like, I didn't even ask why. I was just like, fuck, come on, dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But I
Yeah,
kept
Jelly,
thinking
like,
to
rolled out
myself, I kept thinking to myself, why in the fuck are you at a songwriters festival?
He said you had a few of the guys with you, right? And he gave you tickets for all of them.
Oh yeah, he's like, I got like 10 people. I was like, whatever y'all want.
Jack's, yeah, he knows the waves to go chase. He knows the waves to go get on.
No,
Yeah.
no,
As
far as,
he's
like,
always
as
where
far
the
as
cool
concerts
shit's
and stuff
happening.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
yes.
where
He finds
Very
the cool
aware,
shit.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. That man figures it out. Was that the thing you texted us about?
Are you going to Jelly's concert at the Ryman?
Ryman.
Sometimes I just don't know. Unless the one time at Bridgestone, you sent you called, I want to say a day or two before.
Yeah.
About like, we needed the boys there.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to celebrate.
I tell
with
this
you.
story still. I don't know if we got to tell it on the podcast, but yeah, because I haven't been here since the Bridgestone. Y'all were the only people I called personally about that show.
Really?
I swear, literally.
That means a
You
lot.
were the only
This is-
people I
this is
called.
where I'm like,
I swear to God, dude.
Were we?
Bunnie will tell you.
that's a good
No,
thing.
no, Bunnie will tell you.
He's
I'm
good.
telling
He's
you.
good with his words.
Bunnie will tell you, dude, because hometown shows I don't call people because it's pressure.
That, and he has
They're
so
coming
many
anyways.
people
They're
reaching
coming-
out
I
to
got-
him.
Fucking 500, 600, 700 people that asked for tickets to the Bridgestone. We gave away like 400.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's over. I just disconnect. You know what I mean? It's my thing. But I had a moment earlier that week where I was like, dude, the boys need to be there. I was like, this is like big. And y'all talked about it on the pod the next week. Y'all were like, I love Taylor because he's honest to a fault. He's like, I just fucking didn't think about how big it was until I seen you at the Bridgestone. He's like, and then I looked around. I was like, oh, this is a fucking big. When you were pulling in the garage, you were like, oh, yeah, no, that's a fucking bridge. That's how I felt too. I
Yeah.
was like, this is fucking huge.
And the people are like, oh no, they're on the list.
Yeah.
We're just kind of pulling
Yeah,
up.
we fucking are.
Yeah, I guess we're going to fucking do this thing, man.
That was a good time. That was a good night.
It was a great night.
Y'all were the best. Y'all ended up in my room lit. Y'all
Yeah,
were
yeah.
so fucking fun.
Dude, yeah, because we didn't even know if we'd even see you. We kind of saw you, I think, right before the show. We saw Ernest
Yep,
for sure
yep.
before the show.
Yeah. Saw Ernest.
Yeah, saw Ernest, saw Riley.
Saw Riley, the boy Riley.
And then, but literally seeing you getting on that golf cart, it was like so impressive to see. Like you just fucking in the zone. You were in flow state.
Yeah, for sure.
Every
No.
time we saw him on the golf cart, though, you know, we were like, he's probably got to go take a shit. Maybe he's.
Yeah.
And then he pops up on the other stage.
Pre-show shits are a
Yeah,
thing.
pre-show shits are the dude.
He's had to run off stage before. Like,
I've had to
and
walk
have
out of this
shit in a
podcast and
bush.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that time I was so hungover, me, you, and Ernest?
Yeah.
I went out there and
We were
fucking shit
7
a
minutes
family of
in. You're
spiders.
like, boys, I gotta, you're sweating.
When he
it
has
wasn't
to
even that
shit,
hot
he
out.
has to
Dog,
go.
Ernest got us so drunk on that 4th of July.
Yeah, here, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's getting you drunk. I think you're the one that gets everybody else drunk.
No,
You poured me a shot at that fucking softball game. You're like, you want a shot, Bubba? I'm like,
He's
yeah, I'll take a
ridiculous.
shot. You handed me a fucking glass this
You
big.
hit and
No,
you
brother.
hit big dinger afterwards.
I've
Dude.
Dude,
Big dinger right afterwards.
you gave me the juice I needed.
I made the mistake. Zanies was when he got me absolutely
I love
throttled.
that he got
Yeah,
me.
don't let him pour you
Brad, that
shots.
was the
They're
one
very
where I-
heavy-handed.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one where I had to tell Brad, like, hey, you got to take me home. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, this is it.
What is
This is
this?
the day. This
Oh,
is when,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
when me and Ernest
Can we
showed
bring
up
back
fucking
the short
lit.
hair, Jay?
Yeah.
Bring back, you said that haircut?
Right
Go
there.
Short
shit
hair.
right now.
The best part was watch Taylor's face. It just now hit Taylor. This is for real. Watch. He's like, look. He's like.
Hey, you were gone for a minute too.
Oh no, he
Bro.
takes his time.
Yeah.
Shitty. It's never a fast.
He's getting back to those
It's
50
always
messages.
At least 34 minutes. At
You're
least.
so much different, man.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Look at
do, huh?
someone's dad there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Puffy face. That's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's me coming back from shitting a family of
Dude,
spiders.
that's so funny, man.
That's exactly what I said. I'll never forget. It was the fucking man. Ernest had a fucking truck that poured mixed drinks out of the truck, like a tap truck.
Yeah.
And I don't drink a lot of mixed drinks because that fucking sugar is what'll get you hung over, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then we started tapping those things, dude. And I was like, oh, no, it's finna happen.
Yeah.
I'm going south. I was drinking tequila mint limes or something. I was like, it's fucking over. But I was still shooting shots. That's where you fuck up. Anytime I watch somebody come in that'll shoot a shot and they still got a mixed drink, that person's going down.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're just watching that's a different kind of drunk. You know what I'm saying? That's a Bert
Depends.
Kreischer drinker.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll take a shot of tequila and an old fashioned. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It's like,
It's like,
oh,
whoa,
fuck.
buddy. Listen, you're mixing two different alcohols there too.
You start mixing alcohols, I got to get the fuck away.
Yeah. Well, I've always seen you drink liquor.
Yep.
Now you are going to the beer Olympics drinking beer.
You're
This
gonna
is a
drink
big-
beer?
Well, this is a problem, and this is something we got to figure out.
His
I'm
tummy
not a
gets
beer
really
drinker.
Upset.
Uh-oh.
Is what?
His tummy gets upset.
Well, I think to listen to this pod, I don't know what doesn't upset his tummy.
Literally.
Yeah.
Sounds like hot water.
You remember the talk we had about embarrassment? My poor wife.
The shower just starts cutting up.
Very few things are more embarrassing than my wife looking at two alpha men about her husband and going, his tummy hurt.
Yeah, that's.
Like,
we'll glance over it. We'll just move on. We'll put it in the rear view
right
fast.
there, dude. And her heart was so right. She was like, his little tummy hurts.
Yes,
And I'm over here
can't
like,
drink that.
So what do you want to do? Because the first event is
Tequila. He needs tequila.
What do we do here? 'Cause
Yeah.
This is the first time we're kind of facing some.
yeah.
this is a real adversity for us.
Yeah, this is a big thing. I've thought about it too. I thought we'd talk about it off camera. True, Taylor and Will Fast. That's what I love about y'all's podcast. I know y'all are gonna bring up the crazy shit.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting there like, oh, here it comes. Fuck.
Well, he's allergic to gluten and wheat and stuff. So
All this gluten and
that's
wheat.
all that's in beer.
This is so embarrassed. I'm never doing a podcast.
That's all right, brother.
I'm never
all right.
podcasting with her again.
Yeah.
We've
Wheat and gluten.
talked
That's fucking
about
tough. They're both the same thing, right? Yeah, the same thing.
parts, gluten, barley.
We could do
Oh,
tequila.
sensitive baby.
Yeah.
We'll do tequila water,
If you just heard, yeah, I've been to tequila water.
but
I feel like I'm getting the short end of the stick though.
yeah.
Can we
He's
get a
saying
measurement
like you're gonna
of
get-
how much alcohol's in a shot of tequila and how many beers that equals?
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
I have to drink beer, I've accepted that I'm just going to fucking get sick that day.
Do they have a
But-
gluten-free beer?
There are gluten-free beers. Maybe that's
Yeah.
something where we
yeah,
make sure.
I'll exhaust that option.
The funny thing about this is I've just never drank a beer.
So you don't even know if you can chug.
I don't know what I've never drank a. Listen, this is a hot take. I didn't want to say this on your pod. I didn't want to say this ever. I've always looked at beer as men's version of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like something, girls would do.
Pinkies
You know
up.
what I'm saying? It's kind of like, oh, I'm drinking a beer.
Yeah.
When a dude's like, I drink 10 beers, I'm like, or you could have drank 3 shots like a real man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
Yeah. I feel like beer got an out in that when seltzers came up. Now people hate on the seltzers. Maybe
White
you drink
Claw.
seltzers.
Yeah.
There's no gluten in seltzers.
But there are gluten-free beers. I think the key would be we would need to make sure they're cans because when we're playing beer ball and everything else, you're gonna have to hit the can and that's what he's gonna have to chug.
Yeah.
Mm.
True.
I think it's gonna be
I'll
tough to get
Google.
out of the.
I'll see what I can find.
I think it's gonna be tough to figure out a way to get you out of doing some of the, like flip cup. Like we could probably put water in it, right? But
Water.
beer ball, there's really no getting around.
What all games are y'all doing from last year and what's new? Because y'all remember I was a
It's all the same.
spectator last year. I came as a fan.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
I remember one of your boys pulled up and
It
like
was the
halfway through it was like a
funniest
record
thing ever.
scratch. Like, hey, who the fuck is this guy?
It was the
and
funniest
Dylan like,
thing
came
I've
out
ever
was like, that's my boy. I was like, all right, game on. We're good. We're
But the funny
solid.
part was it was like a movie. It was a bunch of dudes that sounded like they were finna fight because they were just having so much fun.
Mm.
And then they were like, hold on. Everybody got quiet. Fucking 50 dudes, thousands of beers, it felt like, everywhere. And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? My dude just came around the corner, Big Maui. I was like, he's with me. And they were like, all right, game back on. And everybody picked
Dude,
up like
I didn't know who it was. I thought somebody just came in.
Yeah, and
I was
everybody
like,
picked up like a movie set, just like right back into whatever they
right
were
back to
arguing
where we were
about.
at.
Like a bunch of frat boys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be very fratty.
Mhm.
It'll be very
It
fratty.
was very frat. It was awesome.
Beer pong, beer ball, and a 3-beer chug.
Oh, are y'all starting with the 3-beer chug?
Starting because that's
We're
going to
seating.
seed us going
Do you
into
have
the
a beer
tourney.
bong for that?
No,
y'all are popping them,
you're-
right?
Oh,
And you're gonna go, and then you take your 2 times. Like you and Ernest, your times will be average with each other, and that'll be your seating based on how you did against everybody
Wow.
else.
Oh wow, this is
And
insane.
then you go right.
Fun, man. It's gonna be a lot of
You're gonna
fun.
have me,
He's
Ernest,
puking.
y'all, Bert, and Shane there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's
You're gonna have to get a medic.
There's gonna be
You're-
more
there's
people.
gonna have to
Hey,
be a
we're
nurse.
talking
Now, here's the-
Forrest Buckner, George Kittle.
No
yeah.
fucking way.
I'll
We
give you
have a
the
squad there now. Hardy and his wife. He wants his partner to be his wife, so I'm
shout
sure
out
she
Callie.
can put it fucking
No,
down.
no,
No, I
Callie.
heard
I met her the other night. I
Callie
met her the other
can
night. She's
Yeah.
fucking ready.
Anybody who's
Yeah.
like, I think I'll choose my wife. It's like, okay, hang on now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right.
What
If
the
we were
fuck is
doing
she on?
cocaine in
Yeah,
2017, I'd have picked my wife for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, hold on, we're doing beer and
bongs were
blow.
my
I'm
thing.
bringing Bunny. I was like, for sure.
Have you met Uncle Laser?
Mm-mm.
You're gonna love Uncle Laser. He's
he's
an
yeah.
Austin comedian. He's coming in for it.
What about Duddy? You got Cameron coming in, one of the
Cameron
Midland
Duddy's
boys.
coming, and Mark.
Mark.
Yeah, those two are coming. They're
Oh.
competing together. Russell Dickerson, Michael Chandler are going to compete together.
Oh, we're gonna smoke them.
Bakhtiari.
David
We're gonna-
Bakhtiari,
it's
left
gonna be
tackle
bad.
for the Packers.
I'm coming just
The
for
real
footage.
question is, who's coming in second?
Why?
Me and Ernest are gonna win this thing for
Yeah,
sure.
bro, you can't even drink beer. You guys coming in last, dog.
That's because I'm used to drinking
Yeah,
real
you got that sense
alcohol.
of tummy.
That's because I'm
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
drinking real alcohol.
I don't know, man. I think
Who's
you and
on
Ernest.
Bert's team?
Shane.
Oh, that's
Bert
a
Kreischer?
little fucked up.
Nope. Here's why.
Shane is a beer drinker, ain't he?
Shane's a beer drinker. He's the one you got to worry about.
Now, it ain't
Bert-
just beer drinking.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
different.
Bert, I saw him at his premiere doing Flip Cup. we ain't got nothing to worry about. We
Really?
ain't got nothing to worry about with Bert.
Can't
Bert
flip
is a
cup the same way.
partier, but as far as party games go, Burton also talks about how athletic he is.
Oh my
He must
God,
have-
you're fucking. I hate y'all. I didn't think about it from that perspective.
what?
I keep thinking of this as who can drink the most, and I was like, I think I got a chance.
Yeah.
Now it's like, no, this is about a game. We're not all
game.
drinking the
Skill
same
going
amount.
on.
This ain't the first to tap.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck.
If it's the first to tap situation, I'm putting money on you and Bert.
Yeah,
Picture
that's
my
where
guy
I was
when
at.
the first beer ball hits and Jelly's got to fucking go get
You
the
gotta
ball.
go run after the
You
ball
gotta
and
go
get it.
Get the ball.
I'm
Then
bringing
get
a
it
ball
back.
getter. I'm bringing a ball getter.
One of those little extendos.
I'll sponsor a ball getter.
Big mouth.
I'll sponsor a ball getter.
Welcome.
That is so funny. You should actually do that, like your base runner.
Yeah,
The
you know how
softball
like
game.
on courtside they have the
That
towel
was
dude that comes
Yeah.
out? Yeah, for sure.
I
The
love
base
it.
runner? Are you mad at my
Best
base
part about
hit?
your base runner?
Are you
Not mad at
upset
your base
with
hit.
my
Here's
base
why I'm not mad
hit?
at your base hit. Your base hits won us the game on year 1 a few years ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like you getting a base runner and she gets to have cleats dug into the ground and she's basically at the batter's box and she gets to go like a track runner right when she hears a noise. That's horseshit because she should have been tossed out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
She barely
I
made
would
it.
have never
And then
guessed
Jelly-
you were the
then
hater of
Jelly-
this.
then Jelly
I
stuck
knew
his
there was
back.
hatred.
mad.
I
We'll have a
heard.
hell of a game.
But I didn't expect
Yeah.
it to be.
Yeah,
from
we'll had a
Will
hell of a
Cosby.
game, but his team did lose, and he is salty for that.
Aw.
Listen,
And you snuck out of the batting lineup.
Oh, he
I
did.
got
to
in
the
a
top
heavy
of the
hitter
line.
for
Really
him,
dipped.
though, too.
Yeah, he went 1 for
Jelly
1.
dipped. Hardy dipped.
we played Darius Rucker's thing for St. Jude.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
all right,
in our
fuck.
defense, it was the same. Yeah, what about them kids, Q? You don't like the kids, Will?
Hey, Will
Does
hates
it fuck
kids.
the kids,
Yeah,
Will?
he
Is that
hates
where
kids.
it's at?
Man.
But listen, I knew there'd be a little hate because I've hit a dinger every time I've went up to that bat.
Mm.
I have hit a straight dinger, dude. When other grown men were getting struck out or hitting pop flies, I hit base hits.
Yeah.
Okay. You can try to put an asterisk by it because I had somebody run for me, but that was such a good dinger, I could have sauntered. Okay.
Sashayed.
You try to make it sound like it was close and it was not.
It
She
just,
coulda-
it just makes me fucking mad.
coulda moonwalked.
Ultimately, that we lost.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
What was wild to me was Hardy. Like you were telling me, Hardy, Ernest, like we had a squad because Loki, I thought they had the squad. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
These guys are gonna be the ones.
We had a squad
Seeing
that
Hardy's
was-
face when he struck out,
Oh,
I was
that
like,
the
brother, we are
best.
in trouble.
Oh, no. He
We are-
came back around.
Well,
though.
then I went up to bat and I fucking flopped ass, put a ball straight up in the air, and fucking Riley Green caught it. That shit
Oh.
pissed me off. Anybody but him. Actually, anybody but you, then him next.
In that order.
Yeah.
I was hoping, man. I was hoping.
I knew you had a little hate in your heart because I picked Taylor. I knew
Oh, I
it.
didn't even know that.
Don't act like you didn't know that, dude. Don't act. You know you
Talking,
knew it.
baby.
Yeah,
Stop
I didn't even know that.
And I kept that to myself too. Yeah, for you. But I'm glad
He
you
knew
brought it
That's
up.
why he was
It's
hating.
all good though. Like I know what game I played, and ultimately, like you won, but you picked the wrong player.
Ugh. I will say this. Next year, it's not even going to. What about Danae Hayes? Bunny hooked that
Shout
up.
out.
Baller.
Shout out,
Baller.
Danae.
Now I will say, I thought Michael Chandler should have won the MVP. I'm glad she won it and she was deserving as well.
Mm.
But Mike had a home run.
Yeah, but Mike went 2 for 4, and every play that Mike
fair.
made was ultimately routine and just looked theatrical.
Yeah. Fair
Like
enough.
she's out there, she's moving around in the infield to be like, hey, where is she best suited? Like she was the best asset on the team.
Yeah.
She's a professional softball player.
Yeah.
So where'd she go?
Alabama. She was All American. She won a national championship.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
stud.
she's amazing.
Also, her and her wife are
Human,
fucking
too.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Bro.
So great.
So good.
I met
We
them
love
the other
them.
day.
Song that's incredible.
Rode hard and put away wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rode hard and put up wet.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
She
So
said
good.
you got that BDE, big dyke energy. I swear,
They're just the
dude.
best people. There's her and
Yeah,
Mandy
they're
are
awesome.
just amazing.
I met them like 2 days before at Chandler's house. It's
Yeah.
like a Memorial Day thing.
No,
It
yeah.
was awesome, man. They were great
Yeah.
to be around.
They're
Yeah.
sweethearts.
I call-
Pick Taylor.
I picked Taylor. I picked Taylor and I picked, well, yeah, that's how it happened. And they said we got to pick a girl apiece. And at that moment, I knew Riley Green was going to lose because I
Yeah.
called my wife. I said, hey, I need a chick that can play softball. And Buddy said, give me 30 minutes. And she called right back and said, Danae Hayes, TikTok superstar, Alabama national championship. I was like, sign her up. I didn't know she was local. So I was like, I'll buy the hotel room. I'll fly her in.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll do whatever it takes. We're going to win.
You're out there doing it. She was a fucking stud.
Yeah,
She was.
she's
She
awesome.
To me, I found out baseball is not like riding a bike. You can't just get back on
Yeah.
and figure it all out. That first inning, that ground ball zip past me. I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing the right sport right now. Not
What
playing the
about
right
the
sport.
foul ball that they called not a foul ball?
Yeah, that was tough for me
That
too.
was painful.
Mm.
That was a tough
That
one.
one was painful,
Can I
man.
be honest with you?
I struggled with that one.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
It was a fair ball.
It was a fair
Yes.
ball?
I saw it land. I was like doing this, but that thing was like this far inside the white line.
God, I believed you.
I know.
You sold me.
well,
you sold me.
yeah,
And I campaigned.
I need to make myself look better because I had 2 innings right there that were just tough. So I flied out, had 2 errors. I had an error and I had to run down a ball that got stuck
You had 2 errors.
under the fence. I had 2 errors throughout the game. Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the day, we caught a dub, so I'm expecting to be on your team again next year. Thank you, Jelly.
We're coming back, baby.
Actually, I think we get to be the captains next year.
Do we really?
They were talking about, hey, maybe we make you and Taylor the captains.
That'll be
That'd be fun.
huge. Hey,
Good. I know where I was going to say. I
Yeah,
know where I
I
land
got
at.
I know you know whose team you're
They're
going to
going
be
to
on.
struggle to find. I mean, Taylor's good, but they're going to struggle to find a better coach. I was incredible.
You had energy. You had energy.
I kept them. I'll be your assistant coach. I'll
When
keep
you
the
hit
morale
that-
up.
When you
Morale.
hit that single and you came off and you go, you know you're fat when you hit a single and people cheer the way they did. Yeah. It was, and you fucking pop the top off, you
Yeah.
fucking losing it. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
it was
hell
awesome.
yes.
I was having so much
Yeah.
fun.
The scariest thing was like, who was going to play pitcher? We're like, hey, because there was like Clay Matthews got binked in the face like 3-4 years ago. And I was like, I'm not
Intimidating.
intimidating.
Softball.
And Ernest was like, oh, I'm pitching.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
And no hesitation.
yeah.
But fucking incredible pitcher, by the
Yes.
way. God.
He was him.
Yeah, for sure. Ern was that dude. Him and Hardy.
Doggy dog.
Yeah, I thought he was
We
great.
had a superstar team. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to next year.
No, for sure. I think
home
we
another
just run
dub.
it right back.
Will's face over
It
here.
doesn't. It like, I don't want to soil my some of my teammates, but we had embarrassing base runners out there.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how far it came from the first one we did, though? Think about
The
the
first
first
softball
time.
game?
Yeah, me and you went into there.
Yeah, bro. Remember Terry Bradshaw?
Yeah, so drunk he passed out. I got him drunk. I got Terry
Yeah,
Bradshaw
and
lit. Me and
busted
Terry
his
were
head.
drinking and busted his
He was
head.
bleeding.
He had to get a
Oh my
medic.
god.
Yeah.
Medic.
First of all, though, Terry Bradshaw threw me a football. I'm the only person he threw a pass to all day, and I caught it. It's,
caught it?
Oh, it's on my TikTok
How
forever.
fire is that? I remember like posting that he slapped me on the ass.
Yeah, listen, the best part was
I got on base. I was like, hell
somebody
yeah.
threw him a football to sign, and he looks at me and says, "I'm not making this up." He goes, "Hey, Biggin, run a little route or something."
No shit.
That's what I'm gonna call you from now on.
That's
in
fucking
the
awesome.
He looked up
bedroom.
and said,
Oh,
"Hey,
I lit
Biggin."
up like the 4th of July,
I was
too.
so excited, dude. I ran a little slant. I was so excited, dude. I ran a little
Chris,
slant.
precise
It was
slant.
perfect, dude. I caught it. Listen, I
Hit him
caught
with
it
it.
like that. It was fucking incredible, dude. Everything about it was awesome. And then I started drinking with him, and then he got fucking lapped. Yeah, dude,
Man.
he was smack drunk.
That was
dude.
because it wasn't long ago that Zanies happened, and I remember you're coming up, hey, Bubba, for the boys. I was like, no, you're not getting me, Jelly.
That's another thing Will does. He will turn down a drink shamelessly. All like if he gets to his
up.
point, he'll be like, "No, I'm not drinking." Like get mad at the person. I'm not drinking anymore.
The Terry was one of those I knew we were in trouble because I was watching him shoot shots, but he was drinking a mixed drink. It's another
Yeah.
one of those stories where he had a drink and found about the third shot, and I was like, "What are you drinking?" He was like, "Oh, that's that Bradshaw bourbon." I was like, "You're drinking? That's what you're chasing your tequila with?"
No
He
fucking
was like,
way.
"Yeah, it's the best bourbon ever. You should try it." And I was like, "I will."
Bradshaw
But,
bourbon.
That's a real drinker
Bradshaw
to
bourbon?
chase an alcoholic beverage with another alcohol.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
no.
For
When I
real.
met Carrot Top, that's what he was doing on the plane. He would drink wine and chase it with Crown.
You would chase
On
wine
a
with
plane.
Crown.
On a plane. Yeah,
What a
red
weird
wine.
combination.
Sure, he
Red
wasn't
wine.
chasing
What a
the
weird-
crown with the wine.
I don't know what
Weird
was
lineup
happening.
to go about it. You'd almost think like
Yeah.
shot and hit the
Weirded me
wine.
out.
That's what we're
Yeah.
saying. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, no, it was
Did he
weird.
hit on you?
No, not at all.
What's
Not.
what's
actually
the
the nicest
biggest
guy
celebrity to
ever.
ever hit on you that was like woof?
Oh my god.
what?
I hate. I don't. I see. I'm not one of these kiss and tell clout bitches. I hate that.
But it's not
What'd you ask? What'd you ask exactly?
like the one of the biggest celebrities to hit on her, and her you have to be like, no, dog, this ain't it.
Eminem.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Hey, I did not expect that.
I made out with him.
Yeah.
So we were at
Got a
this.
thing for white rappers.
I love.
There you go.
It was. We made out.
You know,
I was,
JP raps.
I was there with.
Spit them bars, Jay.
Mixtape JP.
I've never told this story because
Oh, please.
I'm so embarrassed right now.
No, tell the story.
You don't
This is
have to
great.
if you don't want to.
No, I mean it's fine. It happened.
You've stepped in the shallow end. Just keep walking to
So
the.
I was with Jeremy Shockey. We were at this party, just platonic. Jeremy was huge in Vegas. He was always there gambling. So he was like friends with all of us. And we went to this party at the Palms. and Eminem was there, and we were all just talking. And
Do you mind if I get bookmark real quick? What year is this?
God. I'm gonna say maybe 2006 ish,
Okay.
right whenever him and Mariah were having beef, Eminem and Mariah.
This is big time.
Because the first thing I asked Eminem was, I said, "Did you really fuck Mariah?" And he was like, "Yeah, I fucked that bitch." And I was like, "I knew it," and that's like how we bonded, you know. And then
He thought I'm gonna fuck
Only
this bitch.
Bunnie, for sure. He's like, yo, round two. He's like, fucking, let's
He's like,
go.
she asked me about sex. That must mean she wants to have sex.
exactly.
Sexual person.
Yeah. So then they had like a penthouse upstairs, and he's like, we had walked out of the party, and he's like, "Are you gonna come upstairs with me?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, he looked at me dumbfounded. He was like, "You're not gonna come upstairs with me?"
This
And
was
I-
after the makeout.
yeah. And I was like, "Absolutely not." I was like, "I'm not a clout chaser. I'm not gonna fuck you just to say I fucked you." So
Really?
I went back to the party and
Bunnie only fucked poor people. That was
literally. If you're not a project, I don't want it.
Were you prostituting back then?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why didn't you hit him with a number?
I just didn't. I've never been one of those girls who
Yep.
ever wants the story or anything like that. You know, like I just didn't want it. And it was an off day. I was having fun. All
Right,
right.
exactly. Who wants to work on an off day? Yeah.
So I just went back to, and then I got
Trying to
kicked
stay
out.
in the party.
Yeah. Well, and then I got kicked out by 50 Cent's fucking security guard, and he was a prick.
What a party you were at.
Yeah.
My
No, that
God,
was
you've been
my
dropping
life.
names
was
like
like
crazy,
That was my
man.
life. Yeah.
Vegas is really like that, huh?
Yeah, no, it is. It's never. It's just that's a normal fucking Wednesday. You know.
That's wild.
Mhm.
How'd the makeout happen?
We were just talking, and he just kissed me. So I kissed him back, and I was
good
like,
kisser.
Yeah, that was my
I
next
don't
question.
remember.
Oh, you're lying. You're so full of shit.
strikes me as a-
Boy,
don't
my wife
remember.
just lied to me.
Yeah.
How
He strikes me as a
dare.
deep tongue guy.
You remember that?
I remember his mouth. He had cotton mouth. Yeah. So I don't want to talk shit.
He might
No,
have
no,
been
you
a
got
weed
to.
smoker.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
All right, he fucking
The
make
greatest
music
rapper
off
of all time. He can have a dry mouth if he wants
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking, you know.
We're pro Eminem on this podcast.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, we're pro Eminem.
For sure. I mean,
know?
I grew up in Vegas, so I mean, I've seen just crazy shit from people.
I
Actors
keep
you
telling her to
wouldn't
write the
even
book.
Fucking
Now, Bunnie,
Maybe we
listen.
can ask off camera.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you were sitting on a podcast, but I know some crazy stories. But obviously, the first thing I want to do is be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
tell me one of those stories."
Yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
gonna ask you to do that
Yeah.
because you just went out on a little limb there and told us that story.
I could tell you one about Cuba Gooding Jr.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Radio day.
It's not a bad one. It's actually fucking hilarious. They have the mansions at the Bellagio, and we would go there all the time with like, you know, clientele. And we were there, me and all my girls, we were getting paid. And all of a sudden, there's this bigger girl who comes out. And I mean, she's beautiful. Bigger girl, though. Like, it had to be at least, you know, 200 or 300. Naked, just running through, giggling, just having a blast. And right behind her was Cuba Gooding Jr., naked, just chasing her. Like, literally, just the true
Playing
definition.
tag? Like they're fucking out there
like,
just
I don't
doing
know what
whatever?
they were doing, but it was the most joyous moment, and it was so funny. And it just that was how I met Cuba Gooding Jr. was him just running around naked chasing this
I
chick.
hate to ask this, but was he hard or soft?
No, he was hard. Cuba prefers bigger women.
Really?
Yeah.
At least in that moment.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure.
Man.
Yeah.
I love that
Hundo.
Taylor said, at least in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining this voluptuous woman
Yeah.
and him with the biggest smile on his face. And that thing.
Oh yeah, just going.
You know, his
He's
nipple.
actually little. He's very little in person.
His penis?
I know. I don't.
okay, yeah.
his-
Okay.
Him, just
Him
his
as an
presence.
individual.
Get back here.
Yeah.
Don't think it would have been better if he had like a lasso or something going after.
From behind, like as she's running, I'll give you a 5-second head start.
Yeah, 1, 2, you know, start counting. Man, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What a life.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was wild.
What a life.
I know. It seems like it was so long ago.
She married me and settled down in
Stop
Tennessee
it.
and raised a kid.
Isn't that the fucking best?
God, I fucked
Do you
her
ever,
whole
do you ever
life
miss
off.
Vegas?
We have a house there, so anytime I miss it, I go back.
Yeah.
And then I remember why I left. I'm like,
Really?
oh, fuck. Nashville's my peace. He's my peace, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever he's at is home. So even though Vegas is my home, it's not home anymore.
When he's traveling so much, how often are you on the road with him?
I am an independent female, so when he goes on the road, we have a 2-week rule, you know, where we don't go more than 2 weeks. But we have before, like last year, I had to get the house ready and stuff like that. I'll go out and see him whenever. Like this tour, I have my own tour bus, so I'm coming out the entire tour with him.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
on your own shit.
on my own shit. Yeah.
She'll be podding and doing content, just doing her own thing on her own bus.
That's fucking awesome.
Plus the weed thing was a problem.
Yeah.
I love you, but I'm not
no,
touring and
hold
not
on.
smoking
That's
weed.
that's a
You know
big
what I'm
pet peeve.
saying?
That
Like,
and
pet
being
peeve.
on a bus with 11 dudes. Like, I paid my dues. I have been with you in rental cars and fucking passenger vans that
Facts.
the dudes would like fuck groupies in the passenger van and we'd have to drive to the next city smelling the pussy.
We
from the
fuck
fucking
groupies in the passenger van.
I know, but
Yeah.
What a fucking podcast that the world didn't know they needed.
Yeah, exactly. That's fucking electric, dude. I had another question, but that fucking kind of derailed me a little bit.
We interrupt this episode to bring you NASCAR, the upcoming race, the Ally 400 at Nashville Super Speedway, June 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Parker McCollum is doing a pre-race concert. Guitars and fast cars under the lights in the Music City. We, the boys, will be honorary race officials for the race. Also coming up, NASCAR's first ever street race in Chicago. It's called the Chicago Street Race, July 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. 2023 is also the 75th anniversary of NASCAR. So shout out the boys at NASCAR. Again, Nashville, Tennessee, June 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Back to the episode.
How many people you guys roll with? Like, it seems like I feel like you're never alone.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is the second time I've seen your girl here,
Mhm.
and then you got someone sleeping in the back over there.
Yeah.
Like you got.
makeup artist Haley.
Yeah.
We're just a crew, and I'm a business, so anything we do is
Mimi does her hair and manages her and does all of her day-to-day stuff. And Mimi and Haley does the makeup. Of course, my dude's always with me, my security guy,
Yeah.
guy I've always had. And my camera dude's always with me. And
Have you,
Alex is
have you
now
ever needed security
management.
in a big way?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I have. Well, it's a double-edged thing for me. From where I come from, I'm just overprotective in general, just because I've seen things escalate unnecessarily so quickly. So I'm just very cautious of that. Plus, I'll be honest with you, man. I can't afford it. I'm at a place in my life where I've got to evaluate risk in every situation and liabilities and assets. And I just can't afford any liabilities. People are going to sue me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, even just a couple of years ago, if somebody said something crazy to me or disrespected me and spit on me and we got in a physical altercation that would have died there, I'm
Mm.
going to court.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I'm just not playing. I'm just not going to let nobody get in the way of what I'm trying to do. I got big dreams now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let anybody fuck that up. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's kind of like my buddy used to always say about security is I'd rather never need them and have them with me than not have them with me and need them.
Yeah.
Like a condom.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great way to look
Yeah.
at it,
I
Will.
like that.
Good. That's spoken like a true new father.
Yeah. See, Brantley seems like we had Brantley on last week,
Oh, it was the best.
We love
and
Brantley.
he's awesome.
I watched.
But that he's got a little bit of paranoia about him too.
Yeah.
He's got that security. He's got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like he grew up a little rough as well.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely, when you go through traumatic experiences like being shot at or shot,
Mhm.
things that I've experienced, you know, I've been stabbed. I mean, I've been through some shit.
So
So
been
it's,
stabbed.
oh, for sure.
How?
When I got shot
Where?
in my leg, I've been shot in the leg, stabbed in the stomach,
shit.
multiple times. I got scars everywhere. I'll show you all these scars. And you just go through that stuff. And even though I don't do anything now to warrant that, and I've righted most of my wrongs, I'm just still very, you know, I tell people
He's a
all the
street
time,
dude. He
I'm a
moves like a
I'm a
street
fucking
dude.
street dude. I move like a street dude. I always move like this. I just move like it legit now.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have a real security license, insured bond company, and my lawyer hires them instead of me, and I stay out. It's not going. I can't risk this shit, dog.
Yeah.
It's too,
Too many good things going right now.
like you said, baby. It's clear what side I'm going the right direction in life for the first time ever. I ain't gonna let nobody fuck that up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Well, this segment we are about to do is for a on the road, being on the road story. So whether it's one of your better stories together, separately, it can be whatever.
Road trip or like a tour story.
Tour story, being on the road.
Wheels on pavement.
Yeah.
We could tell him about Lansing.
Should we tell about Lansing?
No, you start that.
Lansing was one of the better nights we've ever had.
You gotta love when
Lansing,
story
Michigan?
starts. Oh no, you
Yeah.
started.
No, you-
tell us.
Yeah.
We had just got a bus, so we had just started selling enough tickets to get a bus.
Mm-hmm.
And we're playing like a 500 cap room in Lansing called the Loft. And especially early in our career, Bunnie and I was like, we were on Tinder together. Like we were like constantly hunting. You know what I mean? Like
Chicken
that.
hunting.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
chicken hunting, like constantly, right?
Like
And-
a 2-on-1 type situation. Let's find the
Yeah, for sure. Let's
Yeah.
find us a little something to play with tonight,
Yeah.
right?
Because
And
we're gonna be in a different city every night, and
and this night, some girl had DM'd her and said, "Hey, I'm coming to the show with my girlfriends. We want to hang out." So Bunnie comes to me. Bunnie is back when Bunnie's drinking still. Bunnie comes to me. She's had a couple
Have a good
drinks in her.
time.
She's a ball. Bunnie, the best
a ball.
the best wingman on earth
Yeah.
for anybody, for just everybody. She's just who she is. And she comes back. She's like, I think we're gonna get all three of these bitches if we want them. That's what Bunnie says to me, and I'm like, what? She's like, I do. I think we're gonna get all three of these girls. And I was like, no way. And Bunnie ended up bagging all three of these girls.
No way.
Oh yeah, it was fucking the best hour and a half of my life just on the
An
bus.
hour and a half
That's
now.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
You got to be personally fired up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Not hiding it, by the way. I'm not like play it cool. I'm like, fuck yeah. Are you serious?
Were they rockets?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all pretty.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were pretty girl. Bunnie don't pull mud ducks. You know what I'm saying? yeah, for sure. Bunnie's, equal or less, equal
And
or
I
greater
still talk
value.
to these girls, and this was a few years ago.
Yeah,
Like
Bunnie-
any girl that we've ever had, like a menage a trois with I'm still in contact with them. You know, like
I'm not sure that's what Toro thought about the kind of content they wanted.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when they
But
sorry,
if
Turo.
they needed to get a van, they probably get it on
There is some of
Turo.com.
that in the back of.
Yeah.
no doubt.
That's fucking hilarious.
This has
And
been,
I'll give one that's not as vulgar to
Yeah,
help
there you go.
too.
Well, let's unpack this one for a second.
Okay.
So you two and three other girls
Yeah.
are going crazy on each other.
Yeah.
If you're anything like me, you got about 5 minutes of hardcore in you.
Yeah.
At the tops.
For sure.
Now you talking about an hour and a half. Like
Well,
when
because I'm getting to watch this thing unfold.
Yeah.
Right.
The
so
most
girls
awkward
with
thing
the
about a
girls.
threesome is that's not awkward, but it's like fun. Is that Big J Okerson has the best joke about it. He's like, at some point, you're just kind of sitting there like, all right, hey,
yeah.
I'm here.
Whenever you guys are ready,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
over
like-
here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, I'm just, once y'all figure out an order of operation, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm fucking right here.
so
So that's like the allure to it too. And it was really, really, really incredible. I will say, as weird as it may
Really, 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 really,
I
something
mean,
else.
it was special, dude. I mean, things that my high school would have never thought was going to happen for
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying? Where people are like, what would your younger self be most surprised about? You remember that on this podcast?
I do remember that.
You see what I'm saying? You see
Yeah,
why
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that comes out of me? When you're like, I tell you right here. We, that same bus, we're coming back
Oh my God.
from Ashland, North Carolina.
Mhm.
And we're asleep, and Bunnie wakes me up and goes, something is dragging on this bus. And I'm like, huh? And I go back to sleep. She wakes me up like, something is wrong with this bus.
I mean, we're like,
And I listen, and the back is like floating like this. And every time it floats, you hear it click like it hits the frame.
Mhm.
And you hear like this like sound. And I'm like, what is happening? About that time, the bus gets pulled over. The under part of the bus had failed and was scraping and shooting sparks. And we were like
the whole way
an
down
hour
the
and a
freeway.
half. Yeah, we're like an hour and a half from Nashville. So the bus driver's just going to try to push it.
Let's
So-
not leave out the fact. Are you going to tell him about what he was doing?
Oh, you tell him, please.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
No, you got the
Oh,
best.
please. No, you.
This motherfucker had a bottle of Jack and just fucking pounding it while he's driving us, ass end swinging, fucking sparks flying
No shit.
down the road.
So the
I mean,
cop,
swerving.
so the cop opens the door, and the first thing he sees is a handle of Jack Daniels sitting on the dash,
Oh my God.
and he's like, "Oh, we got to search the bus. We're asleep on a rock and
With
roll
drugs.
tour. There are so many drugs on this bus. There's so much happening on this bus. It's 5:45 in the morning in Cookeville, Tennessee.
Mm.
They end up pulling us out, and I sit the cop straight down and go, dude, there's like, this is back when weed was still like really treated wrongly in this state.
Mhm.
There's like dab rigs everywhere, bongs,
bullet
pipes.
holes in the
Yeah, there
it
was.
was Nellie's old bus.
Yeah, it was like a Waka Flocka's bus or
Yeah.
something
Shout out to
crazy.
boy Nelly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nelly.
There was bullet holes in the
Yeah,
ceiling.
it's like the bus was already just a trappy ass bus. Obviously, we could only afford the kind of bus that had a bus driver that drank
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
driving.
Greg.
Yeah.
You know, fuck you, Greg. But so we end up getting piled one at a time out. Now, Scary Larry is one of my best friends. Y'all have seen Scary before. You'd recognize him. Scary Larry has got all of the drugs in his backpack.
Mhm.
And he grabs me and he's like, I probably got, drugs. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to go into detail. Just
Yeah.
like the kind of drugs that'll get you in trouble.
'Cause people hand us drugs at concerts. That's
All the
why I
time.
won't take anything from anybody anymore because they would put like meth in your hand, fucking acid, like whatever. So you all night long, you're literally just pocketing drugs
Yeah.
at concerts.
I would come home with like, oh, it's crazy. I mean, dude, they give me all kind of drugs. So we got all these drugs in his bag, and I grabbed the cop and I said, "Cop, officer, every drug you found on this bus is mine." This fucking prick cop, Taylor, goes through the entire bus. Now, we have what they call a junk bunk, which is when you have an extra bunk that you just put like backpacks on. Okay. So the junk bunk has Scary's backpack. It's the only backpack up there. The rest of us grabbed our bags. Scary left his backpack up there.
That's the one with all the drugs.
All the drugs. He slides the curtain shut. So the cop goes bottom bunk up this side, bottom bunk up this side, bottom bunk up, bottom bunk up. And because this bunk is closed off, the cop doesn't open it.
Oh, no way.
I'm sitting there like, there's no fucking way. It's fixing to happen, dude. I'm telling you, dude. I'm like, oh. And he looks at it, and it's like you clip them shut. There's like a way you shut them. Like you kind of like button them in so you can sleep in your bunk comfortably. So he kind of tugs, and he's like, whatever, moves on. He goes out. He ends up so he ends up charging me and my guitar player for all this weed. He charges me for like a felony amount of weed because it was so much shit.
He's leaving out the fact that he took everybody's charges.
I told him when he came on, I said, every drug you find on the bus is mine.
Yeah.
I still feel bad that they ended up charging Casey with it because everybody gave me their drugs but Casey and had like a thimble of weed in his girl's purse.
Well, why
still charged him for
was there a reason why Casey didn't give? He was like, he didn't want.
know he had a thimble of weed.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he just
Everybody
didn't-
just woke up. We were
just
like,
we were fucking far. It was the last night of tour. We were heading home. So we were partying heavy. And I ended up fighting 2 marijuana charges for me and Casey in Cookeville, Tennessee for 3 years before we finally beat it. I had to go to court 20 times.
Right.
yeah.
And I'll never forget that because it was like, one, we could have went to jail for fucking ounces of cocaine probably and fucking heroin and methamphetamines and acid and because we were young and reckless back in these tours, you know? But the fact that I still had to fight a weed charge for 3 years is why I'm always complaining about weed not being legal in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah. Do you think it'll ever be legal in the state of Tennessee, or it has to be nationally, like federally legal before it becomes legal in the South?
I think we'll be legal here. It'll be at least medical. I just think we'll be one of the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be one of the last states to do it.
What a fucking deal. Turo.com.
Turo.com. Road stories, baby. Road warriors.
Stories. We've had you guys on this podcast for 2 hours. We appreciate you guys so much. But before, do you have anything?
No,
I thought you were shaking your head.
It's been fucking awesome.
This has been electric, but we got to talk about the new album, and I want, Bunnie, you to plug anything and everything you have.
Appreciate you guys.
So let's talk about the album.
You go first, baby.
No, go ahead. I'll plug at the end.
You got the Joe Rogan bump. Now it's time for the Bussin' with the Boys.
Hey,
I need
buckle
it, man.
up, brother, because this one is bumpy,
Howard
but it goes.
Stern was just talking about us.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
The OG
Really
legend.
cool.
Even
Yeah.
shouted out the podcast too.
He shouted out Bunnie's
fucking
podcast.
awesome.
It was really cool.
Where are we at in the billboards right now? Because I saw you
We're
post
number
something the
3.
other day.
It
We're number
worked.
3.
We made it. We asked for help. We got the number 3 album in the country right now. Wits at Chapel is still available right now, streaming everywhere you can stream music. Do I have a camera?
There you go. Get set up, big. Bacon. Get set up, bacon.
Come on, Bacon.
Oh, no, you got stuff on your.
There we go. Get him right, Bunnie.
Wits at Chapel is available now. It is streaming on all platforms. You can get it. It's also available. Vinyl is available at Walmart. JellyRoll615.com has physical copies, bundle packages, vinyls. Listen, man, it's an auction over there. We're just selling shit. Tons of it. Please stop by. And all of those count towards scans of the album. But most importantly, just keep streaming it, please. The Hulu documentary is up. Save Me. It's on Hulu right now. Taylor's seen it. Will didn't say he's seen it, but he didn't see it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I figured that's why I hadn't talked about it. So Will hasn't seen it because Will don't love me like Taylor does. And
Because you
that's
picked
why I
Taylor
picked
for the
Taylor
Me and the
on
goddamn
my
football
fucking
team.
softball team.
When we are 1-0 together.
But the Hulu documentary is incredible. Please check it out. Support everything we're doing. Whole family. It's helping more than you know. Tickets are on sale. JellyRoll615.com. 44 city tour.
Go,
Y'all should pick a date and come out. Y'all should do a
Yeah.
boys' night out.
Come on the podcast.
Bring the boys,
Yeah,
and y'all should do an
absolutely.
Under the Hood, do a podcast on the bus for the dumb blonde shit, and come get on a bunk, sleep with us for a night, and fucking and live the tour life for a night.
Hey,
It
that'd
would be really
outstanding. That'd be
fucking
so
cool.
much fun.
It would be really cool. But it's 44 cities. I have Ashley McBride opening up 6 markets. Chase Rice is doing 6 markets. 3-6 Mafia is doing 6 markets. Yellow Wolf's doing 6 markets. El King is doing 6 markets. So you can literally kind of just look at it and pick who you want to see the most and come on out. So that's that. That's that.
Struggle
now,
Jennings.
Yep, Struggle Jennings opened. My best friend's opening the whole tour. He's doing all 44 cities, which is so cool to have Struggle there. And then Josh Adam Myers also hosting the entire tour. So a little comedy element. It's going to be a circus.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Talk to us about Dumb Blonde and Patreon.
You guys can find, all you have to do is just Google Bunnie XO and all my stuff will come up. You can listen to me every Wednesday, Dumb Blonde podcast. And what's our Patreon again, Mimi? Dumb Blonde. Oh, okay. And Dumb Blonde podcast on Patreon. I didn't know if it was Dumb Blonde Unrated.
Dumb Blonde podcast.
Yeah, or go to honeybunnies.com.
Yep.
One of them's a porn site, so make sure you spell it right. If you're
Yeah.
at the porn site, that's not mine.
Right.
You've gone too far.
Story
Turn
of my
around, go
life.
back.
Yeah.
Only my wife would have a one letter off from a porn site.
Literally.
No doubt. That's outstanding.
Thank you guys for
Guys,
having
this-
us.
Dude, we
For
appreciate
having
you guys
me.
so much.
I appreciate
Seriously.
that. This was
Family for
fun.
life. We love you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing all the success.
Thank
It's
y'all
gonna
for
be
this
amazing.
too, especially for real, because I asked y'all for this a while ago. I warned y'all, I was like, the album's coming, I'm gonna need you. So thank y'all for this, boys.
Well, both of you guys are always invited.
Thank
Always invited on this
you.
pod.
Hugs,
Bye,
tiny
guys.
kisses.